and up to 60% off full stock while it lasts. Plus, buy any mattress over $1,000 and get a bonus microfiber mattress protector free. Hurry, stock is limited. Ends soon at OMF, the home of mattress, bedroom, bedding and furniture.
Join the conversation. Text 0433 98 11 16. This is the Pre-Game Show. For Before You Dig. Before every job, search Before You Dig online. Every time.
Welcome to AFL Nation. For those joining us for the first time, for 4 and 20 Pies, Australia's original fan food, and for Elders, you can open an Elders Products prepayment account, Elders Rural Products prepayment account to win.
I tell you, he's had a big week.
Who's that?
Cornsey. He's been under the pump.
Yes.
But I tell you what, Eddie Corns is absolutely flying on the buttons at the present time. He's done a great job right throughout the week. He's here again tonight.
That's your boy.
Yeah,
He's big.
He's bigger than me.
Yes, he is. A lot bigger than you.
He's been firing under pressure this week.
Does he play at all? Does he?
No, he plays with those radio buttons.
He's big enough to play. It's the AFL Nation pre-game show. Before every job, you can search Before You Dig online every time. It's good to have Adelaide CEO Tim Silvers in the box with us as well to have a chat. Tim, great to have you on. Really good to have your patronage pre-game. Can you do something about the rain?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? We've had a great build-up to this game, and it basically hasn't rained in South Australia for about 4 or 5 months. So it's disappointing that it is tonight, but look, we've had great excitement, great build-up to this game. I think it's our biggest corporate game since post-COVID. So I think we've got over 2,500 corporates in the house, and they're probably tucked away and indoors, which is good. But yeah, we're hoping for something like 45,000 tonight, which would be great.
Are you sitting alongside Greg Swan? Is he in the house? Are you going to get in his ear about anything in particular, and what would you get in his ear about?
Good question, Wayne.
Swanee is sitting next to me at the function. He got a bit of a round of applause, which I thought was interesting for the opposition CEO. Yeah, so there's plenty of people in this industry that are really excited about what Swanee can bring. 26 years as a club CEO. He knows so much about footy, and he has a club lens. So we did have a quick chat about umpiring, but he's got a huge job, and I think he's more than capable. So looking forward to him getting in front of the AFL and adding to the executive there.
What's the hardest thing about your job, Tim?
Good question. Sometimes it's just the stakeholders within South Australia. It's trying to appease so many, but the reality is you're judged. You have an audit week to week on the field. So the reality is you can run the business of a footy club, and you can try to appease so many stakeholders, but once a week you get a pretty thorough audit, and we've got a thorough audit against the reigning premier tonight.
You're a two-team town. You're not a big state by way of population, but you got a solid base. How hard is it going to be for the Devils to turn a profit? Given that they've got 250,000 people in Greater Hobart or thereabouts, and 500 plus for the state.
Look, I've got a unique history, having worked at Hawthorn for a long, long time. So was part of that club when it played so many games in Launceston. And what I know there is that they're a passionate state. They're footy mad, and it's very similar to South Australia in that lens. How they're going to go with the corporate dollar, I think, will be a challenge. But maybe they've got to push it through the East Coast, and they've got to bank on getting 5,000 people, I think, a game from the East Coast down to Tasmania to make it equitable, because it's going to be a challenge. I know they've done a lot of the metrics, and they need, and I know there's talk of if the stadium doesn't go ahead, whether they can play at the smaller stadiums. I don't think that's possible. They need a 23,000 seat stadium. They need corporates like I just spoke about for it to be able to make ends meet. If we want this thing to succeed, we've got to invest in the right facility.
Why was 23,000 the magic number? I mean, it doesn't make sense that it's not 25,000 or 30,000 to me, but why 23?
That's a good question. I don't know the exact answer to that. I assume it's something around the designs there, and maybe it's something to do with the roof, Jared, because I think the roof, we're playing a game there next week, and when I worked at Hawthorn, the talk was that you wouldn't play night games in Tassie because it was too cold, but we're about to experience that in 1 week's time. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll see how many fans get out there. But I think the roof for the economics for even the town, I think a roof is a necessity for concerts and other events just to make it affordable.
You couldn't make money on AFL games, surely.
No, you wouldn't have thought. They've got to get into the bank for concerts and the like, and that's something they've missed out on for such a long time. So I know it's a huge investment by the state when you compare it to their GDP, but sometimes you've got to be all in on such an investment, because you look at Adelaide Oval, and we're going to hopefully have 50,000 here tonight. It's been a game changer moving to Adelaide Oval and what it's done to the city and the economic development for the CBD here.
Tim, I was having a think about the list build today of your footy club. You must be absolutely thrilled. Like, you've had to be patient, 6-7 years probably in the making, but you look through your list and you go, well, you've pretty much got all bases covered to be a genuine contender. Are you thrilled with the way that it's come together?
Look, you have to be patient, and we've had to stay the course, and things change. Like I can remember 12 months ago when we were getting smashed from pillar to post because we didn't have quite the right list. But you can see we have a lot of the pieces here. Like you look at all segments of the field, our forwards, mids and backs, we feel like we've got a lot of cover. We've got some experienced heads. We brought in some experienced players over the last 12 months, and they've added age, games and experience, which we thought we needed. And we've got this young group of talented players that we've gone to the draft over a 4-year period, which we think are going to be the nucleus of our next premiership team. So look, we're feeling like we're heading in the right direction, and our ladder shows that, but we know how much form can be fickle. We've got to continue to play good footy and play them under pressure, and pressure tonight against the reigning premier is a good example of that, and we've got to deliver tonight.
Nasai Wanganeen-Miller would be helpful for any team. He's been in Adelaide, he met with Port Adelaide and certainly their players. Did you meet with him as a club?
Kane, you try to ask me these questions a lot, but I don't want to speak about specifics. But what we've done in the past, and you saw it last year, is that we target players for needs now, and we're looking at all players that can add to our list. So Naz would be a great player, but all clubs would say that, and we're going to continue to be aggressive in that space.
So you didn't say no then? You could have simply answered Kane's question with no, we haven't met him. Any reason why you didn't just answer the question with no?
I'm a politician, Dwayne. I learned from John Olsen.
Well, let me ask you this question. Is Matthew Nicks going to be re-signed before the season's out?
I did read that on the back page of the Advertiser this week. As a footy club, what we've decided this year is we're all about narrowing our focus. It's been basically a week-to-week proposition, and we probably reflected on our 24 year that we were probably looking a little bit too far forward. So it hasn't been on our agenda about re-signing the coach. It's been about a week-to-week, get the job done, press for finals and deliver. So it's not on our agenda. He's got 18 months to go. He's been a coach of our club for a long time, but it's not on our agenda for something like that to happen.
I don't know why there's so much discussion about it. I mean, ultimately, he's not going anywhere else. He's not going to be poached. And the scoreboard will look after that. Whatever happens, the scoreboard, if you're playing finals, he's in, and if you're not playing finals, he's out.
Oh, I guess that. Is that the case?
That'd be it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's out if they don't play finals.
Well, I think his contract till the end of next year.
Yeah, it's the end of 26, so if they don't play finals in 26, he's out.
If he's still there, if they're not playing finals.
7 to 8 years, and excused him for a moment. Like,
he's nodding with us.
The results speak for itself.
Well, don't paraphrase his nod. Tim, you can speak for yourself. Is he out if he doesn't make finals?
Look, I don't want to speculate on his future. What I know is he's been a good coach for our footy club. It's been a slow and patient build. We think we've got a lot of the pieces together. We've had a really strong start to the year. And in terms of the re-signing of him, it's not on our agenda at the moment, but we've backed him in for a long period of time because we believe he's made of the right stuff. And we brought in someone like Murray Davis from Brisbane as our coaching director, which has made a real impact to the coaching department this year. So we're really pleased with how that's going.
Who's your most important player right now? Because I think there'll be a debate about Dawson, Rankin and Thilthorpe.
You're asking the CEO that question.
Yeah,
my view is Thilthorpe.
Yeah.
Dawson is amazing. His consistency, and Rankin is dynamic and brings us something different, and he can play forward and mid. But just in terms of structure, and we saw probably the impact at the start of 24 that Riley missed the first 17 games. It really put us on our heels, and him playing for us structurally as a 22-year-old and what he's going to bring into the future, I think he's going to be our most important.
One of the great contracts for the club, you managing to get him stitched up long term before he's just emerged as one of the best players in the comp. Can I ask you just a selfish one, and one that I'm really passionate about? It's coming up to 10 years since the passing of Phil Walsh. That'll be July the 3rd. Unbelievable that it's 10 years. Tim, why isn't the Showdown medal named the Phil Walsh medal?
That is a good question. It's worth consideration, and I think you put this on the agenda over the last little while. I understand what he's gave to our footy club in a short period of time, but we still talk about some of his quotes and some of his legacy, and Taylor Walker talks about him all the time, and I know he's connected to Port Adelaide for over 7+ years with yourself, and it does feel like a nice fit, but we'd have to make that decision in consultation.
Is that problematic, trying to deal with Port Adelaide to come up with a solution, or not? Is it friendly enough, or?
I think we're supposed to hate each other. We're at 10 paces, but for something like this, I think we could come together, and with the 10-year anniversary, on the quiet, I think we're going to come together as two footy clubs.
Tim, how do you reassess? You get, what are we, halfway through the season? At the start of the year, it was all about making the 8. That looks like you're well capable of doing that, but now many pundits think you're very capable of making the top 4. How do you have that discussion with the players?
It's a good question. For us, I was mentioning it before. Look, we got caught in probably looking too far in 2024. So I know this is a very, very boring answer, but for us, it's just about sort of week to week. Let's get to the bye. We're playing 2 really good teams, and we have, I think, our record against top 8 teams is 1-4. So yes, we've got the job done, and we've won some away games this year, and our scoring has been strong. And we've made some adjustments to our defence throughout the year, so we feel like we're trending in the right direction, but I think it's too early for us to get ambition around the top 4. It's how are we going to go against 2 quality teams over the next 2 weeks on a Friday night on the big stage, and that's our focus.
I think we're done. Great to have you in. We really appreciate you joining us, Tim, and we'll look forward to speaking to you soon.
All right, thanks guys. Thanks for your continued support.
Tim Silver's joining us, and the Adelaide CEO. Handle a few of those questions
impressive
pretty well.
guy. Yeah, pretty impressive.
Wouldn't fall into a few of the areas.
It's an interesting. It's a hard position for clubs to be in when you ask them about rival players, because it's such an aggressive space now, and we're seeing teams be so aggressive. Yeah. So is that the right tactic, and basically just say nothing, don't confirm or deny anything, or are you prepared to give a little bit more to your supporters at risk of being criticised, mainly from other clubs? I don't know if there's a right or wrong.
The whole world knows they've spoken to Naz.
Yeah.
But why isn't there a photograph? Why isn't there...
Well, maybe they just did it secretly. I met Adelaide.
You can't do anything secretly.
You can do it at your house. You could do it at... just say Rob Chapman, he's a big supporter of the club, former chairman, says, come around to my house, we'll do it. I mean, there's ways.
Why isn't there someone parked out the front there?
Or maybe it didn't get out. But if you're a Crows fan, you're probably wondering, well, I've seen Nasiah have frozen yogurt with Horn Francis and Jace Burke. Why isn't my club? We need him. I get the point that you've got to give the fans something, but if you do that, you're at risk of being criticised by the clubs.
Did you go around to a 2-time Premiership captain's house? Was it your house, Bix?
Well, look, I don't want to confirm or deny, but look, I think what happens as well is you can sometimes, Adelaide, the pressure's off a little bit because they have landed Dawson and Rankin, and then last year they get Peatling coming and Neil Bullen. So all Adelaide, I think, are saying is, look, we're desperate to make our list better, and if there's a great player in the competition like the Sire, who we know resides or comes from Adelaide, of course we're going to be talking to him. We don't have to yell at off the top of a building, but you can rest assured we talk to every player that hails from Adelaide, and our track record says we've been reasonably successful recently.
You just have to ask, if he does change clubs, what's the dollar figure? If TDK's a 1.7 to go to St Kilda, when Asai's he's in good form. He's going to be tagged, I think, down the track just to make life a little bit more difficult for him. But you've got Isaac Rankin, who you would have paid overs for to get him back, but it would now look as if it's unders. You've got Thilthorpe that you're going to have to up his ante, but we're going to take a break before we do that.
We do. We'll talk about that after the break. So stick around. You're with AFL Nation for 4 and 20 Pies, Australia's original fan food, and for Elders. Open an Elders Rural Products prepayment account to win. Big game coming your way on AFL Nation tonight. The Adelaide Crows hosting the Brisbane Lions.
An odds update brought to you by PointsBet. Built different.
Jules the Soup here with an odds update for PointsBet. Friday night footy, this is a beauty at Adelaide Oval for a top 4 clash between Adelaide and Brisbane. Both teams go into the game looking to make it 3 wins in a row, although based on the prices, you'd think the Crows are in far better form at home. They are $1.59 favourites at PointsBet. The Lions' recent form, even though their winning has been a little bit hit and miss, and a road trip to Adelaide is pretty tough right now, so this has them at $2.40 outsiders. Now looking at players for a multi, and Rory Laird, who was rested last week, loves playing against the Lions. He's had 25 plus in all of his last 5 games against Brisbane, and is paying a healthy $1.87 with PointsBet to do it again tonight. Josh Rochelle is having a great season, especially at home. He's kicked 11 goals in his last 5 games at home. PointsBet are paying $2.05 for him to kick at least 2 tonight. Charlie Cameron, now he's a man that loves playing the Crows. He's kicked an incredible 14 goals in his last 5 games against Matthew Nix's men. He's paying $2.60 to kick 2 plus in this one. So let's have a look at tonight's multi. It's Rory Laird for 25 plus disposals, Josh Rochelle 2 plus goals, and Charlie Cameron 2 plus goals. That is a total price of $10. Lastly, all the stats in the multi are powered by StatMate, your new best mate for AFL stats. Download for free for iPhone or Android right now. Great game, this one. The Crows have only beaten one team inside the top 8. This would make them legitimate if they can get across the line here, and I think they can. It's going to be close. The Crows at home by 10 points. For all your AFL markets, get onto the PointsBet app.
Brought to you by the PointsBet AFL Tracker. PointsBet. Built different. You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Join the conversation. Text 0433 98 11 16. This is the pre-game show. For Before You Dig. Before every job, search Before You Dig online. Every time.
Need truck parts? Get expert service from the team that knows their stuff at Truckline. Whether you've got a Japanese, North American or European truck or trailer, we've got the parts to get you back on the road in no time. From hoses to transmissions and everything in between, we'll get you sorted fast. Truckline keeps Australia's trucks moving. Find your local store at truckline.com.au.
With over 1 billion vehicles on the road worldwide, finding one of yours can be tricky. But with vehicle tracking systems by Radius Telematics, they'll not only find your vehicle, but they'll also tell you where it's been, where it's going, and how long it's taken, including location and speeding alerts, even driving behaviour, plus so much more. Speak to Michael and the team about dashcam and asset tracking technology that'll help keep your business's valuable assets safe and secure. For more, visit radius.com today.
Footy fans, why rush home after the game? Stay the night in the CBD at Brady Hotels and Apartments. Just minutes from Marvel Stadium and the MCG, as well as the city's best restaurants and bars. Rooms start from as little as $129, and with code SEN at checkout, you'll get 20% off our best flexible rate. So make the most of the 2025 footy season. Head to bradyhotels.com.au and book now with code SEN.
If I asked you to go outside now, grab a shovel and hack through your internet or water connection, would you do it? Of course not. It'd cost you a fortune to fix, plus being without internet or water for hours or days would drive you mad. Yet digging without searching before you dig online first is a gamble. Or worse, if you strike a gas or electricity main. Before every job, search Before You Dig online every time. and never dig blind.
In footy, you've got one guarantee each week. It's not the win or loss. It's not the coach's spray. And it's not the cry of... It's the 4 and 20 pie. That classic taste of 100% Australian meat in delicious gravy wrapped in golden pastry. Like coming back to win from 10 goals down. Nothing beats the aroma and taste of a 4 and 20 pie. There's a win in every bite. 4 and 20, Australia's original fan food.
Step up to the next generation of power with Makita XGT 40-volt and 80-volt max, delivering professional-grade performance without fuel, noise or downtime. From heavy-duty landscaping to lawn maintenance, XGT's high-output batteries and brushless motors power through the toughest jobs. No cords, no mess, just relentless performance. When power means business, choose Makita XGT. It's power without limits.
This ad is about neighbours Ryan and Jack. Ryan's home has been affected by recent damp weather, with mould appearing all over his walls and ceiling. Meanwhile, Jack is relaxing in a mould-free home. That's because Jack installed a Panasonic air conditioner with 24-hour Nano EX air purification and mould-inhibiting technology. Jack's Panasonic air conditioner means he enjoys clean, fresh air in a mould-free environment. And you can too. Search for Panasonic Air online to request a free quote today.
Through 100 years, New Farm has gone through thick and thin with Australian farmers. Through protection, through innovation, through growth. All so that Australian farmers are there for Australia. Because when you choose New Farm's crop protection solutions, you choose to support Australian jobs, Australian innovation, and a strong Australian supply chain. Through our partnership, we're tougher together. Visit newfarm.com.au. New Farm, Australian through and through.
Join the conversation. Text 0433 98 11 16. This is the pre-game show. For Before You Dig. Before every job, search Before You Dig online. Every time.
Teams are out there beginning their warm-up for Ream Manufacturing in Australia for over 80 years. AFL Nation, our pre-game show for Before You Dig. Before every job, search Before You Dig online every time. Massive round of footy coming your way tonight. We're bringing you Adelaide versus the Lions, but a huge round of footy. You guys, Gerard Healy and Kane Corns and Mark Bickley with me. Okay with North selling a home game to Fremantle at Optus. Where might this end, do you think? What if Geelong got a few benefactors and got enough cash up and said to the Kangaroos, hey, we wouldn't mind buying another home game. That would do us the world of good. What if we had a couple of million? We just throw it at the Kangaroos' way. Where can this end?
I'm not sure, Dwayne, but it seems to have worked for Hawthorn through their premiership era.
But they're not selling it to a home team's ground. They're taking it to Launceston, neutral venue.
Yeah.
But the North Melbourne game sold to Fremantle is at Optus Stadium, Fremantle's home ground. That's a little bit different, isn't it?
I thought it was in Bunbury.
No, that's
this week.
That's this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next week, right, it's Fremantle at Optus.
Yep.
So what about, have they done a deal with the AFL where they've sort of said we'll just play Fremantle once and it'll be at Optus? So it's sort of like, it's a bit like if you got the quirk of the draw and you just got sent to, and you played them once in the year and went over there and you had to do it. I just feel like at this time in their development, it doesn't hurt them. In 2 or 3 years' time, it does hurt them because that's when they're going to be winning, hopefully for North fans, 10 or 11 and pushing to get in the 8, and one game could be the difference. Right now, one game isn't the difference.
It might be the difference for Fremantle, though.
Yeah, so I guess you're right there. That gives them an advantage.
It's all part of this equalisation policy that
solves a problem for the AFL.
Solves a problem for the AFL. The West Australian clubs were rightly a bit peeved about how much travelling they're doing. You just
gather around in Adelaide.
Yeah, it just makes you feel just how disadvantaged the Giants are. I mean, they are homeless for half the season. They have to travel anywhere. I was still angry from Armidale today, and he was filthy that Melbourne sold their game in Alice Springs because they don't need the money right now, and it may well have cost them a spot in the 8. So these things are swings and roundabouts, but ultimately the game benefits from clubs going to these broader areas. But when fans essentially want it both ways. They want the money when you're broke, but they want the 4 points when you're just about to get in the apex.
Yeah, well, once again, it's a conundrum, isn't it? And I think someone said it during the week. If Melbourne win that game, nobody's worried about it. Yeah, and just like the Gold Coast, when they used to sell them and people used to whinge about it, now they go to Darwin and win every game. So it's a great idea.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because they have made that a fortress, a bit like Hawthorn has made Launceston a fortress. So it does work for the Gold Coast Suns to take games up to their territory. So, we'll see how this one plays out this year. Big's great to have you on. It's been a big pre-game. We appreciate you joining us. You want to stick around and have a little preview of the game with us shortly before you head into your function, or are you heading downstairs
I think I'm doing
the boys on the backside?
I'm doing Crows Nation over here. So
he's cheating on us.
I'll just be doing a pre-game with them, unfortunately.
All right, we'll listen to you on the app. Great to have you with us, Bix. It's always fun to have you part of the program. Mark Bickley joining us as well. AFL Nation pre-game show for Before You Dig. Before every job, search Before You Dig online every time. And as I mentioned, the team's going through their warm-up, but the majority of the players have decided to stay inside given the rain. But the rain stopped a little, it slowed a little, it's abated, which is good news that they're hopefully going to play in relatively fine conditions, even though the deck will be a little wet. We'll take a break and bring you our full pre-game preview after the break. Our game for broadcast, Adelaide Oval tonight. The Adelaide Crows hosting the Lions. Stick around, you with AFL Nation.
Join the conversation. Text 0433 98 11 16. This is the pre-game show for Before You Dig. Before every job, search Before You Dig online every time.
An important message from when insuring one of your biggest assets, you can ask, can I choose my repairer? Well, it might cost a few bucks more. There's a reason your insurance company doesn't want you to. Choice of repairer means exactly that. You can choose a repairer. Conveniently close and not miles away, genuine parts, an accident replacement vehicle, and a lifetime guarantee. Your choice of repairer, not your insurance companies. Choose Visit chaingroup.com.au. T's and C's apply.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability, all while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
Footy fans, why rush home after the game? Stay the night in the CBD at Brady Hotels and Apartments. Just minutes from Marvel Stadium and the MCG, as well as the city's best restaurants and bars. Rooms start from as little as $129, and with code SEN at checkout, you'll get 20% off our best flexible rate. So make the most of the 2025 footy season. Head to bradyhotels.com.au and book now with code SEN.
Ozito brushless home and garden power tools are built to work. Tough isn't something you just claim. It's something you prove. It's about handling the hard, repetitive stuff without giving up. Testing what you're made of and what you're working with. When it comes to doing tough jobs around the home, do it yourself. Ozito brushless power tools. Do you. Only at Bunnings Warehouse.
Trying to choose new flooring, window furnishings or rugs for your home? Choices Flooring's Room View makes it easy to find the look you've been searching for. Whatever the space or your flooring needs, simply take a photo of the area in your home and select your flooring styles, window furnishings or rugs from the thousands of colours, styles and texture options. Using Choices Flooring's Room View, you can see your selections right in your own home. Then send your favourites to your local Choices Flooring store to book a free measuring quote.
It's here, OMF's massive end of financial year sale with some of our best offers and $10 million of stock to clear. Grab the award-winning Revivify Support for under $800 or the new Mornington Flex for under $1,300. Take up to 20% off bedroom furniture and up to 60% off floor stock while it lasts. Plus, buy any mattress over $1,000 and get a bonus microfiber mattress protector free. Hurry, stock is limited. Ends soon at OMF, the home of mattress, bedroom, bedding and furniture.
Jane loves flowers, but her allergies don't. Bless you. So it's lucky that Jane can now enjoy the benefits of Panasonic air conditioning. With its allergen-inhibiting Nano EX technology, Jane's now floating in the freshness of pollen-free, clean air. Come home to your perfect environment. Search Panasonic Air to request a free quote. Results from Nano EX are not instant, and Nano EX is not available on all models.
G'day, Merv Hughes here. New Farm's been there for Aussie growers for 100 years. Through prosperity and heartache, drought and flame. Through the unprecedented and through innovation. New Farm's high-quality crop protection products are formulated right here in Australia because Aussie growers are tougher together through choosing Australian. New Farm understands local conditions and the importance for Aussie growers to have the right products at the right time. New Farm, Australian through and through. To learn more, visit newfarm.com.au.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Elders. Open an Elders Rural Products prepayment account to win. And 4 and 20. Try Domino's Meat Pie Crust with 4 and 20 pies.
Welcome back to AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies, Australia's original fan food, and for Elders. Open an Elders Rural Products prepayment account to win. Both teams are heading out there right now. The Crows have just come out of their dugout and they're about to burst through the banner, and the rain stopped, which is good news. Both teams heading out there thanks to Ream manufacturing in Australia for over 80 years. Let's get a few thoughts from our experts before we invite Whitey to the microphone. Our experts for MEGT, build a winning team with Australia's apprenticeship experts, Jared Healy and Kane Corns.
Well, this is very much Brisbane versus Brisbane, Kane, because there's been personnel exchange between Brisbane and Adelaide, and they play very similar games. They've both learnt from the same expert whose name escapes me. I think his name was Johnson from memory, who was football manager up at Brisbane and certainly influential in the way they move the ball. But they're two top sides. These two sides, for me, are going to play in the prelim final week, and it's going to be interesting to see how they unfold tonight.
Murray Davis, I think, from Brisbane's gone to Adelaide, and he's not a high-profile figure, but clearly after the success that Brisbane have had, they start to target successful teams, as happens around the competition, and he seems to have had a big impact. I just like the versatility in both lineups. I think players that can play a variety of positions, and you look through both sides. Now Adelaide have that luxury. If it's not working with your starting on-ball group, then you can get Berry in there, you can get Peatling in there, you can get Rankin, you can get Dawson. They've got Saligo already, who's a mainstay that can go through there. And same with Brisbane. Like, where does McCluggage play? Where does Bailey play? Where does Archie, Rayner, these types? They've got so many of them. So really versatile lineups if things aren't working. Brisbane are very prone to just letting the players sort of work it out if things aren't going on track. I was there seeing their game live. They weren't terrific against Essendon by any means, but did enough to win. Feels like that's been for the majority of their season. Kyle Lohman kicked 3, so good to get him back into form after not kicking a goal for the season. But I just think for Adelaide, the big story is you need a scout. Can you get one tonight? And if you do, then we start talking about them really seriously. I don't think anyone's sort of thought they were a real premiership chance yet. Well, that changes if they win tonight.
Yeah, I must admit, I think the first time I saw them this year, I thought, this mob can win the premiership.
Yeah.
But they do. They've got to pass the order today against somebody who's, they're a bit similar. They've had up and down form, but their poor form has been against poor teams, and that's probably a sign of a bit of a premiership layover. But their good form has been against the best sides. But it might have been decided in some respects by individuals. Jordan Dawson, who's one of the better players in the comp, but his disposal has not been at its best this year.
No.
And I think if he can hit some targets, and if he can play his best with the ball, it makes a huge difference, because you've got big bodies like Thorpe and Tex Walker. You've got to hit them on the chest. It is a wet game, so there may not be that many contested marks, but there's bugger all anyway. I mean, there's about an average of about 12 a game per team, so it's not a huge issue. But what I love about those three guys is they're so skilled. They're great ground ball players as well as in the air. So it's a huge test for Adelaide, and I'm looking forward to just seeing how their backline, that looks as if it's improved organically this year, holds up against a really good, multifaceted ground ball team that can still jump in the air like Brisbane Lions.
And it will be on the ground a bit. Jared's given you 4 or 5 ground reports. So weather reports, the light rain still falling here, and we expect it to keep falling. Ground and weather reports for Pacific Seeds. Pacific Seeds proven performance, trusted by Australian farmers. Growing possibilities. The coin toss about to take place for Keno Go. 40 million jackpot every 3 minutes with Keno Go. And Keno Go you can play with $2 today. We'll let you know as soon as that toss is won. And the overall weather update for Grundfos. From farm to family, groundwater is crucial. There'll be plenty of groundwater today. Grundfos pumps, I should say. Serious reliability, built for life. Grundfos pumps, which players might provide some flexibility tonight for Flexalt, the only flexible oral lice treatment for sheep.
Yeah, well, we've mentioned a couple of those. I note that Fletcher's starting on the bench. I just love what he's been able to give them across half-back. Great ball user, run and carry. So him and Zorko, Wilmot across half-back. Just a good-looking, running defensive unit who use the footy really well.
Have a look at the benches, Kane. Fletcher, Ashcroft, Gallup. Berry, who was really impressive last week and may just get hold of that position and keep Matt Crouch out. Rochelle, Pedler and Hinge. They're pretty powerful benches.
Oh, they're white. Both teams completing their warm-up for Ream. Steady, hot and strong Ream. If you've got an unmissable moment tonight for Drinkwise, you won't miss a moment if you Drinkwise.
Yeah, well, Charlie Cameron, I think, is the one who just is threatening to get back to his best form but hasn't reached those heights yet. Kicked the second most goals, only behind Jeremy Cameron from 2021 to 2024. 2025 has been a bit lean, but I feel like he's just building into what's going to be a strong back half of the year.
Unmissable moments for Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you Drinkwise. Make sure you choose to Drinkwise. Before the final word on what the coaches might be saying before the bounce for best sheds, Australia's sheds at the lowest prices. Adam White's been good enough to jump in here. Welcome, Whitey. Great to have you back.
Thanks, Dwayne. It's great to have Jane Bunn with us tonight as well. Jared, he picked it. He said the rain band would come across and leave us and we'd be okay, and I think we're going to be. A lot of the rain is going to miss Adelaide from here, so about 5 mils came through in that band of rain, but if the Adelaide Oval drains the way it usually does, I reckon we might be okay for some better footy than we thought when there was a monsoon about half an hour ago.
They won't be screaming territory. They won't be screaming. Oh, you play today, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Whereabouts?
No, just at my local course. Yeah. It was very windy conditions.
Jared didn't take you down to the National?
No, it would be blown away down there.
You've been, how's your shoulder? You swinging yet or not?
No, I'm swimming.
Swinging? You're not swinging the golf club?
No, I haven't swung one for about 8 years. I've given that one.
Have you?
Yeah, no, bad walk made. A good walk made bad, or whatever they say.
When are you back in the water again?
Probably another 5 months, depending on which surgeon you listen to. Yeah, he's very conservative, my man Brendan Sue.
So, but you won't take the longboard out at
somewhere.
Point at us or something. You have to go something big.
I'm happy to just get back in the water. I was swimming this morning, which is a bit of a shock to the system without a wetsuit, because it's not easy getting them on.
About 4 degrees at the moment. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies, Australia's original fan food, and for Elders Open and Elders Rural Products prepayment account to win. So the final word from the coaches for best sheds, Australian sheds at the lowest prices.
Yeah, well, I think for Adelaide, when you come up against Brisbane, key to shut down their uncontested game. Like, they average the highest number of uncontested marks from any team. Keep them under 100, perfect conditions to do that, and that will go a long way into shutting their ball movement down and really hemming them to one side of the ground, which Adelaide can defend pretty well, and then match them at stoppage. I mean, their midfield is elite. The names running through Brisbane's midfield are really strong, but I think Adelaide now have the personnel and depth to be able to do that. So midfield battle will be fascinating as well.
And if I'm coaching Brisbane, I'd be just saying, listen, we know how to play. If we want to win this, it's going to be decided on whether we bring the heat. Bring the pressure, get it up above 200 for long enough, kick the goals when they present themselves, and they'll get on the plane happy tomorrow morning.
Yep.
And what do we expect from Ty Gallup tonight? He looks like he's got the body for it, but he's still pretty young.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's always, you just want that first touch. I think it's anyone in any game, really. It doesn't matter if it's your first game or your 350th game. You want to touch the footy early, and Phil Walsh always used to say, just don't worry about the footy, just feel some body, get some body early, get a tackle, get a bump, and then you feel like you're into the action. So that was a sort of a strategy that I took into most games. I think that's good advice for any young player. Feel something early, feel the contest, go hard for a ground ball, get involved, a big spoil, a big tackle, and all of a sudden you forget about the nerves and it being your first game.
I spoke to Chris Fagan about Ty Gallop this week, and he told me he was going to put him in. He said, I'm not sure what we're going to get, but he's a big unit. He jumps at the footy. He likes banging bodies. So let's see how he rolls.
So, Dwayne, who's going to go with it first when Ty goes for a run and he's off to the races?
Well, I like it. You can throw it in. Well, one thing you can't get tonight is because they don't have the home game. They can't play horses when he kicks the goal. I'm looking forward to see what his song is at the Gabba, because horses might be the go for Ty Gallop. We'll have to wait and see what he goes with as his song. Let's hope he gets it played plenty of times and he kicks plenty of goals in his career. Who did win the toss, by the way? I didn't see Whitey while we were having a chat about that. I think both captains looked at their group as if they won the toss, so that made me confused.
All confidence, Dwayne. All confidence. I won it. We're off to a good start.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're not far away from the bounce of the ball here at the Adelaide Oval. The opening term brought to us by Host Plus, that's a plus, and AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies, and Elders for Australian Agriculture. Final word in front of a pretty good crowd at the Adelaide Oval before the bounce of the ball, given the weather conditions, but the Crows do pull a pretty good crowd every time they have a home game.
What do you reckon the home ground advantage is here?
Pretty big. Yeah, I think particularly for Adelaide, when they're in this sort of form, Crows fans come from everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you see them walking down the streets of Glenelgan, they're full kits, they wear the merch, and then they make some noise when things are going well. When things start to turn against them, I'm not sure how resilient and loyal they can be. I guess that's like any fan base, to be fair, but I feel like the Adelaide fans do jump off pretty quickly. But when they're riding this wave of momentum, and when it's been so long since they've won a premiership and played in finals, to be fair, then they're smelling something special this year.
It's going to be a lot of focus on Mark Keane, the Irishman, who had a big game last week, took a cracking mark a couple of weeks ago. He's starting to come into probably career best form. This will test him. They haven't got an absolute gun. Logan Morris is his likely opponent, but Logan can kick 2 or 3 on you, so that's going to be an interesting matchup to watch for tonight.
So the Crows kicking to the old scoreboard end in this opening term, Brisbane to the Riverbank stand end, and at least at the moment there is no rain. As we start the action from Adelaide Oval, it's the Crows and the Lions, a genuine blockbuster on a Friday night. McCluggage getting the first kick forward for the Lions, but straight to Michael Lanny, who took it on the bounce, got tackled by Cameron, and will be thrown up.
Good matchup, Michael Lanny and Cameron. He gets all the big jobs, the youngster. He's such an impressive young player.
Fort O'Brien, Fort winning it down, straight to Pete Ling, got a handball, straight to Archie of the Lions. Quick kick forward from Rayner to the top of the 50. He put in front, it gets past him and his opponent. Keane collects, he's tackled by Lohman. Will have a throw up inside 50 for the Lions.
And we're going to see plenty of stoppage. The ball's going to be on the deck a fair bit.
About 40 metres out from Brisbane's goal in their left forward pocket. McCluggage sharks it. Saligo gets him, tackles him to the ground, holding the ball. Free kick to the Crows.
It's a hot one. Maybe the one-arm free is always going to get the player, but another matchup to watch out for is Dawson and Dunkley. That's a ripper through the midfield.
So Saligo heads wide towards the wing. Test comes up to make a contest. Keys crumbs it, tried to thread a handball through legs, then he lays a tackle. Is it too hard to tackle on Lester? No, the umpire says it was okay.
He's got hard hands, Keys. His handball is pedestrian at best.
Rayner tried to break through the congestion. There's a lot of it there. Bailey around his body, but almost missed his boot. Fort preferred to McInerney for this one. Gets the kick away to half forward. Will get a ball in.
And they've been patient with McInerney, which is the right way to go. Just absolutely get him right, get him peaking for the back half of the year where he's going to be important, and he'll be as motivated as anyone, having missed out last year.
Left half forward for the Lions. The throw in at the 50. Still no score. O'Brien and Fort wins it down. Bailey gets dispossessed, holding the ball.
There's the pressure we're talking about. That's a great start to Rory Laird back in the team. They're going to fight over whose free kick it was, but I think it was Laird's.
Because there were 2 tacklers.
Yeah. Good sign, isn't it? I always think that's a good little sign, as the umpire thought about paying 50 but didn't. But Cumming was also the second tackler as well. Good signs for Adelaide.
Laird got the free kick, kicking to the wing towards Thilthorpe through his hands. Rankin fell over at the critical moment. Ford, a handball out. It's a Payne, and now it's Neil. Swings the kick back to the 50 for the Lions. In front, Morris juggling, not quite. Keen with the pressure, tried to get a kick away, got smothered, goes into the centre square, and that's where it'll all break down with Wilmot tackled by Dawson, a throw-up.
The umpire thought about that free kick, but then he thought, no, Greg Swan's in the building.
He might be
having an impact already,
Swanee. Chat about the umpiring is his first business when he gets to the office. Tried to break through Miller. I didn't get through him. Holding the ball, as you heard.
It's all right, though. I don't mind that from Bailey. Broke the first one. Don't mind you testing the tackle and trying to take them on a breakthrough.
Miller goes wide, hoping for Walker. He pulls in a one-hander. Beautiful use of the body, and then he just plucked the wet ball with one paw. Heads long, and he finds Stilthorpe. So one inside 50 might end up in one goal for the Adelaide Crows.
There's an incredible bit of skill there. Couple of bits of skill. A left-hand, one-handed handball after a great tackle by Miller, and then a left-hand dart going to the beard, and the beard just mopped it up.
Yeah, it looks like a big tradie beard, or maybe a barista. No, it's not a barista beard, is it? He's looking like he could rip a game apart come September. Riley Thilthorpe, and that is not bad off the boot. It's just drifted to the right. It's only a behind. So the opening score of the night for Host Plus. That's a plus. Host Plus winner of CanStar's Outstanding Value Super Award for the 8th year in a row.
Zorko's terrible kick back into play, and a shot at goal just misses to the left there by Curtin, who intercepted on the bounce and was looking for more of a central option rather than go for goal. In the end, he reluctantly had a shot and missed.
Finish the Zoko's career. CanStar's Outstanding Value Super Award for the 8th year in a row. That's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Proprietary Limited. Check the PDS and the TMD at hostplus.com.au. Back to you, Whitey.
Okay, so this was a longer kick in, but now a free kick to the Crows for a high shot. Zorko and Peatley.
Couple of just ordinary moments from Zorko, which is in his package, we know that, but the skill error from the kick out and then a blatant high tackle.
Back into the 50, going into the pocket. Thilthorpe is there. Oh, good work from Andrews. Floated in from the side. Knocked it out of play.
Interesting stuff from Jordan Dawson. He's trying to test Dunkley by dragging him around the back of the umpire. Just trying to drag a free kick, a 50-metre free kick.
May even drag a fine too. Ball gets thrown in. This time O'Brien wins it down to Neil, though, of the Lions. He's tackled strongly by Peatley.
They're not happy, the Lions.
No, they're not.
Tackle.
Well, there is a report. You heard that from the umpire. So as a result of that, there'll also be a free kick.
There was just no need for it. He had him wrapped up. It was clearly going to go to a stoppage. Watch it. He's got him wrapped up. The umpire's about to blow his whistle, and then the extra one to the ground. He's in trouble. He'll miss at least a week for that. Now, fortunately, Lockie Neal's not concussed, so it goes from 3 to probably 1, but that's pretty ordinary from Peatley.
On the vision, does he have to come off for a check, do you think?
Well, I think they might check it. I think as soon as you grab your head and there's a vision of your head hitting the ground, they'll have a spotter in the crowd. The iPad will have the vision on the bench, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's off pretty quickly. And Lockie Neal's just reminding him about the free kick that he milked before. He's suggesting that he raise the arm to win a free kick.
So it's on early. O'Brien and Ford to the ruckwork. Here's Neil again. Got it to McCluggage. They clear it from half back towards the wing. High ball, big fly. Worrell got up there, couldn't mark it. Laird flicks the handball back to go forward. Curtin's got it on the wing. Back in turn to Laird. Gave it inside. Little shrug from Berry. Got to kick away, but it's a roller towards the boundary, and it rolls out of play before Rochelle can get it. And then Rochelle throws the Lions player Berry, so there's a couple of berries out there away.
Bit going on. I like it, Dwayne. I like it. Bit of action early.
All right, we'll see if there's any showboating through the course of the night.
No, Matthew Nix thought he was giving away a free kick. Absolutely, saw that in the box. Ball thrown in. Fort down to Will Ashcroft to Berry. Now to Zorko. Got knocked off his kick. It's in the middle at the moment now. Lohman dives in. Hinge gets him. We'll have another throw up.
Well, as an independent, I reckon it's been a great start by the home team. Their pressure has been awesome. Zorko's been thrown to the ground legally, but he landed also on his head.
At halfway, O'Brien winning the tap down from the stoppage. Berry, the Crows Berry picks up. He's tackled.
So just on that Zorko one, he was rocked by it. So Lockie Neal wasn't rocked by the one with his head, but Zorko stayed motionless after that whiplash to the ground, so he'll definitely need to be checked.
Laird this time gets the clearance, a scrubbing ball almost to half forward. Neil Bullen over his head with a handball. Keys gets tackled by Zorko, also handballed over his head across to Fogarty. Now to Neil Bullen, darts inboard, kicks well to the 50. and Berry takes the mark 48 out from home.
This is a really sharp start by Adelaide. They haven't got it on the scoreboard yet, but Sam Berry gets an opportunity.
Pressure factor through the roof for both sides.
Yeah.
235. So 180 is a good number. They're going at 235.
Berry goes on the arc, drives it towards home. It's away to the left, hooking and through for a behind. So the Crows 3 behinds, the Lions yet to score. We've played 8 minutes, and that is on the new tech clock.
He's having a look at the replay for Makita XGT 40-volt max of that Zorko head whiplashed into the ground incident. Still hasn't been asked to come off by the Lions medical staff, so we'll keep an eye on that. Rayner from half-back heads toward the wing. Crows have the numbers out there, but it's knocked out and Gallup goes and gets. So first touch for the debutant. Gave it to Bailey. He chips it inside 50. Missed Charlie, so he gets his own crumb. Scoots it wide towards Loam and kick towards the square. He kept it low and Curtin could have actually taken possession and Loman could have actually kicked the goal, but Loma, for some strange reason, didn't elevate the kick.
Yeah, a little bit selfish, I reckon, for Loman. But Ty Gallup wasn't that impressive. He's a good ball winner at ground level, then gave it away.
A good young colt. As a Hinge comes into the field of play on a bit of a run and then kicks up to Saligo, who marks, plays on quickly, kicks to the wing. They weren't all on the same page there. Walker couldn't get there on the full, forced to tackle Fletcher. It'll be thrown up centre wing, members side of Adelaide Oval.
So Fletcher could have got rid of that ball, but he just elected to take the tackle, and it's a thing that's come into the game that's creating a lot of stoppages.
Ball thrown up. There's a whistle, it's a hold, it's going to be a Brisbane free kick.
Well, unlucky O'Brien. I thought he was just stronger in that ruck duel. He actually got it out into space and Adelaide were away, but maybe a slight grab of the jumper as they go inside, Whitey.
Yes.
And they fortunately pull it off because Ainsworth took a good mark.
He looked like he was in trouble there. He handballs onto Zorko, a flat kick to the top of the 50. Archie couldn't mark. Dawson with the crumbs. He gives a handball out, and now Pedler will kick towards the outer wing. It has to be a perfect kick for Rochelle. He's got 2 Lions players around him, keeps it in front of himself. Zorko on the chase. Andrews comes late with the tackle. He's done well, Rochelle. He's forced a neutral.
Did really well. The genuine one-on-one. Didn't lose his feet against 2 opponents. Thought he showed pretty good strength and good game now just to be able to hold that ball in and not let it spill to Brisbane's extra number.
Our experts for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts. Berry of the Crows gets the kick away, hammers it towards half forward, and Payne got there. Big climb over the top.
Payne on Thilthorpe. When Thilthorpe's deepest, they don't move.
Yeah, and Leicester's got Walker, so Taylor Walker now gets the 3rd strongest Brisbane opponent, so good opportunity for him.
Payne wide and no mark taken, hits the deck. O'Brien couldn't handle the wet ball. Peatling, it's a throw from Cumming. I'm not sure why he even attempted that. It was bizarre.
I thought you were commentating basketball there for a while, Dwayno.
And the replay showed how bad it was for Makita XGT. More power, more efficiency, more Makita.
Kind of stuck in his hands.
It's unbelievable.
So Bailey's on the outer wing. Rain has subsided, at least for the moment. He's chipped in short to Will Ashcroft.
How do you have a brain fade like that?
I think they mess around with other balls pre-game. Maybe it gets into your psyche sometimes.
Something must have happened.
High kick from Will Ashcroft to about 40 from goal. O'Brien with a spoil. Rayner bounces off a tackle. Hit and hope handball. Ainsworth came in solidly for the Lions. Spits out to Peatling. His kick is partially smothered. Coming on the deck. He tries to get a handball out. High contact tackle. Free kick Adelaide.
It's going to be a good night to put your head over it, I reckon. Umpire's going to be prone to give those free kicks away, but just the pressure factor every time a player from either side gets the footy, there is not much time and space to be able to distribute it.
Bailey gave away the high tackle. Berry out towards the wing. In front, Dunkley juggles, couldn't complete the mark. Cumming gets tackled well there by Will Ashcroft. It's holding the ball. It's going to say locked up, but no, says the umpire.
He was punching it into himself. So the AFL, whether they've had a chat to the umpires about that, but that's an interesting call. See, they persist with that. Ball comes to Gallup, got up to Archie, little note to the back. Didn't get paid. Ball swept still in, still alive, forward pocket. Loman played for the free, didn't go for the Sharon. He faked almost an acting fake without. You didn't like it?
No, I didn't like the one from Loman.
No, I didn't look at it here. Yeah, that's not good enough.
He's almost faked that he's been hit in the head.
Yes,
the way he chucked his head back. But
you've read that really well, actually.
Contact was to the lower arm.
He He's actually had a really average season. I mean, I know he had some injuries.
Now, that's a fine, Jared. Michael Christian, that is a fine. He refuses to fine anyone for that. That is as clear-cut as you're going to say. We're going to go to the score review because Charlie Cameron did what appeared to be a very good job of keeping this ball alive to force a throw in. I think that's the way they'll see it.
Luckily, otherwise we've just lost 10 seconds. They can't put back on the clock. So they've got to fix that because this is happening more often now.
Yeah. Okay, I'm writing them down. Greg Swan, there's the list. The clock.
Lyman looked like he'd been shot the way he went down.
Yeah, very ordinary.
Staging. And the clock so far.
Deep forward pocket, ball thrown in. O'Brien reaches over the top. Archie, he gets tackled off his kick. Berry in there hard for the Crows. Also Will Ashcroft for the Lions. He is going to be a throw-up.
So the umpire's got to be a little bit careful. They played a free kick to the Crows before. It was just a tiny little tap across the shoulder, and Ashcroft had the same, and they didn't pay it.
Fort wins it down. Rayner through the traffic. Flying shot misses from 15 out to the right. Behind, it's 3-2 on the Host Plus That's a Plus scoreboard.
To me, this is a win for the Lions because Adelaide have brought a lot of heat. They've had a fair few opportunities, but they haven't been able to put it on the score.
So Worrell with the kick in, he runs his full measure and then thumps it. Fort's in front spot. Didn't quite hold it, didn't hold it long enough. Peatling slips as he gathers. Turns out of a jam though, he got to his feet and now he finds the wide option in Curtin. He looks around to see what he's got on offer. Kicked it into the man on the mark as well. That was a little bizarre. Stays in play. Hammered back towards half forward. Is it's going to stay in play? It's not. It's out on the full. And Laird will take the free. Just on the acting, Jared, it's added to if you act that you've been hit in the head.
Yep.
That's the one they have to stop. Kane was right. You can act and try and milk one, but if you act that you've been hit in the head, that's not on.
Laird's kicked it close to the boundary. Fogarty from behind had to knock it out of play rather than try and take the mark. So halfway through this opening term and we still haven't had a goal. It's 3-2. No rain at the moment, but because of the rain before play, it's certainly very slippery. A lot of the crowd coming out from underneath the grandstands to sit in their seats. Ball gets thrown in. Thilthorpe down to Rankin, went through his legs. Neil picks up the ball. He's well tackled by Dawson. Another stoppage.
I actually really like it when Thilthorpe goes into the ruck for Adelaide for a couple of reasons. He's very mobile and he's like an extra midfielder on the ground, but also I just think their forward line is more balanced with Fogarty and Walker, the only two tools there. It's a good balance when he goes in there.
Will Ashcroft get in there though? That's a problem. Only been in 3 times.
Ashcroft got the clearance down towards half forward. Rayner took it on the second bounce, kicks it inside 50. It's gone out of play for a throw in. 40 metres around for Brisbane's goal.
Opening term for Host Plus, that's a plus. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies and for Elders for Australian Agriculture.
Jordan Dawson, just one possession. I reckon you've got to make a move early in the piece if you're going to break a tag. Get him on the half-back flank.
Halfway through this opening term for New Tech, automation for manufacturing. And Berry of the Lions thumps it, top of the goal square. Out they come, trying to take the mark. No one could. Neil couldn't crumb it. Saligo goes in low. And that's exactly as Kane and Jared's been saying. You go in low, you go in hard. You might get yourself a free, and the replay for Makita XGT 40-volt max shows exactly that.
Yeah, so they've had 3 free kicks for too high and 3 for holding the ball already, Adelaide.
Saligo to Worrell, who kicks up to the wing. Off the pack, Fletcher, handball to Wilmot, kicks it straight up in the air, into the centre square. Dawson got crashed into by Rayner. No free kick in the marking contest. Fletcher paddles it in the gallop direction. He's well tackled by Pedler, and it'll be thrown up on the wing.
Well, there's no easy balls won here. This is red hot. Jordan Dawson came back with a fly to the ball. He got one clipped above the head. No free kick.
Good contest.
AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies and Elders for Australian Agriculture. Ball gets thrown up. Will Ashcroft soccers off the ground, then Dunkley also soccers off the ground to Hipwood. Hipwood gets tackled, handballs into the corridor. Rayner's well tackled there by Miller. No free kick, play on Bailey. He absorbed the tackle. He handballs to Levi Ashcroft, left foot snap towards goal. It also misses, bouncing away to the right. 3 each.
They're a great handballing team. They've got high quality handballers right through the middle of the ground.
So Hinge got on the end of the kick in, heads wide, good transition. Curtin's marked up against the boundary on the wing.
Yeah, been busy. Curtin playing on the wing is getting a hold of it. Hasn't used it that well yet.
Sends it towards half forward. Walker got a hand on it, knocked it down. Fogarty's got it. They've got him.
Just reckon clearly the attitude for Brisbane is take the tackle. We're trying to test the tackle now. It hasn't worked 3 holding the balls, but that last passage of play there was probably 4 or 5 broken tackles. So that's clearly a method that they've come in with.
Gallup, the debutant, got a little handball flick away, but Thilthorpe cut it off. Got it to Keys, rolled it half forward. Fogarty dragged down by Harris Andrews. High tackle again.
Very stiff. It was a great kick. Just it was a ground ball.
It was a good kick. It was a smart kick along the ground from Keys. Now, Fogarty slipped. What is Harris Andrews supposed to do there? If he's got the wrong boots on and slips, it's a really hard one.
Fogarty decides not to go for goal. He sends it to Tex. It's thumped straight up in the air. And it might be a Rochelle behind. So we've got 4 behinds to 3 behinds as it stands right now. We might have to give the Beaumont's plug away now because we might not get a goal tonight. Beaumont's tiles, Beaumont's massive range of tiles, all on sale now. So we haven't had a goal of the day. In fact, we haven't had a goal at all.
That is the most ridiculous review you've ever seen.
It's as bad a review as
that is. You'll never get a roll on a Sydney to Hobart boat. You've got to have a 3 pinpoint to make sure you don't cross the line on a 100-foot boat. He can't work it out whether that's gone one side of the post or the other.
By half a metre.
Let's write down for Greg Swan.
It is the Bermuda Triangle down there at that end of the ground with gull umpires.
If it's a sponsored thing. That they have to get enough score reviews out the way to satisfy a sponsor.
Well, that's the only excuse there.
Fletcher brings the Danky to play for the Lions. Good kick to Dunkley on the stretch. He marks at left half back for the Lions.
Just checking on Eddie Corns. He was scrolling on TikTok before when I turned around.
He'd be a Port fan, so why is he watching the Crows?
Dunkley up to the wing, through hands. Michael Annie slipped over. Lohman collects. He gets tackled high. He'll get a free kick. Advantage is paid. I'm not sure where the advantage was. Levi Ashcroft's tackled to the ground by Cumming, and we'll have a throw up.
Eddie is a Port fan, isn't he?
Yes.
Not interested in this.
Big one.
Well, he'd be barracking for the Lions.
It would be.
So from the scramble here on the wing, Cumming goes down low. Dunkley just as low, and we'll get another ball up.
How many goals wins it tonight? Let's go round. I'm going to say 11 goals wins it, Jared.
11's not bad.
12 goals wins.
I might go for 9.
Okay.
Thilthorpe around the body. 9-16 wins it.
I think it'll open up. It'll open up.
9-16.
Remember Adelaide, their only win against the top 8 side was against the Giants. They kept them to 4 in similar conditions.
And they didn't kick too many more themselves.
Jordan Dawson, 2 touches. I'm on Dawson watch at the moment. Dunkley with 4.
It's 4-3, and we've played 20 minutes in this opening term.
That is not because there's no goal assist at the moment.
Rankin just throws it away. That's been given the all clear.
Wow.
Hinge for the Crows. Front part of the square into an open forward line. Payne dives and doesn't get there. Walker collects deep in the pocket. Left foot, flying shot at goal, goes right across the face and misses everything.
Someone tell me how Rankin disposed of that ball.
He threw it, Kane. That's like Mitchell.
Now, he hadn't touched the footy to that point, and Champion Data didn't give him a handball for that, so he must have thrown it.
Okay, another one for Greg Swan. Write that down. A throw is a throw.
Still no touches for Rankin.
Throw's a free kick. We'll have to get that on the rules committee and get that pass. Fletcher's about to be hunted down. He is hunted down, and a good tackle laid by Cumming.
Yeah, the pressure's up. They're going well.
22 tackles, Jared. Already.
He spears it wide, hoping for the leader, but Payne read it to perfection. Reddy Sides gave it to Jared Berry of the Lions. He pumps it back down the wing. Fly from Lohman, can't mark it. Hits the deck. Crumb from Dunkley, but he mongrels it to half foot. It might work. Charlie Cameron's got it. This should be the opening goal. He zigs, he zags, he ran into trouble. He got it to Rayner, who's on his left. Should kick the goal, and it does. That's the Beaumont Tiles goal of the night. It's the only goal of the night. Beaumont Tiles, massive range of tiles on sale now. And the Lions 1-3-9 to the Crows 4 behinds. That's on the Host Plus scoreboard. That's a plus. 6 minutes left in the opening term on the New Tech clock. Optimise your business with automation.
For some reason, Kane have been drawn to selfishness inside the forward 50 from small forwards. And Charlie Cameron should have kicked that first one. There was an open goal, just the over-the-top 35-metre. He was smart enough.
It was Morris.
To get away with it, yeah. Logan Morris should have a chat to him. He was absolutely spot on.
And even that kick on the left
from Rayner. I thought he was going to pass that as well. It's a really good pickup.
Morris has 2 burns there.
Yeah,
not sure Green Swan's going to sort them out, but maybe he can before he leaves.
In the end, Rayner takes it upon himself to kick the first goal of the game. And I mean, you never know what you're going to get from Cam Rayner. It could be absolutely elite first class, and it looks it might be that way. He's had 7 and 4 score involvements in that goal to start this game.
Lions go forward again with Neil on the outside of his boot. He kicks to half forward. Morris has 2 to beat. He gets knocked out of the contest. Hinge for the Crows. Handballs back into the mess. Clever work from Dunkley. Will Ashcroft. Now Archie. 40 out. Low zooming. Ball is home. 2 to the Lions within the space of a minute. And just like that, Brisbane 2-3-15, Adelaide 4 behinds.
Well, he just got to take care of the footy. Brisbane won the initial clearance, and Keane was excellent. He got rid of Morris in a one-on-one. Hinge picked up the footy and just coughed it up. That is what pressure does to good players. He felt the pressure, coughed up a high hospital handball. We'll see it here, and that's turnover city. Turned the footy over in that part of the ground. Ashcroft's hands were elite. Morris's hands were just as good, and Archie sneaks it through by the thinnest of margins.
Is that at the post, or is it done an off break when it bounced?
Done a late swing, but that's 2 big goals late in the first term, and that's what they can do. They can rip your heart out pretty quickly this side.
Running hot for Ream, the Lions right now, Australia's favourite hot water, our experts for MEGT. Build a winning team with Australia's apprenticeship experts, MEGT. So from the restart, there'll be another restart. After the restart, there's a ball up. But the hands, there's a difference between the handball craft between these 2 teams. That last one started with Dunkley. It was a little tap on, and in the middle, they are hot with their hands. So Fletcher gets the clearance, gets the ball to half forward. Morris was there, couldn't trap it. Neil Bullen was there, can't trap it. Archie traps it with Neil Bullen. Umpire was quick to ball it up there. So just 5:51 left in the opening term. Here's Whitey for AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies. Before you go, 30 handballs to 13 in favour of Brisbane.
From the stoppage, it sort of pushes Adelaide's way, and then Keys kicks it off the ground. But that doesn't work. It's straight back to the Lions as they go to the open side. Berry, back right corner of the square towards the wing. Wanted Lohman, went over his head. It's still a chance here for the Lions, although Dunkley was just a bit too clever. Dawson took it, handball straight to Malera, no free kick. Brisbane with the ball. Lohman chips a little pop kick over the top, and that works for Gallup.
Massive skill differential here.
Yeah,
incredible.
It's obvious.
Gallup is going deep to about 20 out. Oh, O'Brien, good mark. Archie thought he was going to take that. O'Brien came from the side and took the mark.
Well, it looked like Archie was going to take it. The big fella just got himself into a really good spot, Riley O'Brien. He's in good form.
Go with the Hinge. Is he about to get a contract renewal?
He should, and if he hasn't from Adelaide, someone like Geelong will give him one.
That's the first skill error that's cost him a big turnover. Bad left footer from McCluggage. So Neil Bullen's got it at centre half back. He's got... He goes to Curtin out wide.
Not sure about this ball movement. Very prone to coming to the near side, the interchange side, Adelaide, but there's been nothing through the middle of the ground. It's all been wide.
Fogarty keeps it wide. 2 1-on-1. The Walker 1-on-1. Leicester got a fist on it, knocked it down. Keys, Leicester, all there. No one can get it out. And with 4:26 left on the clock in the opening term, brought to us by Host Plus. That's a plus. Crows haven't scored a goal. They're 4 behinds. Lions 2-3-15. A great defence by Leicester. Didn't no hands in back, just jumped and spoiled.
Another clearance to the Lions. Berry spirals the ball towards the wing. It was touched off the boot. Hinge takes it for the Crows. Handball's a bit slick there for Curtin, who dropped it. Rayner slides in. Neil scoops it up. Gives the handball to McCluggage. McCluggage back to the wing. McKean with the spoil. It goes inside the centre square, and it'll work for the Crows. Or will it? Oh, knocked down. Charlie Cameron, hip and shoulders, Rory led straight in the back, so it'll be a free kick in the middle of the ground.
He must have played rugby league as a junior, I reckon, Charlie Cameron. He's got some those traits, those almost the shoulder charge, which is now illegal in that sport as well. But that was pretty average.
Yeah, very unusual.
Yeah.
Kick to the 50. No one can take the mark. Rankin at the back of the contest. Took it on the bounce. Handballs to Peatling. Gets pushed in the back. Another free kick.
He's just a bit off McCluggage at the present time.
Jared, he's had 4 kicks. Hasn't had an effective kick yet.
So Peatling,
sloppy around the pill.
left half forward, the kick into the 50. Don't like it. No, that's no good. Berry takes the mark for the Lions.
You love midfielders who are strong overhead, and Brisbane have got a couple. Like Dunkley's so strong overhead. Berry underrated how good he is in the air. Jordan Dawson's another example of that.
And good call from his boot. Dawson Gathers, perfectly called. There's a few in the comp. Nick Voston. There's a few that have been great overhead for a long time, playing above their height, really.
Yeah.
So Dawson backpedals on the wing here. Chance for the Crows to get their first goal of the night if he finds a target inside 50. He goes wider than you would have thought he would have. Off hands Keys. Handball inside to Walker. Gave it to Rankin, and Rankin's just lucky to scrape it in for a behind. They've got 5 of them. Adelaide, one more behind, they'll have a goal. 2 minutes and 51 left. Opening term for Host Plus, that's a plus.
Be interested in your thoughts on Dawson's kicking, Kane. He's perfected the up and under this year.
On that occasion, he just got too close to the man on the mark. Such a simple thing, just didn't give himself any room.
Wilmot short to Neil, who has to rush a kick towards half-back. People couldn't take the mark. Another free kick.
Tucked his head there.
Very high on Peatling.
They're into him, the Brisbane players as well.
It's not going to Peatling.
Nice call by the umpire there.
It's been called as a duck, has it?
No,
it hasn't.
What's the duck?
Well, the players were very confused there.
Did the 2 umpires give a different call?
Well, Peatling gave the ball to the Brisbane Lions player. Anyway, he's kicked it inside 50. There is another free kick. This time it's going to the Lions. Rankin was going to kick towards goal. It would have been 50 against him. It's coming back. So we have had 17 free kicks in the opening quarter.
Should have had 25 though.
11 to Adelaide, 6 to Brisbane.
Yep, 5 for high contact. Adelaide have won.
So Andrews with a free kick back towards the interchange gate wing. 2 Lions players scored each other, or both tried to mark it, both kind of marked it. The umpire said, no, neither of you did.
One just had to let go. There was Rayner and Logan Morris.
Isn't the man in front?
Yeah, that is a nonsense decision for the Greg Swan.
Look at this.
Man in front.
Man in front gets paid
Which
the mark.
one, though? They were sort of both to the sides.
Well, make a call.
Well, the umpire wasn't sure, so he said, neither of you.
You can't actually make that call, can you? If 2 lines mark it, is the call neither marked it?
It's a team mark.
I've never heard of that before. How long's the game been going? Just ring Tom Wills. Did he make that rule? If 2 players mark it from the same team, it's not a mark to either. Tex gets there and takes this mark, and he can kick the first goal for Adelaide from 45 metres out on a 45-degree angle. You can just about put this in the book.
Yeah, this is really interesting that Tex, Leicester lets him go.
What's he doing, Leicester?
And he just had a brain fade, and he's looking around, he's got him covered, doesn't think he's going to get it, doesn't close the space. Tex has got his eyes on this the whole way through.
Uncontested chest mark after a long, slow high ball inside 450, because Leicester just let him run at it.
So 5 minutes in from the boundary for the Crows. Opening goal, and it's across the face, and it's a behind. So they've got a goal of sorts. They've got 6 behinds, Adelaide. The Lions have 2, 3, 15, and that is on the Host Plus. That's a plus scoreboard with a minute left.
You couldn't have had it in better hands, in a better spot for him to nail that.
Lions out to half-back, but McCluggey just turned it over again, straight to Neil Bullen, into the 50. Phil falls straight through his hands. Berry gets absolutely deathed by Fogarty. All fine. It was a tackle. It was a hip and shoulder all at the same time.
Well, if I'm Chris Fagan, I'm getting the runner out and saying to Hugh McCluggey, come and have a spell. We need to restart.
Throw up inside 50. Fort wins it down to Neil. Neil was tackled but got a handball to Berry. Standing start. Back out towards the wing. Keane couldn't take the mark. Butts in support at ground level. Tries to paddle it to Laird. It kind of worked to Neil Bullen now. Back to Peatling running the boundaries. Kicks it straight to Fletcher.
I thought he was going to pay that. They've been hot on that downfield free kick this year, the AFL, but on that occasion they let it play on, and Brisbane take the intercept mark across half-back.
They'll be cautious here with 20 seconds left. The Lions will go down the line, and Mark's been dropped. See, they could score now. Logan Morris was manhandled, didn't really have it. Laird goes and gets it. Umpires found a holding for it. It's Adelaide's ball, but it will come back with 9 seconds left on the Host Plus scoreboard. That's a plus. And the clock, of course, for New Tech, automation for manufacturing. Time enough for maybe a mark on attacking 50 from this kick, and that is it.
If Keane decides to Adelaide, 6 to Brisbane.
Keane took an eternity, and I'm not even sure the kick will count. It may have come after the siren, so he's not even going to get the stat now because he wasn't keen enough. So quarter time, Adelaide Oval, drizzle, Lions superior at the moment. They kicked the opening 2 goals of the game. The Adelaide Crows were 6 behind. The score for Host Plus, that's a plus. 15 plays 6. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Host Plus. Host Plus, winner of CanStar's Outstanding Value Super Award for the 8th year in a row. That's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. Check the PDS and TND at hostplus.com.au.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability, all while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
Through 100 years, New Farm has gone through thick and thin with Australian farmers. Through protection, through innovation, through growth. All so that Australian farmers are there for Australia. Because when you choose New Farm's crop protection solutions, you choose to support Australian jobs, Australian innovation, and a strong Australian supply chain. Through our partnership, we're tougher together. Visit newfarm.com.au. New Farm, Australian through and through.
Got a Mack, Volvo or Hino truck or anything in between and need parts? Get into Truckline with over 70,000 parts ready to go. We've got Japanese, North American and European trucks and trailers covered. And that means our expert team will have you back on the road in no time. So, whether it's a new rig or an old Warrior, Truckline has all the parts you need. Visit truckline.com.au for your nearest store.
If you're in the market to make a move, my mates at Brighton have put together something special to make your dream build that much better. The Brighton Answer deal is here with a discount of up to 30 grand off your new home. That's right, folks, a massive 30 grand back in your pocket. But you better be quick. Drop into your nearest display home today and bring your dream home to life with Brighton, Queensland's #1 builder.
Footy fans, why rush home after the game? Stay the night in the CBD at Brady Hotels and Apartments. Just minutes from Marvel Stadium and the MCG, as well as the city's best restaurants and bars. Rooms start from as little as $129, and with code SEN at checkout, you'll get 20% off our best flexible rate. So make the most of the 2025 footy season. Head to bradyhotels.com.au and book now with code SEN.
In footy, you've got one guarantee each week. It's not the win or loss. It's not the coach's spray. And it's not the cry of... It's the 4 and 20 pie. That classic taste of 100% Australian meat in delicious gravy wrapped in golden pastry. Like coming back to win from 10 goals down. Nothing beats the aroma and taste of a 4 and 20 pie. There's a win in every bite. 4 and 20, Australia's original fan food.
Don't miss the world's best netballers every Saturday and Sunday in Suncorp Super Netball. Can the Adelaide Thunderbirds achieve greatness with a three-peat, or will the Melbourne Vixens take the next step to premiership glory? The pressure will be on with the Firebirds Fever and Swift's new look shooting ends in the spotlight. Who is up for the challenge? Tickets are on sale now, or watch every game live and on demand on KO Sports, Foxtel, and for the first time, Binge.
It's here, OMF's massive end of financial year sale with some of our best offers and $10 million of stock to clear. Grab the award-winning Revivify Support for under $800, or the new Mornington Flex for under $1,300. Take up to 20% off bedroom furniture and up to 60% off full stock while it lasts. Plus, buy any mattress over $1,000 and get a bonus microfiber mattress protector free. Hurry, stock is limited. Ends soon at OMF, the home of mattress, bedroom, bedding and furniture.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Elders. Open an Elders Rural Products prepayment account to win. And 4 and 20. Try Domino's Meat Pie Crust with 4 and 20 pies. Macca's. I'm loving it moments. Macca's new McSmart meal is here.
Charlie Cameron's got it. This should be the opening goal. He zigs, he zags, he ran into trouble. He got up to Rayner, who's on his left, should kick the goal, and does.
Will Ashcroft, now Archie, 40 out, low zooming, ball is home. Two to the line.
Great to have your company on AFL Nation. Our experts for MEGT, Kane Corns and Jared Healy. And the score at quarter time, the Adelaide Crows 6 behind. The Brisbane Lions 2-3-15. What'd you make of the opening term?
Well, an arm wrestle, really, a lot of pressure. Adelaide on track for 100 tackles, which goes to show their intent. But I think Jared summed it up nicely during the call. There's just been a class advantage to the favour of the Lions. They're just cleaner. Their hands are more sure. And when they've had their opportunities to finish a couple of times through Rayner and also Archie, they've made the most of those, where Adelaide squandered a number of opportunities.
They did going inside forward 50. Tex, I nailed one with a certainty. Unfortunately, it was anything but. 37 handballs to 22. There's handball and there's handball. And Brisbane right now are putting on a clinic of just how well they control the ball inside to get it to the outside. It's a wet day. They're absolutely superb. It looks like Isaac Rankin, they've had enough of him getting Rick Amortis in the forward line. He's gone into the centre, and probably Dawson. They're going to get some more out of Dawson.
So then Dunkley just switches over. So Dunkley's going to take whoever of those two is on ball at the time.
Second quarter underway. Fort winning the tap down. McCluggage works Berry under the ball and then gets a quick kick forward to Ashcroft. That's Will Ashcroft. Now to Neil. Up to full forward. Doesn't get to Raider because Butts came in and took a terrific mark going back with the flight.
That's when you need to go sideways. Like the normal trajectory is to go straight up the middle, but you need to be able to get an angle on that kick.
Butts out wide, wanting O'Brien, juggles and marks between two lines. That was a good grab.
Yeah, one of them was Orko, so Fort was just not in that contest, but you're right. Elite hands again from the Brisbane Lions out of the centre bounce, but ordinary kick inside forward 50, and Hipwood's got to be more competitive.
O'Brien up to Fogarty, who marks in front of Payne. That was a good grab. Centre wing.
Good hands there. New ball to start the quarter, you would think, and Thilthorpe marks it. One grab as well. So the rain's stopped. The deck is still slippery, but the ball hasn't hit the deck to start this second term. The Flyers go up full forward for the Crows, and the tackle laid.
I like that though, Dawson in the goal square. They've got plenty of options. Just make things a little bit more unpredictable.
So a ball up, 30 out from the Adelaide Crows goal. They're yet to score a goal. They've got one now. Keys rolls it home. And that is a contender for goal of the night for Beaumont Tiles. Beaumont's massive range of tiles on sale now. Opening goal of the second term, brought to us by a second term Mate Internet and Mobile. Mate Internet and Mobile save $180 over 6 months with Mate Internet. Use promo code MATE30 at checkout.
It's one the Brisbane Lions co-captain Harris Andrews will not want to look back on this. So, I mean, at some stage, I know you're a key defender, but if you're at a stoppage and you're on a dangerous player, go and play on him. Just look at the room Harris Andrews gives Ben Keys here at this stoppage. It's comical. So he's got Andrews on no one. He goes across, notices Keys is free, but half goes and doesn't close down the space, and Keys kicks a walking goal from a defensive stoppage when you always have the extra number at those stoppages. So Riley O'Brien also with an excellent tap is monstering Fort, so clear advantage for Adelaide there.
Not sure where Zorko was, but you're right. Harris had to push up and nail him.
A 21st goal of the season for Keys from the restart. Dawson, handball to Saliga, who did fumble. He was overwhelmed by the numbers, and it was Dunkley who got the handball to Rayner, spirals the ball inside 50. Gallis a bit of a chance here, although he couldn't get the greasy ball. It's to have his hands over for a throw-in.
It was a classic contrast of how clean Brisbane are compared to how fumbly the opposition are inside the contest.
This is a great test for Adelaide. This is what you're going to get in finals. Can Saligo stand up to it? Can Peatling? Can Hinge? Because the evidence on this game is so there's been a few iffy moments for them.
Deep left forward pocket for the Lions from the throw-in. It's an Adelaide ball with Michael Lanny clearing, and Thilthorpe not taking the mark but getting a free kick against Payne. Chopping of the arms, maybe of holding, maybe of pushing the back, Jared.
Could decide this contest, this matchup.
Thilthorpe, little short ball into Rochelle, who has it on the interchange gate wing. Gets onto his left foot. It's a flat ball towards half forward. Fogarty Wose with one arm, couldn't take the mark. Rankin gets tackled by Lester, holding the ball. Another free kick.
So they're using the width. Adelaide continually up against the boundary. Long loss toward half forward, and Worrell went the double-fisted spoil. He got away with it because Laird mopped up the mess. Heads back towards Fogarty, thumped away from Fogarty by Andrews, and will get a ball in early stages second term. And the clock for New Tech. Automation for manufacturing. Quick around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse. Get discounted prescriptions and save more money at Chemist Warehouse. The Storms beaten North Queensland 38-14.
Ball gets thrown in. Centre wing. Ford in the front, wins it to the front. McCluggage has two Crows near him, and it comes off his heel and out of bounds on the full.
It's on the full from someone.
From Dawson, wasn't it?
We're not
From
sure.
Dawson?
We're going to have a conversation between a couple of umpires here. 3 umpires, in fact.
I think it came off McCluggage's heel into Dawson's leg. Yeah. I think it's a throw-in.
Well done, Kane. Maybe Kane could be the umpire's advisor. That could be Greg Swan's first appointment.
After the week I've had, maybe not.
That's a good point.
I hadn't thought of that.
Clearances is well and truly in charge of in front of the Lions, and it's all because of the cleanliness.
Ford wins it to the front.
I just dropped that one off.
The ground. It ricocheted off a shin Brisbane's way. Keane tries to knock it further forward. Saligo close to the line. He gets tackled by Gallup.
Kane not
out of
the umpire's
bounds.
advisor. It's down.
He's got a lot of spare time though, Kane, let's face it. There's a couple of minutes spare when he's not on air.
I think I could do the job. I'm just not sure whether I'd be welcome.
Do the job as well, but you could you call it and do the umpiring at the same time? So that's holding the ball. And might be all be happy with it. Ball knocked down towards McCluggage, couldn't get it away. Neil had it, couldn't get it away. Saligo does flick it out in the Dawson direction, couldn't get there in time, lays the tackle on Gallup. He's looked good early. Second turn brought to us the second quarter by Mate Internet and Mobile, and we're 3 minutes into it on the New Tech Automation for Manufacturing clock.
Just outside the 50 for the Lions, Berry's handball goes straight out of bounds.
He's making it life difficult for
Crouch,
the dual Brownlow medalist.
Oh, yeah, Lockie Neal.
Yep.
Berry. I like Berry. He started 4 times in his first 4 games of the year.
I reckon if they didn't play him now, he was off somewhere.
Yeah, we spoke about that on Sports Day, Joe. I think he's a prime target for a team looking to bolster their midfield.
Still at the 50 from the throw-in. Neil will get there first at ground level. Gets tackled by Berry again.
Still gets
Stay in the field
away.
of play. Got a handball, and then Will Ashcroft sock it off the ground. Dunkley back to Will Ashcroft. Now to Raider. Raider's a chance here. Opens the angle. Put it down. That's a goal. Slick hands from the Lions inside 50. And they get their first goal of the second term to get that buffer back in tough conditions. Brisbane 3-3-21, Adelaide 1-6-12, and we've played 6 minutes in the second term on the Mate Internet and Mobile scoreboard.
Well, it started because of the Maestro. The Maestro kept that ball alive. Lockie Neal. He was on the deck, and here he is going. He gets tackled. He still gets the handball away between legs. Gets it going forward, and then the handball gang just executed magnificent.
We don't have a sponsor for the boundary update. Perhaps we should, but Jordan Dawson, the skipper for Adelaide, just off the ground, hobbling off the ground. So that could be a big story developing as well. But you're absolutely right. That ball needed to cross the boundary line if you're Adelaide. It was kept alive. Dunkley's hands elite. Ashcroft's hands elite. And this man, Cam Rayner, is feeling it tonight. He's got that look about him. Couple of goals, 9 touches, 5 score involvements already. Dawson must have got a knock on the knee, so doesn't look to be anything serious.
Rayner running hot for Ream, Australia's favourite hot water Ream. Crows get the clearance to half forward. Little flick handball from Peatland didn't quite work. It might still work. Berry of the Crows kicks it wide and high in Keys' direction, and he gets there in front of Zorko. He's too far out to kick it from there. He's 80 from goal, so he's going to have to pass it off or hope someone marks it. Goes top of the square. O'Brien's down there. Walker's down there. Got a big palm. Knocked it to Rankin. Umpire was quick with the whistle. Ball up.
See us
Sweaty directly out.
On they are here, Brisbane's defenders. So Berry's now in that dangerous space where Keys kicked the previous goal, but a lot of movement at this stoppage.
20 metres out from Adelaide's goal. Fort is the one that gouges a kick clear up towards defensive 50. Archie taps it on further. Michael Annie for the Crows falls on the football. He's got to be careful here. He did knock it out. Hipwood got a handball. Rayner knocked it on. It works. The 2 Ashcroft brothers working together in tandem. It's Levi that gets the clearing kick forward of the wing. Worrell will get there first though for Adelaide. Running the boundary. He kicks back towards half forward to a one-on-one. Wilmot spoils away from Rochelle. At ground level, Payne in support. He loses the footy. So does Curtin. Lester goes in. He's tackled by Neil Bullen over the line for a throw-in.
Tough contest at the moment. The ball for Maccas. Maccas near McSmartmeal is here. In slow motion, just rolling across the deck. Dawson has the knee rub. Looks like he'll be coming back on. He's our flexible player for Flexold, the only flexible oral lice treatment for sheep. The two rucks go at it. Fortin O'Brien knocked down in the Rankin direction. Good smother laid by Saligo. Ball still in the congestion. Peatling against the grain. Stripped. Ainsworth free kick for holding the ball. And he'll take it for the Lions and send them inside 50 maybe from the wing. Second term for Mate Internet and Mobile, and it's still 21 plays 12. The Lions lead.
Well, that's the difference one of the difference between the two. Peatling tried to walk his way out, got tackled, whereas the Brisbane Lions, they handballed their way out.
Ainsworth gives the handball to Leicester running past. High kick into the 50. Rayner was up in the back, couldn't mark. Will Ashcroft, another disposal. It's a handball out, and then he'll get it back from Bailey into the 50. Spoil came from Laird. Laird gets it again, then fumbles it. Has support from Berry. Handballs back to Laird. Rush kick back towards the wing. Walker marks it a one-on-one with Leicester. He handballs it on to Keys. He has to wait for it to bounce. He collects and then kicks a long ball into the 50. Philthorpe caught out of position from behind, pushes his opponent in the back. Free kick against the Crows.
It's really good positioning from Payne, who won that free kick. A really aggressive ball side, took the front position, and in the end, Philthorpe had no option but to push him right in the back. Good decision for the umpire.
Brisbane by 9 points on the Mate Internet and Mobile scoreboard. Just a quarter of the way through the second term. Kick back towards the wing. Over the top hinge, got the spoil. Straight down to Lohman, though. Lohman gets a handball to Bailey. He's tackled by Laird over the boundary. Another stoppage.
Yeah, Bailey caught one eye and then he can't do that.
I mean, Bailey then almost threw the back at Saligo. So Saligo whacks him high. Bailey throws the ball back at him. The umpire almost thinks, well, it was half and half, so I'll just allow the ball to be thrown in.
Well, you can do that.
He blew the whistle.
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be a free kick paid.
Yeah, you can do it. So it depends on Berry, who gets away with this for the Adelaide Crows. Go over to Hinge. He bangs it high, nearly hit the roof. High ball. Philthorpe got there late. Harris Andrews, an amazing grab.
Held his ground. That, Tex. That's not good enough from Tex.
So Harris has got it, chips the kick, and gets it over the top. And chance for Will Ashcroft to find a target wide. He goes to Lohman. Good clean-handed grab. The kick not so good, although might be made good by Archie. Ken kicked it off the deck. Little fumble from Hinge. Back to Ken, gone. Holding the ball. Bailey free kick, and Logan Morris did well not playing on to disadvantage. Or do you think he should have played on?
No, I think Archie did the right thing and basically stood in his way and said, do not play on. This is a...
Tackled his own man.
This is a kick from 35 out directly in front by a very good exponent of the drop punt set shot for goal in Zach Bailey, and Keane just had no awareness of what was around him.
Kyle Lohman's had a couple of possessions and he's going as effectively as he did in the first quarter. 0%.
So lines up from just inside the 50. Looks pretty good off the boot. That is a delightful kick. Straight over the goal umpire's hat, despite the fact that it is slippery conditions, and they advance their way to the biggest lead of the game right now. 15 points, 4-3-27. The Lions, the Adelaide Crows, 1-6-12. Mate Internet and Mobile save $180 over 6 months with Mate Internet. Use promo code MATE30 at checkout.
Kane, I tell you who's running hot for Ream. Will Ashcroft just has 7 disposals in this term. The next best for the Lions is 2.
I was just looking at his numbers.
He's got, was it 16 for the match already?
You were 5 seconds ahead of me as I looked down, and my eyes nearly exploded when I saw that he's had 17 already, 5 clearances, 3 score involvements, and he's just running around doing as he pleases. But I think what has been highlighted is, and we saw this on grand final day, just the elite level of skill that he's displaying in tricky conditions, like how clean he's been with his hands and at ground level. I mean, go get the videotape if you want to be good.
Into the middle we go again. Socket off the ground Adelaide's way, but Berry came off the square, got a handball out to Fletcher. His handball to Ainsworth on the bounce, loses it in the tackle. Keys came in, then slides onto his knees. Still was able to get a handball to Laird. High kick into the 50 for the Crows. Andrews got the spoil in, read it well in the air. And then it was Ford at ground level who got a handball to Wilmot. A little bit of an iffy handball, waved away. Play on, Berry kicks it straight into his teammate McCluggage, who is able to recover and get a kick to the middle of the ground in front. Hipwood couldn't take the mark, but he burst through a tackle, took it on the bounce, kicks it inside 50. Cameron is down there. Will it sit for him? It doesn't. It trickles out of play for a throw in 20 around for Brisbane's goal.
How did he dispose of this, Wilmot? He tries to come around the tackle. I mean, he's had prior opportunity. After you've had prior, now maybe the umpire says it wasn't a legal tackle. I would suggest that's a pretty good tackle from Saligo. Didn't dispose of it correctly. Had to be holding the ball inside Adelaide's forward 50.
Ball thrown in. O'Brien wins it to the front. Saligo has another fumble. Bailey's tackled well there by Pedler. We'll have another stoppage inside 50 for Brisbane.
Does everyone agree with that?
27-12. It was a throw.
No. You got to tackle him.
You don't think it was a tackle?
Not a tackle. It was a knockout.
Fort wins it down to McCluggage, lost it, coming for the Crows, kicks it back their way inside the centre square. Fletcher handballs to Berry for the Lions. Andrews now, the Lions have it back at halfway.
Yeah, he sends it long, he sends a mongrel on attacking 50, and it might be marked. It is. Bailey's marked it. It floated through the air like it was going to break his fingers if he went for it, but he took a good grab.
I've got a funny feeling we're going to get a few opportunities to reflect on that tackle, though.
Debate that, I think it's going to be a talking point. Well, if it wasn't a tackle, you suggest the ball was knocked out in the tackle.
Well, knocked out, did he tackle him? Or did he just knock it out?
Well, knocked out in the tackle, if you've had prior, is holding the ball.
That's true. But did he tackle him or did he knock him?
I think he tackled him for, as he dispossessed him, he had him actually tackled as opposed to bumped.
Get Greg Swan on the phone at half time.
Bailey long, it's across the face. Loman flies, can't mark it. And that argument, we've got a sponsor for the argument.
It's
a sponsor, it's an argument for Macca's. The new Smart Meal is here.
But I mean, that highlights the complexities of the game. We all see it differently.
I'd like a couple more replays. The umpire doesn't get that, obviously.
No. Well, the replays are sponsored, so that's a good news thing for Makita XGT 40-volt max.
Deep in the forward pocket, ball gets thrown in. Fort to the front. Malera had it for a moment, lost it. Comes back to O'Brien as a fumble. Peatling well tackled by Loman. High tackle, free kick, McCluggage.
You can't say he ducked. He just got down low and he was trying to go forward.
It's a great night, as we said in the first quarter, to stick your head over it and win yourself a free kick. And that's all he did. He's trying to stand up. He's won the ball at ground level.
He's done from the big ruckman.
He's trying to stand up and he's being decapitated.
We're seeing the Makita replay. That's what's called putting your head in the hole.
There's no argument about that one, Whitey.
Winning a free kick and then kicking a goal. Huey McCluggage gets Brisbane's 5th goal, and they're out by 21 points, the Premiers. 5-3-33, Brisbane. Adelaide 1-6-12, and we have played 16 minutes in this second term on the Mate Internet and Mobile Scoreboard. Kane Collins, BME GT
Well, he
Australia's
needed that.
experts.
I think Jared's highlighted he's had a pretty average night, Hugh McCluggage, so 9 kicks, only 2 of those have been effective, and that's a goal to get him going. It was unbelievable last week. It was as good a game as a midfielder as you're going to see. 41 career high numbers across the board. High score involvements inside 50. He's worked incredibly hard. He's a great player. And that was his best moment of the night, and the brain fade from the big ruckman.
I think what's standing out here, and it's something that I think we've all had a little bit of a concern about, is have the Crows got a premiership midfield?
They've been found out.
Right now you'd say no. They need to do some work on it.
And they've just held the sign up as we get a secondary stoppage from the centre bounce with Phil Thorpe in there. A boxing glove for Adelaide, so that's obviously a sign that, come on, lift the contest work.
Land a punch, is that what they're saying?
I don't know what it's saying, but something physical, I reckon, if there's a boxing glove and you're being smacked up around clearance and contested footy.
Do they have like a session where they go through all the cards?
I'm sure they would. It's just whether everyone can remember what they mean, and more importantly, does anyone actually look over the interchange bench?
Fellas, we've got a 1-hour card session at 9 o'clock on Tuesday. We're going to learn our new cards.
What's happened since the Beard's gone into the ruck is he's starting to get some clearance.
So a big torp inside 50 for the Crows. It looks good. Keys out the back. He got it. He lost it. Picked up by the debutant. He throws the handball away. Gallop. He got away with it. He got a little lucky. Archie comes down to half back. Caught good wing tackle. And that was
that is a joke. That is a joke. He's picked the ball up and tackled immediately. What's he supposed to do?
Yeah, he didn't have any prior there, but he had one arm free, and unfortunately, according to the rule, you're allowed to pay that. It's hit the behind post at the ball.
That's an umpire interpretation on that.
It is.
Rule.
I agree with you on that.
No one has actually said this is how we're going to interpret it. I'm not saying it's the wrong interpretation, but the umpires are making the rules up as they go.
Very deep in the left forward pocket, right next to the behind post. The umpire will throw this in at the Riverbank stand end of Adelaide Oval. Crows need a goal. Philthorpe in front against Gallup. McCluggage with the clearance. High kick to the top of the 50. Oh, good mark to Rayner. Jumped early and then held his position in the air.
He's in a mood, Cam Rayner.
Kicks out towards Hipwood on the wing against Butts. Gets past both of those players. Hipwood is first there with the ball tumbling towards the boundary. He gets high.
9 high tackles for the night. We're on track for the record. Where's Sir Swamp Thing on Twitter? What's the record for high free kicks in a game of footy? It's going to be tough to beat that tonight.
It's amazing. Hipwood with the free kick, kicks to the 50, up high and taking a good mark is Laird. Never seen him get that high.
I wouldn't think he's had too many career contested marks, Rory Laird.
He jumped up nice and high and early and was able to hold on the second bite. And he'll kick back to the outer wing here at Adelaide Oval. Wanting Philthorpe. Good mark in the back.
Great mark.
Crows to go forward at halfway.
Well, they need to go forward and kick a goal because they're way behind. 33-12. Front on contact. Free kick Pedler. See, they played on to advantage. Rankin will want to kick it, and he won't. It's actually dragged through by Fletcher. Not sure what Isaac was doing there. They could have taken it back.
Where does that qualify in terms of those small, selfish forward shots?
High. Yeah, high.
Is it an 8 out of 10er?
Yeah, it's up there. Yeah, no, it's in the red zone.
The kick back to Fletcher was nearly defensive behind by accident. Fletcher goes inside. Delightful kick.
Great kick.
Corridor kick. He went for the aggressive kick to bury the lines. He thumps it wide. It might be out on the full. It's marked by Miller anyway. It's coming back. Crows trail 1-7 to 5-3. And that's on the Mate Internet and Mobile scoreboard with 8 to go on the New Tech clock in the second term.
Miller chips it into Neil Bullen, up to full forward Walker, over his head, pain marks for the Lions' last line of defence.
Texas miscued on about 3 or 4 of those marks over his head. He just misjudged them.
Short into Wilmot, then short into Bailey. Now that's been called 15. The other kick wasn't called 15, but the first kick was longer than the second, if that makes sense.
Why does the Adelaide curator do the mowing strips on the diagonal one?
Bailey up towards Butts, who dropped the mark. He probably should have taken it out of play.
Something going on over there in the curator's shed.
So the mowing strips, can they be seen at ground level in these kind of conditions?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but they can be seen.
They can on a good day. On a good day. A good mower can do it. I can do it in the backyard. Ball back into play. Philthorpe, he was stripped of it by Gallup. No free kick. Ball comes to Dawson. Got it up to Cumming. He slams on the boot. It's long. Lions have enough behind the ball to maybe mark it. Harris Andrews content to take it to the line and have it out of bounds. It was called to play on because it wasn't out. Answorth gets it from Zorko. Got a handball away, but it was way too late. Free kick Crows. Who's going to take it? That was hot as well.
That was so hot.
That was an accumulation free, I reckon.
I think you're right, Joy.
I thought he handballed it at the last moment, so I think that was hot. But in good hands, he loves it from this spot. He's kicked a lot of goals from this spot, Joshua Shelley. It's almost a spot where he showed the Port Adelaide fans his teeth last year and paid the price for that. But
he needs a kick. He needs to kick one to have an influence.
I mean, there's a lot of Crows players, Rochelle, Rankin, when you could say
Dawson.
Yep.
He's rearranged the plastic chairs. He's given that a beautiful run. That is a goal of the night contender from the boundary for Beaumont Tiles. Beaumont's massive range of tiles, all on sale now. And Josh Rochelle has delivered just when they needed it most. 2-7-19, the Crows to the Lions 5-3-33. The Mate Internet and Mobile scoreboard.
We got a teeth sponsor because Rochelle just gave us a billboard full of the pearlies.
I thought he was about to point to his teeth. It was exactly the same. I mean, that's an elite finish. Yeah. That's what he can do. So Brisbane kept it in. Like the pressure from Adelaide was ordinary until they were almost out, and then Rochelle came across, and that's a tackle that stuck. I'm okay in the end. I think on replay with that being paid, he had enough time probably to get rid of it, and I thought the tackle was strong. And then the finish was even better than that.
That snaps a run of 3 unanswered goals by Brisbane. On the Mate Internet Mobile scoreboard, it's 33-19 Brisbane's way. Umpire throws it up in the middle here at Adelaide Oval. O'Brien decisively winning the tap down. Cumming came off the square. Berry, he wanted the free kick. He didn't get it for the Crows. Saligo gets it anyway. Kicks the ball to the top of the 50. Phil Thorpe's ball came from Payne. Keys handles out to Fogarty. Gets tackled. Gets his arms free to get a handball out to Dawson. Gets knocked down by Answorth. Levi Ashcroft. Handballs to Dunkley under pressure. Kick under pressure there by Will Ashcroft. Ricochets back Adelaide's way. Andrews under pressure. Pedler dives in for the Crows. He's got to get rid of it here. Holding the ball.
That was brilliant stuff by Harris Andrews. He didn't go to ground. He kept his feet. Everybody else went to ground. That should have been a free kick to Harris Andrews. And I think it is it not?
Well, no, it wasn't for that one. It was for holding the ball in the end. Should have been for contact below the knees because Pedler slid in and nearly took his knees out, which is dangerous. But in the end, then Pedler dragged the footy underneath, and that was the correct call, but they missed the first one.
So the Brisbane Lions chip it around and get it to midfield. So out on the interchange gate wing with Berry. 33 to 19, chipping ball inboard to Dunkley. It was no 15, so he absorbed the tackle and had ball back to Berry. Berry's kicking to the 50 for the Lions. Up was hinged, couldn't quite hold on.
Tex should have
been thrown up inside 50.
That's he's not having his best night, is Tex.
He's had an ordinary month.
I can feel this feud continuing on. Kane Tex feud. Is he going to get a contract for next year? Tex wants one. Some suggesting he will, some suggesting he might not. Mark Rashido was asked the question on Fox last week.
What did he say?
He didn't really want to give an answer. Okay. Which
he may not have one yet.
No, well, maybe not.
Yeah, that's probably the right answer is we'll assess it at the end of the year.
5:45 left in the second term on the new tech automation for manufacturing clock. Lohman kicks around the body. He got a fair bit on it. He got too much on it. It's just the behind post after a bounce. A ball in forward pocket for the Lions. AFL Nation for the 4-20 Traveller, and for Elders for Australian Agriculture. Crick around the grounds, as I mentioned earlier, for Chemist Warehouse. And Chemist Warehouse, get discounted prescriptions, save more money from Chemist Warehouse. The Melbourne Storm have beaten North Queensland 38-14.
Deep in the forward pocket, thrown in. Fort just drops it at his feet. Gallop onto the ball. He gets tackled, and it'll now be a throw up inside 50.
They've done well on Lachie Neale in this term. Looks like Saligo's gone to him at this stoppage at least. Only had two.
Fort taps it down, but straight to Neil Bullen of the Crows. Handballs to Saligo. Handballs to Berry. Berry for the Crows. His kick goes over his intended target. Sliding in Walker. Couldn't mark low down. Rankin with a good tackle against Leicester. Got to be careful here, Leicester. Oh, just came out just before the whistle blew. And then in the end, it was Saligo who got the handball to Neil Bullen. The kick comes up towards the wing. Phil Thorpe in front takes a good mark against Payne. He chips it inboard. That'll work okay. Back to Walker just inside the centre square. Spreads it to the open side. Keane will mark just outside 50. Will chip into the 50. It won't be 15. Foggy's now in trouble. Gets tackled. Somehow gets a kick away. Straight to Levi Ashcroft. Again, no 15. Handball to Berry. Berry's handball comes out to Zorko. Backpedaling. Now chipping back to Berry. He marks on the line.
And that's the problem with that previous free kick that was paid on the boundary line. That was at least as long as the one that we just saw the Crows do on the 360. And that's what's so confusing and so frustrating for punters in the grandstand.
Swanee.
Yes, everyone's version of what 15 metres is not the same length for distance as the Saligo tackle. Slipped a little high, didn't get a free, and now Cumming dragged down and we'll get a ball up on the wing.
Jared Berry having a big quarter. Big quarter.
He's up to 18. Equal with Ashcroft, who's also on 18.
Jared Berry for the Lions, and out there as well, Sam Berry for the Crows. Ball hits Millerate, got a handball further forward. Keys has got it, bangs into a 2-on-2. 2 Crows, 2 Lions. And Dawson got a toe on it, but kicked it to Zorko, gave it to Payne, hands it to Fletcher, chips it wide. Answorth will take the mark on the boundary.
Lean they are. They haven't got one good midfielder at the moment, the Crows. Keys is their best player by way of stats inside the forward 50.
Flat kick from Ainsworth. Not a great kick, really. Worrell taking the mark on his chest for the Crows. There's no real Brisbane player that was likely to even be involved in that marking contest. Worrell back towards half forward. Leicester in front. Couldn't mark. Good tackle from Saligo. Then wins the ball. Misses his kick as he tried to do that while he's lying on the turf. Ball just spits out Adelaide's way. Rankin quick handball to Peatling. Another high tackle. This time from Andrews.
He's the new Wizard Watson or Jack Ginnivan. Peatling.
Peatling from about 55 out when he takes the kick up towards Walker. He's got it.
Charlie got in everyone's way. What's he doing down there?
20 metres out from goal. in the corridor. It should be 2 in a row to Adelaide.
Well, Charlie just showed how little time he's played in defence. He had to jump at that one.
Not sure why Walker was on Ashcroft and Cameron and where his actual direct opponent had disappeared to.
Taylor Walker to the Riverbank stand end of Adelaide Oval on the approach. Sweetly timed, straight through the middle. So Adelaide do get 2 in a row in the shadows of half-time. And the deficit now just 8 points. Brisbane 5-3-33, Adelaide 3-7-25, AFL Nation for 4-20 Traveller, and Elders for Australian Agriculture.
Well, if I'm Matty Nix, Kane, I'm going in at half-time if the score's about this and say, listen, we can't play much worse. They are playing really good footy and we're 8 points down. So we've just got to tidy up, get a little bit more accurate. It's 10 scoring shots to 8. But Riley Thilthorpe's one of the cleanest ball handlers. Maybe he's got to play more in the ruck, I'm not sure. But some of their better players like Rankin and Dawson and a couple of others have got to lift. They're just not even in having any impact.
So the Crows now running hot for Ream, Australia's favourite hot water. Kicked the last couple. Replay from Makita XGT, more power, more efficiency, and more Makita. Ball up in the middle. 2:33 left on the new tech. Automation for manufacturing clock. Adelaide Crows get the clearance. Dawson gets it towards half forward. High ball, thumb clear. Archie's going to collect it or take it out. One of the two, he did neither. Didn't collect it and didn't take it out. Throw. Rochelle threw it inside to Saligo. Gave it back to Malera. He floats it wide. It looks out on the full from here. It's out on the full from there. Lions free kick with 2 left in the second term on the Mate Internet and Mobile scoreboard. It's 33-25. The Lions lead.
Harris Andrews with the free kick at left half back. He'll kick towards the interchange gate wing. Up high there was Morris. He couldn't take the mark, but he's able to get it at ground level. Handballs the ball to Bailey, to Neil. Back now to Morris. He's handballed it straight to Peatling. Peatling kicks it out of bounds on the full.
Well, they were playing a little bit of fun and games here at the Lions. They nearly chopped it up.
So,
just a bit of overuse. And go back. He's got a spare behind him if he needs to chop the time clock out.
So what does Andrews do this time? He just goes with a little lateral ball. Not quite into the corridor to McCluggage. He will kick it into the corridor at centre half back with Jasper Fletcher.
And he launches long. He's got a minute and a half to play with Zorko and Key. Zorko kind of sent forward. Keynes at the half back. Got it up to Michael Annie. Got it wider. Cumming couldn't quite do something with it. Michael Annie can't do something with it. Hassled out of it. Neil had it, lost it. Crunch. Texlade a hard tackle. Zorko comes up with it. He's 50 out. He goes toward goal. It's cut off by Keane. Last line of defence. That was going to be a goal. Yeah. Keane took the mark on the goal line.
Should have been a handball to Lockie Neal. I think Lockie'd be disappointed with that. He was thinking, I've had a pretty ordinary game. I'm going to kick a goal.
Now Hinge up to Thilthorpe. Can't mark. Front and centre was Hipwood. Knocks it in the Ashcroft direction. That's Will. Now it's Jasper Fletcher. He'll go back inside 50 for the Lions. It's into the pocket. Hinge could have marked it. Instead, double fist spoil out of bounds into the crowd. 40 metres out from Brisbane's goal. Maybe one last chance for the Lions before half-time. Adelaide with the last 2 goals, with the Lions leading by 8 points.
It'll be a killer blow, this one, for the home team if the Lions should squeeze one.
In comes the ball. Fought down to McCluggage. Doesn't get his arms free. Holding the ball. Peatling, another free kick.
5 he's won. 5 free kicks for Peatling.
No, it's not a free kick. Everyone thought it was.
That? Did he not have pride because he was grabbed before he even took possession?
I'm not sure.
That's usually holding a man, but...
Neil handballs out to Will Ashcroft. Gouges a kick forward, but straight to Cumming of the Crows, 30 metres out from Brisbane's goal.
Been some funny games at the moment. The umpire's running hot for Ream. Ball to the back. Harris Andrews goes all the way back from the wing to centre half back to Archie. He opens it up. They've got to roll the dice here, the Lions, if they want to. Lester's a centre half back. So the clock down to 20 seconds. He's a centre half back. He's on the back of the square. He goes wide. So they look like they're just going to waste the remainder of time left. He goes with a short pass back to Harris Andrews. It's almost 50. Fogarty came from behind and just waltzed in front of him on the mark. He floats it wider. Went out of 7 seconds. So it'll be half-time. Sign's about to sound. Half-time for AFL Nation for 4 and 20 and the Traveller. and for Elders for Australian Agriculture. Whitey's got the goal kickers. I've got the score. 5-3-33 to 3-7-25. The Lions lead.
And Dwayne, the goal kickers for Brisbane, Rayner has 2 singles to Archie, McCluggage and Bailey. And for Crows fans, all singles. Keys, Rochelle and Walker, all in that term.
Halftime full show coming your way very shortly. So stick around and we'll bring you the Maccas on Loving It highlights out of the break. We'll have a chat about the players that have been running hot. Jared Healy's going to compile all of that. A quick around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse. Get discounted prescriptions and save more at Chemist Warehouse. If you didn't hear earlier, the Melbourne Storm had a win today against North Queensland. Halftime, Lions lead 33-25.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Mate Internet and Mobile. Save $180 over 6 months with Mate Internet. Use promo code MATE30 at checkout.
This ad is about neighbours Ryan and Jack. Ryan's home's been affected by recent damp weather, with mould appearing all over his walls and ceiling. Meanwhile, Jack is relaxing in a mould-free home. That's because Jack installed a Panasonic air conditioner with 24-hour Nano EX air purification and mould-inhibiting technology. Jack's Panasonic air conditioner means he enjoys clean, fresh air in a mould-free environment. And you can too. Search for Panasonic Air online to request a free quote today.
Need truck parts? Get expert service from the team that knows their stuff at Truckline. Whether you've got a Japanese, North American or European truck or trailer, we've got the parts to get you back on the road in no time. From hoses to transmissions and everything in between, we'll get you sorted fast. Truckline keeps Australia's trucks moving. Find your local store at truckline.com.au.
If I asked you to go outside now, grab a shovel and hack through your internet or water connection, would you do it? Of course not. It'd cost you a fortune to fix, plus being without internet or water for hours or days would drive you mad. Yet digging without searching before you dig online first is a gamble. Or worse, if you strike a gas or electricity main. Before every job, search before you dig online every time. And never dig blind.
With over 1 billion vehicles on the road worldwide, finding one of yours can be tricky. But with vehicle tracking systems by Radius Telematics, they'll not only find your vehicle, but they'll also tell you where it's been, where it's going, and how long it's taken, including location and speeding alerts, even driving behaviour, plus so much more. Speak to Michael and the team about dashcam and asset tracking technology that'll help keep your business's valuable assets safe and secure. For more, visit Radius.com today.
Footy fans, why rush home after the game? Stay the night in the CBD at Brady Hotels and Apartments. Just minutes from Marvel Stadium and the MCG, as well as the city's best restaurants and bars. Rooms start from as little as $129, and with code SEN at checkout, you'll get 20% off our best flexible rate. So make the most of the 2025 footy season. Head to bradyhotels.com.au and book now with code SEN.
G'day, Merv Hughes here. New Farm's been there for Aussie growers for 100 years. Through prosperity and heartache, drought and flame. Through the unprecedented and through innovation. New Farm's high-quality crop protection products are formulated right here in Australia because Aussie growers are tougher together through choosing Australian. New Farm understands local conditions and the importance for Aussie growers to have the right products at the right time. New Farm, Australian through and through. To learn more, visit newfarm.com.au.
If you're thinking of building, my mates at Brighton have put together something special to make your dream build that much better. The Brighton Anza deal is almost over, with up to 30 grand off your new home, plus a top-of-the-line luxury appliance package. And one lucky person will win an extra 100 grand off their new home. This offer must end soon, so don't miss out. Hurry into your nearest display home today.
At Ozito, we know for you it's about leaving your mark. With over 125 tools for your home and garden, all powered by one battery to make it happen. Kick off your tool collection with one of our 3, 4 or 8-piece tool value packs, or grab a battery starter kit and choose the tools you need. Because when it comes to getting things done, do it yourself. Do it with Ozito, only at Bunnings Warehouse.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Elders. Open an Elders Rural Products prepayment account to win. And 4 and 20. Try Domino's Meat Pie Crust with 4 and 20 pies. Macca's. I'm loving it moments. Macca's new McSmart meal is here.
Throw-in, Neil get there first at ground level, gets tackled by Berry again. Staying in the field of play, got a handball, and then Will Ashcroft sock it off the ground. Dunkley, back to Will Ashcroft, now to Raider. Raider's a chance here, opens the angle, put it down. That's a goal. Slick hands from the Lions inside 50.
Answorth gets it from Zorko. Got a handball away, but it was way too late. Free kick Crows. Who's going to take it? That was hot as well. He's rearranged the plastic chairs. He's given that a beautiful run. That is a goal of the night contender.
Takes the kick up towards Walker. He's got it. Stand end of Adelaide Oval on the approach. Sweetly timed. Straight through the middle.
You're with AFL Nation for Elders, for Australian Agriculture recruiting now, and 4 and 20 pies. It's time for the halftime floor show. Thanks to Choices Flooring. Quality interiors start from a Choices Floor.
The halftime floor show for Choices Flooring. Inspire and visualise with Room View, our instant room visualiser.
25 plays 33 the score right now in favour of the Lions. They lead by 8 points at half-time. And who's making it look easy for Incitec Pivot? Enhanced productivity with IPF Easy Liquids.
Yeah, I think Will Ashcroft is on track to have 40 and 10 clearances. That's a big night. He's had 9 contested possessions and has been as clean as anyone on the field. So I just think his skill level on the ground has been elite. He's had 7 ground ball gets, which is the equal most on the ground.
Enhanced productivity on farm. The unmissable moment for Drinkwise, the Rochelle goal from the pocket.
Yep.
Just when the Adelaide Crows needed it. Unmissable moment for Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you Drinkwise. If you've got a toughest player of the first half for Truckline, keep your truck on the move with Truckline.
Yeah, I like Saligo's game. He's largely had the job on Lachie Neale and has restricted him pretty well, as Jared highlighted, particularly in the second quarter. But he's also had 6 tackles. He's won 7 contested possessions of his own, couple of clearances. So he's had a few iffy moments with his ball handling, but on the whole, he's been pretty impressive.
Who has laid the most tackles for bar crusher boats? Australia's ultimate fishing weapon.
That would be Jordan Dawson with 7. Adelaide have laid 46, so that's a big number. I mean, anything over sort of 70 or 80 is a big number. They're on track for 90 plus, so their pressure's been really good.
The subs yet to be used for the two teams. For Corteva Agriscience, the future of agriculture, the subs Brodie Smith and Devon Robertson. Brodie Smith for Adelaide, obviously, and Devon Robertson for the Adelaide Crows. Around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse. Good to have Chemist Warehouse on board. Get discounted prescriptions and save more money at Chemist Warehouse. The Melbourne Storm winning earlier tonight. They had a fairly early kick-off tonight, the Melbourne Storm, and got the job done against North Queensland 38-14. They've got a breakout player of the first half for Australian Outdoor Living, bringing backyard dreams to life.
Yeah, I think it's been a slim pickings in terms of that category, but probably Jasper Fletcher. Once again, he's had 13 across half-back. Just looking at his metres gained for the night, he's had 211. So I mean, it's pretty good number in tricky conditions.
And our Flexalt flexible player that we could see move in the second half. Flexalt, the only flexible oral lice treatment for sheep.
There's a few pieces of the puzzle that need to be moved, I think, if you're Adelaide. So you've got to get Rankin into the game. You can't have your most skillful and most talented player with 6 touches in the first half. So that's a little bit on Isaac, but he started forward when they didn't have a lot of opportunity So it's up to Matthew Nicks to get him involved, and I suspect he'll play a large percentage of game time on ball in the second half.
Is Will Ashcroft our leader for the power play rankings for Red Energy for 100% Australian electricity and gas?
Yes, he is, with 78. Saligo on 70. Berry, Laird and Andrews rounding out the top 5.
Kane Corns with us. Jared Healy about to join us and give us a full dissection of the first half. First half not far away. That was the Choices Flooring halftime floor show.
Just checking with Jared or Kane, who's had more to halftime? Will Ashcroft disposals or Jared Healy lollies?
He's both have been in good form.
Had an apple earlier, and he's complimented the apple with some snakes.
That's okay. He's got a banana. He's got a banana left.
You got to go one or the other. Either you're going healthy for the whole night or not. But hey, it's that kind of game. Am I going okay with the coconut water, by the way? Is that good for you?
I was actually impressed because I saw a video of you the other day that shocked me with the amount of Coca-Cola and chocolate.
Where's the family block tonight?
And then I come in today and there's coconut water and normal water. This is a new domain.
I'm not going to go home and watch this game back, but when I do my game for Fox, I go home and watch it back. So last night, I got to sleep at 4 a.m. I went home from that game last night and watched the whole game.
Really?
Whilst walking on the treadmill.
Why do you do that?
Because I want to see if I made mistakes. I want to know what mistakes I make so I don't make them tomorrow. Right. But I got tomorrow's game.
That's why you're the best. Where do you get time to do that?
Well, I sat in the sauna, the infrared sauna for half of it.
What's going on?
I said fantastic 3 times in 1 quarter last night. If I didn't watch it back, I wouldn't have known that. I've got to scratch fantastic off my list of adjectives.
What was that? The Charles voice? What was the Charles Royce you went with?
Merry Old Chol last night.
You like that one?
No, I enjoyed. So I was listening to some music on the way in, and Run to Paradise was on. And then all of a sudden, Jack Ginnivan's running into an open goal, and I thought, it's Run to Paradise. So you just never know what's going to pop into your mind during your pre-game drive from Geelong. That was the Choices Flooring halftime floor show. Inspire and visualise with Room View, our instant room visualiser. As we go to the break, let's hear the goal of the first half for Beaumont Tiles. Beaumont's massive range of tiles, all on sale now.
The Beaumont Tiles goal of the day. Beaumont's massive range of tiles, all on sale.
Throw in, Neil get there first at ground level, gets tackled by Berry again. Staying in the field of play, got a handball, and then Will Ashcroft sock it off the ground. Dunkley back to Will Ashcroft, now to Raider. Raider's a chance here, opens the angle, put it down. That's a goal. Slick hands from the Lions inside 50.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Elders. Open an Elders Rural Products prepayment account to win. And 4 and 20 pies. You can't have footy without a 4 and 20 pie.
Ozito brushless home and garden power tools are built to work. Tough isn't something you just claim. It's something you prove. It's about handling the hard, repetitive stuff without giving up. Testing what you're made of and what you're working with. When it comes to doing tough jobs around the home, do it yourself. Ozito brushless power tools. Do you? Only at Bunnings Warehouse.
Trying to choose new flooring, window furnishings or rugs for your home? Choices Flooring's Room View makes it easy to find the look you've been searching for. Whatever the space or your flooring needs, simply take a photo of the area in your home and select your flooring styles, window furnishings or rugs from the thousands of colours, styles and texture options. Using Choices Flooring's Room View, you can see your selections right in your own home. Then send your favourites to your local Choices Flooring store to book a free measure and quote.
Footy fans, why rush home after the game? Stay the night in the CBD at Brady Hotels and Apartments. Just minutes from Marvel Stadium and the MCG, as well as the city's best restaurants and bars. Rooms start from as little as $129, and with code SEN at checkout, you'll get 20% off our best flexible rate. So make the most of the 2025 footy season. Head to bradyhotels.com.au and book now with code SEN.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability, all while generating creating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
Don't miss the world's best netballers every Saturday and Sunday in Suncorp Super Netball. Can the Adelaide Thunderbirds achieve greatness with a three-peat, or will the Melbourne Vixens take the next step to premiership glory? The pressure will be on with the Firebirds' Fever and Swift's new look shooting ends in the spotlight. Who is up for the challenge? Tickets are on sale now, or watch every game live and on demand on KO Sports, Foxtel, and for the first time, Binge.
Got a Mack, Volvo or Hino truck or anything in between and need parts? Get into Truckline with over 70,000 parts ready to go. We've got Japanese, North American and European trucks and trailers covered. And that means our expert team will have you back on the road in no time. So, whether it's a new rig or an old Warrior, Truckline has all the parts you need. Visit truckline.com.au for your nearest store.
DIYers, if you're looking to tackle your next residential home irrigation project, speak to Nutrien Water about their free home irrigation design and quote service. Designs are carried out by an experienced team of home irrigation specialists using professional grade components. Simply download the free planner, then submit your details. They'll then get back to you with a detailed quote for you to consider. To get started, go to nutrienwaterstore.com.au.
Claiming calls to a psychic hotline as business forecasting advice this end of financial year? Outrageous. But claiming a great deal in Kogan Mobile's end of financial year sale? Outstanding. Get 33% off a 300 gig yearly prepaid plan with extended network coverage. Now just $159. Claim a great deal in Kogan Mobile's end of financial year sale. On now. Kogan.com. Click and awesome. T's and C's apply.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Elders. Open an Elders Rural Products prepayment account to win. And 4 and 20. Try Domino's Meat Pie Crust with 4 and 20 pies.
Well, it's great to have your company on AFL Nation, wherever you might be listening around the planet. AFL Nation for Elders, for Australian Agriculture recruiting now, and for 4 and 20 pies. The third turn not far from getting underway. Adam White, Jared Healy and Kane Corns with us. It's an 8-point lead to the Brisbane Lions. What do you think might happen in the second half?
I think Will Ashcroft will probably get 40, and we'll all be wondering how this 21-year-old does it, and probably reflects on the hype around others that are nowhere near his level. Not even close, not even the same suburb, not even maybe in the same country.
It's not only 20 disposals, Jared, it's 5 tackles as well, 9 contested possessions, a couple of inside 50s.
The thing, I think if you're going to really be picky about his game, I'd love to see him kick the ball more, and that will evolve. So once he gets outside the traffic, can he drive forward? Like Lachie Neale has definitely added that to his game. He's quite a penetrating kick, Lachie Neale, and has turned himself at times into a reasonably dangerous goal kicker at certain stages, but that will be the next evolution. So rather than first instinct, get it, give it, can I get out of the traffic and use my legs and actually carry the ball forward? And I think he's clearly capable of getting to that level as well.
So the question is, despite the fact that Ashcroft, Berry, Fletcher, McCluggage, Lachie Neale, Zach Bailey are all having good games, can the Crows fashion a victory here? Because they've got a lot of guys who aren't having good games. So there's some lift factor there.
Yeah, who do you like? Who do you think?
Keys has had a good game, but, they need to get Isaac Rankin. Yeah. They need to
Dawson.
get, Dawson, he's had 10, but he really hasn't had much impact. He hasn't had one effective kick yet.
Yeah.
And he's had 120 metres game, so he's got a few up and unders going, but it's not a match-winning performance. Alex Neil-Bullen, I'd like to see him go into the middle a bit more. I think he used the ball better than most of them. Phil Thorpe, to me, is going to decide this game for the Crows. And I think he'll decide it as a ruckman, not so much as a forward. He may well do both, but he's the best ruckman they've got, and he's one of the best midfielders they've got. And he's clean with his skills. He's much cleaner than some of the mids, more skilled than some of the mids, but Rankin's the one. They're not going to win it unless Rankin has an impact on this game. He's had 6 going at 33, so Fogarty's had very little impact at all. So there's a lot of upside for this group. Texas, he's done okay, but he's about a 4 out of 10 at the present time, and he's got a lot of upside as well.
The other thing, Kane, just looking at the stats, one thing I didn't mention with Will Ashcroft, 5 clearances. So it's 10 between Neil and Will Ashcroft. 10.
I mean, these conditions suit them absolutely perfectly. They're so clean. And Adelaide have got a lift around those stoppages. They did even it up in the back half of the second term and got things more in their terms from a stoppage point of view. And the head-to-head battle with Keys and Zorko's interesting as well. Keys doing a pretty good job.
I'd say Keys well on top.
Yeah, well on top. He's had 14 and 5 score involvements, has kicked a goal and has kept Zorko to 9, and at least a couple of those have been from kick-outs. So he's doing a good job.
Dawson's disposal efficiency, Jared?
Yeah, well, we mentioned that at 0%. He's I don't know, he's an interesting player, Dawson. I still think in some respects he's a better half-back flanker than he is a midfielder, but he's not penetrating, he's not kicking the ball with any authority at the moment.
Starting midfield, yep.
All right, second half about to get underway here at Adelaide Oval. The Crows got the last 2 goals before half-time, but Brisbane by 8 points. With the bounce to start things off. O'Brien winning it down to Neil, handball to McCluggage. McCluggage kicks towards centre half forward. Laird dropped the mark, coming through. Rayner bounces off a tackle, goes towards goal. It would have been one of the goals of the year, but Butts was there to knock it through for a rush behind.
He's in a serious mood tonight. His ability to break a tackle. It was the don't argue Dustin Martin style, and the ball was on track but just didn't get enough air on it to go through.
Came from Lockie Neal's genius.
Yeah, it was great.
Worrell meandered out of the goal square, kicks towards halfback. Laird on the bottom of the pack, tries to slap it out. Jared Berry for Brisbane there. Michael Annie, he loses control of the footy. Laird rushes a kick towards the wing. Hit the shin of Thilthorpe on the half volley. Now Saligo, that's a good kick. Keys takes the mark. Answorth knocked into him after he completed the mark.
He needs a new opponent, this bloke. He's going to win the game for the Crows.
Rain starting to fall here at Adelaide Oval. Keys into the 50. Backing back. Good spoil there from Hipwood. And he's knocked it out of play for a boundary throw-in.
Very hard to do what Eric Hipwood just did without giving away a free kick. So running back with the flight of the ball, if you make any contact with your opponent, that's a free kick. The rain is pelting down. Pelting down. The ponchos are out everywhere.
A little bit of red on the radar as well. Red's not good, is it?
No.
Yellow's bad enough, but red ain't good.
Ben Keys is ripping
Zorko.
So, little trickler in the Saligo direction. He gets it in the rain. He feeds it back. Riley Thilthorpe dance past one. Outside of the boot kick. It's wide and almost Curtin. He nearly could have dived for that. He's taken over the deck. I thought he could have at least attempted to dive at it. Yeah.
Got it, yeah. He just sort of let it bounce half a metre in front of him. Just a couple of quick steps and then a dive forward with the chest mark. Would have been having a shot at goal.
Third turn brought to us by Deutz Far Tractors. Ball about to be flung back into play. Forward pocket for the Adelaide Crows. O'Brien takes out of the ruck, gave it off, and around the body, Rochelle. That is an absolute ripper. He's kicked 2 huge goals for the Crows tonight, and they're a chance to steal this off the back of his brilliance in front of goal. 31 plays 34. They're 3 points away now, the Adelaide Crows, from taking the lead. Early stage third term. Here's Jared Healy, our expert for MEGT, your apprenticeship experts.
Well, it was really just a domination in the ruck, and got it Rochelle, but how he was able to grab it and handball without any pressure from forward is something they're going to have a look at, Kane.
He gave up. Yeah, he gave it. So they've kicked 4 goals. 2 of them have come from forward 50 stoppages with little effort. One from Harris Andrews. That occasion, no pressure from Fort, who gave up in the ruck contest, and then Rochelle just with a little hook around got the better of Wilmot, who fell asleep as well. So 2 of their 4 goals have come directly from Brisbane falling asleep at defensive 50 stoppages.
3 in a row to the Crows. The Lions lead now just 3 points. Back in the middle, Dunkley for the Lions emerges with the ball. Swings the kick over his shoulder towards half forward. Bounces just outside the 50. Cameron knocks it inside 50 for the Lions. Worrell collects. Handballs to Laird. Laird under pressure. Handballs to Millerer. Now it comes to Michael Annie. Back to Laird, who spirals the ball back to halfway, but that's where it breaks down. And Payne marks for the Lions.
He's played a pretty good game, has Jack Payne so far.
Interchange gate or members wing here at Adelaide Oval. He'll kick back towards the 50. O'Brien with the knockdown, but then on the secondary knock straight to Dunkley. Kick got smothered. It comes back to Dunkley. Wide handball to Payne. Payne's kick goes out of bounds on the full. Free kick going Adelaide's way between wing and half back.
So Miller to take it. Good start to the third term for the Adelaide Crows. Running hot for Ream, Australia's favourite hot water. Ball back down the line. Wing, Thilthorpe got up there with those big mitts and couldn't quite pull it in. AFL Nation for the 4 and 20 sausage roll, and for Elders for Australian Agriculture. And Deutz-Fahr's Warrior range from 170 to 350 horsepower. It's Deutz-Fahr Evolved. Visit deutzfahr.com.au. So the Lions by 3 points.
Early stages of the third term here as the rain just eases off a little bit. Fort winning the tap down. Dunkley soccers off the ground into the legs of Rayner. Bailey bounces off one tackle and then a second. Gave the handball to Berry on his left. Kicks towards the 50. Should be a push. Free kick to Hipwood.
Dominating clearance right now. The Brisbane Lions, they've lost one clearance. It's given up a goal, but outside of that, they are smashing the Crows.
Can he make the distance from here, Kane?
Left foot, tough conditions, wheel around and have a crack, but they need something from Eric. He's had a couple of nice moments with the spoil and a one-on-one. That was the tunnelling sort of action from Jordan Bart's reasonably dangerous.
So the infringement right on the 50. So you'll have to kick it 52, 53 metres. Not even going to go for goal. Chips it. Rayner was caught behind. He was the only marking option, so he had to spoil it out of play for a throw-in.
He gets an applause from Dunkley as if that was a set play they talked about at half-time.
Yeah, set up for the stoppage maybe and see if you can get Charlie Cameron on the run here, or see if Zach Bailey can draw a high free kick from a defensive stoppage in Adelaide's 50.
And don't kick it low for the rush behind. That's the last thing they want to do. Rush behind, get the ball back. So Rayner caught, going nowhere. It'll be a ball up.
Kane, you've been involved on one side of the tag and I've been involved in the other. I reckon when there's a situation like this with Dawson, you put Dawson on the kneel and take control of the matchup.
You can definitely do that. They've tried him forward, it hasn't really worked, and you could also put him to half back as well. But
do something. You've lost control of the matchup. Yeah. They're in control of this scenario around the stoppage at the moment.
Another stoppage, close to Brisbane's goal. Dunkley tries to get a handball clear. McMillan for the Crows, clears up towards the wing position. Andrews edges his opponent out of the way, then lost it in the tackle. Berry for the Crows. Handballs over the top. This could work. Neil Bullen back to Berry. Berry skirting inboard, wanting to get onto his right foot, kicking a centering ball, backing back. Butts couldn't quite take the mark. Hipwood working in defence. Balls away from Butts. Out towards the boundary. Well, it's staying at will for Hipwood, but he's then tackled over the line for a throw-in.
That's the second effort inside defensive 50 for Hipwood. He's really working hard, liking his efforts.
Yeah, I am. I wonder if he could be a defender. I mean, they probably don't need him at the moment with Payne and Harris Andrews, Starcevich hopefully to come back as well, but I don't know, he looks reasonably comfortable back there.
They tried it early last year, didn't they?
Yep. Through necessity.
Yep. Fort winning it down from the throw-in, coming for Adelaide, kicked straight up in the air. As you can hear for the umpire, it's no 15. Jared Berry took the mark and then had to immediately play on. Rushes a kick forward of halfway, but only as far as Worrell. Cleaning up, giving the handball to Keane, and now the Crows can build again.
Little double-handed bounce by the Irishman. Sends it to a good spot inside 50, and getting back less than nearly took a one-hander. Zorko gathered the crumb. He bangs it back to where there's a numerical advantage for the Crows. Miller takes possession, gave it back to Worrell, and here we go again. Another big monster back to where there's a numerical advantage for the Lions. Berry for the Lions couldn't pick it up though. He knocked it out to Rankin. Now Rankin gets a moment. He's 80 from goal. Hits the pause button, goes back to Soligo. Back to Rankin. Missed him by hand. Rankin along the boundary line. Almost on the full.
Yeah.
Off the back of Harris Andrews' boot. He's running away quickly so no one recognises.
Should have been out in the full.
Well, we've seen Hipwood up in the defensive 50.
What's this?
Oh,
no. Yes. Nice.
Right on the money.
Oh, my. Yes. Maybe I couldn't be the umpire's director.
And we've seen also Zorko up in the forward 50.
So sorry again.
Ball thrown in. O'Brien back into the 50 for the Crows. Off through the hands of Andrews. Live chance here for Thilthorpe. No, it bounced away from him and through for a behind.
Let's go, twice this week.
I've never heard that.
Brisbane by 2 points. 15 to play in the third term. That is on the New Tech Automation for Manufacturing clock.
Zorko long. Ford got there, couldn't mark it. Loman got there, was quickly wrapped up by O'Brien, who good decision. Wrapped him up and didn't have prior. Crows fans wanted holding the ball. They're threatening to take the lead here, the Adelaide Crows. They trail by 2. Ball hits the deck again. Dunkley slick-handed, gave it to Bailey. He gave it up to McCluggage. Little chip kick is good. Might get it back here. Does get it back. The 1-2 from Lohman. Now he chips it to the leading player. Perfect. Charlie, 70 from goal. Turns and goes. He's got Archie in the pocket. One grab, not the second. Has to try and crumb it. Laird right with him, rides him. And that's almost on the full from Keane's boot.
They are getting the biggest lesson on clearances at the present time. Adelaide, it's not funny, even though they've kicked 1 goal for them.
Well, they haven't kicked a goal for about a quarter, Brisbane. So their last goal was the 15-minute mark of the second term.
This should have been one going inside.
Well, I thought it should have been 50 against Wayne Miller, who ran through the mark after Charlie Cameron marks this. You just missed it.
Charlie Cameron from the stoppage, on the fly, on the left, goal! How good was that from Charlie Cameron? And didn't they need that, the Lions? They're back out by 8 points. 6-4-40. Adelaide 4-8-32 on the Deutz Fahrt Tractor scoreboard.
Well, they did, but it's just the continuation of this clearance domination. I don't know what they're trying to do, but whatever it is, it ain't working. They're trying to stop a couple, but they're just getting smashed. I mean, it's not like they've got a ruck dominance.
Yeah, and Michael Aney's done such a good job. So there's just a little block there from McCluggage. The handover to Soligo. He didn't go. He'd be filthy if you're Michael Aney there, because he handed over and did the right thing after the block, and his teammate has let him down. He'd be really disappointed. Watch, he doesn't go, Soligo. Doesn't go hard enough. That's all he needed, half a metre. Terrific team first play from Hugh McCluggage.
Well, the hit out actually came from the Crows, so it went straight to Charlie. It's a mess right now, and it's a mess that may cost them the game.
666 warning against
666 warning, as you can hear.
Here we go.
The ball, thanks to Maccas, the new McSmart meal is here, thrown in the air by the umpire, and almost a free to Ashcroft, not paid. Peatling didn't take possession, but he got a kick away. That was clever. Right. Soligo on the end of that throw, goes long. Phil Thorpe got a hand on it, knocked it down, gets his own crumb, hammered into the deck. No free. Walker played for a high, didn't have Pryor, no free. Good spot for a ball up for the Adelaide Crows. A trail by 8 on the Deutz Fahrt Tractor scoreboard, with 6 gone in the third on the new tech automation for manufacturing clock.
Dangerous one here. Adelaide in attack. O'Brien taps it straight down to Levi Ashcroft. Nurses the kick in the Rayner direction. Couldn't mark. Dawson gets tackled by Dunkley. No free kick to Dunkley. Then it's back at the 50 again. It's all about in a tangle of arms and legs. And Jared Healy had the...
How did Dawson get rid of the...
Did he legally?
Everyone's interpretation of how long Pryor is, though, is different. So that umpire obviously didn't think he had Pryor.
Yeah.
O'Brien swings it into the 50 with his fist. Berry lurching forward, got a handball to McCluggage. Can't get away from Peatling. That could be holding the ball. It is. McCluggage thought he was over the line. He was trying to get over the line. He didn't get there. And Peatling tagged him, stripped him of the ball, holding the footy.
Technically, he was over the line.
He was over the line before he lost the ball. I mean, come on, umpires. Serious. Come on, Swanee. That's another one.
Peatling in the Eddie Betts pocket, but he is 50 out from home. He's not going to go for goal. He's going to go a flat kick.
Oh, wow.
Not sure what he was doing there. Went straight to Bailey on the bounce. So Bailey for the Lions kicked it out of bounds on the full. Even if it was in the field of play, it would have been insufficient intent. Out of wing.
Yeah, that's the one area they need to address, and that's they're slamming the ball on their boot across that half-back line, Brisbane, and it's coming back.
So kick to half forward, and up flies Dawson. Can't mark it, Mike Crummett. He does. He tried to break a tackle. Lucky not to get holding the ball again against him. Soligo comes up with it. Hands it wide to Cumming. Bends it around his body to the pocket. Crows out the numbers. And Payne smashes it to the boundary. And we'll get a ball in forward pocket for Adelaide, who trail by 8, 4-8 to 6-4. Deutz Fahrt Tractors scoreboard. Our experts for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship expert.
Usually Walker does the forward 50 ruck work and Riley O'Brien would sit out, but on this occasion, O'Brien's doing the ruck work.
Fought in front, weighing it down to Jared Berry. Handballs to McCluggage. Again, a rushed kick, a dump kick. Out towards the wing position, out of sight of Adelaide Oval. Butt's got a bad bounce. Has support from King. Got tackled by High from Gallup. No free kick. Lohman threw it out to McCluggage. No free kick. In the end, it's just tumbled forward for the Lions. towards midfield. It sits nicely for Levi Ashcroft to kick into the 50. Archie stretches, can't mark. Michael Annie with the pressure and with the crumbs and with the clearing kick. Terrific work from Michael Annie, but his kick is poor. Cumming couldn't get there. Jared Berry could. It's going back inside 50 for the Lions.
Well, it was a bad decision by young Ashcroft, who had a short and he had a long. He went the long and he cost his club a goal.
Archie probably should have sported down to the spare as opposed to trying to mark it, but it's hard to make that assessment sometimes on the fly. Ball out of play. Is Fagan chewing the chewy?
Well, if he goes to short, he just then runs at the bloke in between and handballs over the top. It's a goal. You would have kicked it from the goal line.
True. Work your 2-on-1 to your advantage. Ball in play. Ford knocks it down to the front. Dawson gets it, sweeps a handball wide. Lohman waited for it to bounce, and it bounced to McCluggage. Forward pocket, opens up some space. There's that dainty kick. He goes to Ford. So the big dude gets a chance at goal from 40.
In a game where we've seen so many hat kicks, because that's the pressure, that's the conditions, just the composure for this. So McCluggage, who'd been caught holding the ball, breaks one, steps inside, knows there's going to be numbers back, and finds an uncontested in a really dangerous spot. I mean, that's absolute class.
That's much better, isn't it? He's doing some damage now. Geez, he works the boundary line well too, McCluggage.
Can't tackle him.
So Ford from 40, maybe 45 out, directly out. It's a draw too. He kicks it from right on the arc, and he bends it a little too far, and it has scraped through for a behind. They're the lead by 9 right now, the Lions.
Adelaide bringing it back into play too quickly. So even though they were able to break out to half-back, it's got to be done again by Mitch Hinge.
Not ideal. Let's Brisbane really set up the field exactly as they would like it, so you'd think he's got no option but to kick this long and wide.
A goal apiece in this third term, Brisbane by 9 points.
Why wouldn't he go down the line to Texas by himself, Torp?
He's going to go to the numbers, which is the members' side of the ground, with a long raking left foot kick up towards Thilthorpe and O'Brien. Neither could mark. Switch to the back of the contest for Dunkley. Got the hand pass. Answorth got the hand pass. Now McCluggage swinging it back towards forward 50. Clears the initial contest. Hinge has a fumble, loses it. Will Ashcroft, he won't have a fumble. He kicks a kick forward inside the 50. It gets past Cameron. Out of play for another throw-in.
Well, there's a couple of lines. Lohman and Charlie Cameron had just drifted over them. I knew what Ashcroft was trying to do. It was really clever, but just wasn't able to find the three players inside forward 50.
Right forward pocket for the Lions at the Riverbank stand end.
Red alert on Charlie Cameron.
Miller with him at the moment.
And Cameron is the other one.
Thrown in. Charlie kicked the goal like this before. Oh, Barry nearly. Just didn't quite get to him. Rankin through the traffic. Clears the ball with a spiral out to half-back. There's a whistle to hold. Free kick Walker.
Yeah, he was great that time. Will Ashcroft just won. Lockie Neal just won. Fletcher just won. You don't see that often in a term.
So Tex from half-back to half-forward, a wide ball. Again, they're using the width. Dawson can't mark it. Thump to the boundary, and we'll get a ball in. So that's obviously the plan. If you can't do something with it wide, get it out, and we'll reset. 32 to 41.
Just Dawson's taking Dunkley forward.
Kane Corns, Gerard Healy, our experts for MEGT. Build a winning team with Australia's apprenticeship experts. And from the stoppage, Isaac Rankin, Lockie Neal, I should say, picks it up at a half-back flank. Weaves his way past a couple, gave it to Ford. Thumps it on his boot towards the wing. Flyers go up. Keane with the crumb. Gave it back to Worrell. He hammers it back towards half-forward. High, long, Payne, double-fister, straight back down to Isaac Rankin. Chips the ball towards Fogarty. Finally found the handle. Now he loads up from 45. And it's Dawson a mark. No, couldn't quite collect it. He had an arm half held. Zorko crumbs it back pocket. He thumps it wide. Rolling ball. Cameron might get there first. He's content to knock it out.
Fogarty had 3 opportunities, just couldn't grab it, and then he still had time and space. Just panicked and didn't realise how much time he had, and then just thought Dunkley was enormous in the one-on-one. Dawson had taken him forward, and he was able to effect a spoil when it looked like Dawson was going to clearly have the advantage in the marking drill.
Ball gets thrown in. O'Brien taps it down to the front of the contest. Peatling, a high kick to half forward. Oh, there's Pedler going in one direction, Payne in the other. A block against Pedler. So a free kick to Payne at left half-back for the Lions.
I'm going to put the mods on this bloke, but I reckon he's improved enormously this year on last year. He looked sometimes out of his depth last year, but he looks so much more comfortable now.
Lions by 9 points. Payne back towards the wing. Morris up, couldn't mark, but then at the drop, he was the first to recover. The only one to recover. He kicks to half forward. Laird did well. He couldn't quite get there on the full, but it made sure he didn't get behind him, and it's able to get it to the boundary for a throw-in. There's going to be plenty of big moments for Bendix Breaks. Put your foot down with confidence. Bendix Breaks in this one from now to the end with the Lions 9 points in front.
Might be a few crucial moments for New Farm as well. Australian through and through.
Might be this clearance, Dwayne.
So the knockdown is to the front, close to the boundary. Rankin gets there and he accidentally slips and takes it out. Throw it in, the umpire says. AFL Nation for 4 and 20's sausage roll, and for Elders for Australian agriculture. Now replays for Makita XGT. More power, more efficiency, more Makita.
Well, they need some Rankin magic, the Crows, to get themselves the lead here.
Peatling scrambles a kick away straight to Ainsworth, who gave it up to Ashcroft. Levi Ashcroft to half forward. Miller put his body on the line and took the mark at half back.
So he goes wide. And after taking one step, Rankin took a bounce in the wet conditions, kicking forward the wing, clearing the initial contest, and then it couldn't quite get to Walker on the full, out of bounds for another throw-in.
Getting busier, Isaac Rankin's, no doubt about that. So 5 in this term after only 6 at halftime. So more time around the footy. He hasn't done the damage yet, but he'd be feeling better about himself with his hands on the footy.
Ball gets thrown in, gets to the back of the ruckman. Rochelle inside the centre square on his left, kicks the ball across the square. Pedler marks. He's on his trusty left. He kicks into the 50. Oh, Dawson and Fogarty probably spoiled each other, really, going for the same ball, and it's gone out of bounds for a throw-in.
The big Brisbane ruckman's got a problem. He doesn't spread at all. Once he does the ruck, he puts the cue in the rack. And he is so exploitable. I've seen him actually give away at least one goal because he hasn't done it.
Fort taps this one down to Levi Ashcroft. Quickly gets boot to ball, and then Lohman knocks it out and will be thrown in. It's quite similar to last night, the way this game's being played. Lots of boundary throw-ins going wide.
Yeah. Who said 9 goals is going to win it? Was that you,
9-16, yeah.
I think that might be the number.
So Adelaide's 4-8 at the moment.
I think 9. I think you got to kick 9 to win it. Whoever
getting
gets there
Riley
first.
Philthorpe onto the ground and plays a rucker over on the Brisbane Lions, man.
Well, sloped down towards Bailey. He's got it at half back. He flicks it off to Will Ashcroft, got it to Fletcher, rolls it along the boundary, bouncing ball. It should be the Adelaide Crows who collect it, although Hinge can't take possession, knocks it out.
2 subs. Brody Smith's a good sub to have, can penetrate across half back, and Robertson is not bad in these conditions as well, so more of your bigger body midfielder, so we'll wait and see. Wouldn't be far away, I wouldn't have thought, from either coach sort of pulling the trigger on the sub.
Who are you thinking, Kane? I've got Kai Lohman for Brisbane.
Might be the youngster in the first game, I reckon. Gallup.
Fletcher gets the clearance for the Lions. 2-on-2 on the wing, and great mark Keane. Half-back flank for the Crows.
That might have stamped his papers.
Yeah, it might have. And for Adelaide, I'm not sure. Maybe Pedler.
Keane back towards the wing. Members side of the ground. Fort went out with one hand. At the back, it's Fletcher, who slides out of play with the ball in his hand.
Fletcher being put on a keys. They needed to. Looks like he is.
Yeah, which is his running power was too much for Zorko. Yeah, couldn't go with him.
Real stalemate here. 1 goal apiece in this third term. 7 to play before three-quarter time. Brisbane by 9 points. Fort tapping it down. Bailey in close quarters. Handball to Will Ashcroft, to Neil, to Fletcher. All handballs. Now the run of Wilmot just runs away from the Crows here. Taking a bounce. Handballing out to Dunkley in some space. Nearly at half forward. There is the long kick. Rayner's down there, but Keane again saves the day for the Crows. Double-fisted spoil over for a rush behind. Brisbane by 10.
Great from Wilmot. I mean, the hands inside once again. Ashcroft and Neil involved, but then Wilmot broke open. We haven't seen any of that run and carry from either team.
Good transition here from the Crows. So Hinge to Curtin, along the boundary wide to Rankin. He's up against the boundary on the wing.
They've played so safe. Everything's been this side of the ground now. Maybe the wind is a factor of that, but they've really taken the ball through the middle of the ground.
Yeah, so Rankin goes wide as well. Philthorpe flies, can't mark. Rochelle, good turn. Got the kick inside 50. Pedler's lurking. He might not get there. Zorko did brilliantly. Didn't just knock it away from Pedler, he knocked it to the boundary. Ball in, 6.5 minutes left on the new tech clock. Optimise your business with automation in this third term, brought to us by Deutz Far Tractors. And it's a 10-point lead to the Lions, 6-6-42 to Adelaide 4-8-32.
Adelaide deep in attack. Thrown in. Phil Thorpe at the front, winning it. Key's got a bad bounce. Rochelle crashed through, lost the footy. Now it's time for Berry, who gets tackled. Handball somehow to Fogarty. He's kicked, smothered by Levi Ashcroft. Cameron for the Lions. Onto the loose ball. Spreads it wide and spreads it well. And Bailey marks. Nearly a defensive 50 for the Lions. Kicks it on. It's okay. Low down. A good mark taken by Gallup.
Stay on the ground, mate. Starting to lift.
Too close to the interchange, isn't he?
Short kick into Neil, not 15. Lockie Neal from the logo. Nearly kicking to half forward. Morris, good mark. It's a very open forward line. Morris senses that. He's going to squeeze the kick, wanting Cameron. Oh, it bounced off his chest. Berry with the crumbs for the Crows. Handballs to Worrell. Now it comes out to Dawson, and Dawson's kicked it straight to Hipwood like he was wearing an Adelaide jumper.
You heard the who's and ahs. Hipwood goes wide. He gets it into the hands of Morris. Good grab.
He's got some talent, this bloke. That kick to Charlie Cameron, I thought it was going to be a blooper, but Charlie Cameron was the one who actually didn't
drop the chest mark.
He actually nailed it.
He drops the chest mark. He's got to mark back.
Yeah.
So Logan Morris now with a chance to extend this margin to 16. It's a tough kick, but it's the pocket where Rochelle kicked one about an hour ago.
Next goal's big. It's a big margin in a low-scoring game if Brisbane go up 16.
Could be for New Farm. Australian through and through a crucial moment. It is a crucial moment. It's out on the full. Crucial for Adelaide that he missed it. And it's still a 10-point margin with 4:41 left in the third.
Yeah, he's thinking about a lot of things and it never really settled to kick the goal.
Led out towards half-back. Curtin couldn't mark. Peatling again got taken high. No free kick.
He played for that.
He played for it.
He took it and
he's waiting for the tackle.
As if someone chopped his legs off.
Yep.
Everybody's coaching. Take the tackle. Take the tackle.
Right half forward for the Lions. Neil handballs to Bailey. Gets tackled by Curtin. Gets under the tackle. Got a handball that gets knocked down by Hinge. Peatling again. Kick smothered by Dunkley. Ball ricochets to Berry for the Crows. He knocks it outside 50. Gallup crashes in. Rankin with the loose ball. Tumbles a kick back towards the wing position. Phil Thorpe caught behind. Good hip and shoulder from Fogarty. Cleared the space. Got the handball to Curtin. Rushes a kick. This is coming towards 50. Rankin there with Fletcher. Rankin spoils it to Pedler. Pedler off to the races, taking a bounce into the square, running it home. The Crows get within a kick. It was a huge moment at the 50. Rankin against Fletcher. Rankin got the spoil in there, knocking into the path of Pedler, who did the rest. And it's the Crows within 4 points. Brisbane 6-6-42. Adelaide 5-8-38. 4 to play in the third term on the Deutz Far Tractors scoreboard.
I'd like to see this replay because I would have backed Fletcher in every day.
I don't know how he missed this. He's in a perfect position. He just has to tap it forward to Lester. Punch it somehow. And maybe it was Rankin's brilliance and we're not giving him the credit. This angle might give us a better look at it. It was Rankin.
I think Rankin's just got the higher vertical though.
Yeah, I think just a race of athleticism and judged it better in the air. But yeah, pretty good. I would just go to show that an ugly entry is a good entry. If you can get it on the ground in these conditions, let your small forwards get to work and make something of it. That's a big goal against the run of play.
From Bednick's breaks, put your foot down with confidence with Bednick's breaks. So the Lions get the clearance right out of the middle. 3.5 minutes left. Picked up by Archie. Gave it off to Rayner. Open goal. Danced past a couple. Gave it to Charlie. Bang. Instant reply. Took him 8 seconds.
At the front of the stoppage, Lockie Neal goes long. Ground ball. Unselfish. Brilliant handball to the end.
Great answer.
That's the way you get a goal. You give it until you don't have to worry about it. They're starting to think about a change here, interchange.
You might have picked it. Gallup might be the man.
I think that's the one. He's clearly got something physically wrong with him, so I think that just gives you the excuse to sub him off. But just a shocking setup from Adelaide at the centre bounce. The last thing you can do is let Lockie Neal exit through the front of the stoppage. Just getting a look. It's a head knock for Gallup, so that would spell the end for his night, I would have thought. But Archie was good.
Yeah, really
Rayner
good.
was really good. Just summed it up nicely. Composure in the end. Walk in goal for Charlie Cameron, his second.
See how Rayner keeps his feet? Like, blokes go to ground when they do U's like that.
O'Brien for the Lions, for the Crows, gets a quick kick, but it's a Brisbane footy. And it's Zorko who spreads it out to the outer side of Adelaide Oval to Levi Ashcroft.
So Gallup's gone for the concussion test. Why wouldn't they just sub him out? Like, you've got a quarter, it clearly hasn't had a big night. Get the fresh legs on.
Ashcroft wide, wanting McCluggage, but Berry for the Crows takes the mark. He's at right half back. Chipping ball up to Saligo.
Might be just the fact there's 3 minutes of play remaining.
Do it at three-quarter time.
Go and get the go. Maybe just keep him available just in case.
Saligo hugs the boundary with the kick, wanting Fogarty. Good spoil for Andrews. Gets it over the line for a throw-in.
How's the fog going?
Quiet. I think he's had a pretty ordinary month.
Yep.
And the filth seeker hasn't done a lot tonight either. Like, he hasn't taken 3 or 4 contested marks, but just 8 touches, hasn't kicked a goal. So just the 2 goals between the 3 tall forwards.
O'Brien knocks it down. Keys nearly had it. Neil went and got it. Went through a couple of them. He got up just in time to Will Ashcroft. Gave it off to Fletcher from half back. He spears one towards half forward. Good attack from Miller. I left it behind though. Charlie Cameron got it from Hipwood. Little 1-2 with Will Ashcroft. He gets away, arcs the back. He gets a third handball inside towards Hugh McCluggage. Nudged in the back as he kicked it. Back to Will Ashcroft. 4th possession in the string of play. He pops it. Hot spot. No one can mark it. Charlie knocks it down to Eric. He's 50 from goal. Gives it to Archie. Hands it all the way back to Fletcher. 70 from goal. Sits it up for the Leapers. Little nudge. Big nudge. Hinge no free. Yes, in free. A delayed whistle to Hinge. 2 minutes left. 3rd term on the new tech clock. Automation for manufacturing.
Clear free kick. I think the umpire called him Max Hinge and then corrected himself. It's Mitch.
Good umpiring, Dwayne. You picked it before the umpires did. Ball goes up to half back. Through hands now to Phil Thorpe. Kicking into the middle. Another big contest here. Busy intersection. Ainsworth did well for the Lions. Won the hard ball. Kicks the centre half forward and McCluggage marks. Well done, Noah Ainsworth.
Terrific. Came off his man in a 2-on-1. Won a genuine contest. And then I don't think there was any science into his re-entry, but somehow, because Adelaide thought they'd won it, they switched off behind the ball. And McCluggage just found himself in all sorts of space. I thought he'd made a good decision just to settle it down as well.
It's a great kick.
Hugh McCluggage directly in front from the 50. The kick is a little left and it's getting further away and it's just scraping through for a behind.
It happens all the time. People overcorrect when they go out to the right. Phil Thorpe is the only way they're going to win this game. He's got to go into the ruck, would be my suggestion to the coach.
Hinge pops it wide. Nice kick. Miller. So they've got a minute left to play with Adelaide. They're on a half-back flank and they trail by 11.
More run around the ball. Smaller forward half.
Again, they stick to the width, and Harris Andrews knew exactly what he was doing because they've been doing it all night. Gave to Zorko. He spears it to half forward.
That's 50.
That had to be 50. Wow, Logan Morris didn't get 50. He gets Loman anyway, and Loman marks 20 out. So
put it on the book. Put it on the book.
Look, I know he's running past his man,
but he was too far off his man.
Behind
yeah, that's okay if you're right with your man.
Is the rule 5 or 3?
Yeah, you've got to be right with them, and he's too far off. So he had to get out of the protected area, which he did do. Now, Loban's got 20 seconds here. He doesn't want to play on, and then the siren goes. So hopefully someone's told him just direct line with the drop punt.
Big challenge. This is confidence, I reckon, is average.
It's a big kick.
So he's going to go drop punt. He's got 8 seconds left. He could open up the angle. He doesn't. He drop punts it and he slots it.
Yep.
Got it in there by a coat of paint as the siren's about to sound. And that is a huge moment. Maybe it's not. It's a big moment for Bendix Brakes. Put your foot down with confidence, Bendix Brakes. It is a big moment. It may be a crucial moment for New Farm, Australian through and through. 3/4 time. And on AFL Nation for the 4-20 sausage roll and for Elders for Australian Agriculture. The score at 3/4 time. The Brisbane Lions 8-7-55. Adelaide Crows 5-8-38. And that's the Deutz Fahrt Tractors score. The reason we're not going to a break on AFL Nation is because there's about 0.3 of a second left today, which there was for OKC to play with, and they couldn't do much with it. And they're through it by Indiana. So we'll see what they can do with 0.3 of a second here for the ball up in the middle. Whitey, the next 0.3 is yours.
Thanks, Dwayne.
It is officially three-quarter time, and Lockie Neal was going to get that clearance as well, should there have been a little bit more time. So as Dwayne said, it's 55-38. Brisbane with 2 red time goals just before three-quarter time, giving themselves a 17-point lead at the final change. We'll be back with more on AFL Nation for the 4 and 20 sausage roll and Elders for Australian agriculture.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for the Deutz-Fahr Warrior range. From 170 to 350 horsepower, it's Deutz-Fahr Evolve. Visit deutzfahr.com.au.
In footy, you've got one guarantee each week. It's not the win or loss. It's not the coach's spray. And it's not the cry of... It's the 4 and 20 pie. That classic taste of 100% Australian meat in delicious gravy wrapped in golden pastry. Like coming back to win from 10 goals down. Nothing beats the aroma and taste of a 4 and 20 pie. There's a win in every bite. 4 and 20, Australia's original fan food.
At Ozito, we know for you it's about leaving your mark. With over 125 tools for your home and garden, all powered by one battery to make it happen. Kick off your tool collection with one of our 3, 4 or 8-piece tool value packs. Or grab a battery starter kit and choose the tools you need. Because when it comes to getting things done, do it yourself. Do it with Ozito. Only at Bunnings Warehouse.
Claiming calls to a psychic hotline as business forecasting advice this end of financial year? Outrageous. But claiming a great deal in Kogan Mobile's end of financial year sale? Outstanding. Get 33% off a 300 gig yearly prepaid plan with extended network coverage. Now just $159. Claim a great deal in Kogan Mobile's end of financial year sale. On now. Kogan.com. Click and awesome. T's and C's apply.
An important message from when insuring one of your biggest assets, you can ask, can I choose my repairer? Well, it might cost a few bucks more. There's a reason your insurance company doesn't want you to. Choice of repairer means exactly that. You can choose a repairer. Conveniently close and not miles away, genuine parts, an accident replacement vehicle, and a lifetime guarantee. Your choice of repairer, not your insurance companies. Choose Visit chaingroup.com.au. T's and C's apply.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability. All while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
Trying to choose new flooring, window furnishings or rugs for your home? Choices Flooring's Room View makes it easy to find the look you've been searching for. Whatever the space or your flooring needs, simply take a photo of the area in your home and select your flooring styles, window furnishings or rugs from the thousands of colours, styles and texture options. Using Choices Flooring's Room View, you can see your selections right in your own home. Then send your favourites to your local Choices Flooring store to book a free measure and quote.
Jane loves flowers, but her allergies don't. Bless you. So it's lucky that Jane can now enjoy the benefits of Panasonic air conditioning. With its allergen-inhibiting Nano EX technology, Jane's now floating in the freshness of pollen-free, clean air. Come home to your perfect environment. Search Panasonic Air to request a free quote. Results from Nano EX are not instant, and Nano EX is not available on all models.
It's here, OMF's massive end of financial year sale with some of our best offers and $10 million of stock to clear. Grab the award-winning Revivify Support for under $800 or the new Mornington Flex for under $1,300. Take up to 20% off bedroom furniture and up to 60% off full stock while it lasts. Plus, buy any mattress over $1,000 and get a bonus microfiber mattress protector free. Hurry, stock is limited. Ends soon at OMF, the home of mattress, bedroom, bedding and furniture.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Elders. Open an Elders Rural Products prepayment account to win. And 4 and 20. Try Domino's Meat Pie Crust with 4 and 20 pies. Macca's. I'm loving it moments. Macca's new McSmart meal is here.
Ryan takes out of the ruck, gave it off, and around the body, Rochelle. That is an absolute ripper. He's kicked 2 huge goals for the Crows tonight.
Oh, Charlie Cameron from the stoppage, on the fly, on the left, goal! Got the handball to Curtin, rushes a kick. This is coming towards 50. Rankin there with Fletcher. Rankin sprawls it to Pedler. Pedler off to the races, taking a bounce into the square, running it home.
So the Lions get the clearance right out of the middle. 3.5 minutes left. Picked up by Archie. Gave it off to Rayner. Open goal. Danced past a couple. Gave it to Charlie. Bang.
Some of the action from the third quarter here. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies and Elders for Australian Agriculture at 3-quarter time. Brisbane 8-7-55 to Adelaide 5-8-38. The Lions with 2 goals just before 3-quarter time to just break this game open a fraction. Kane Corns and Jared Healy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small margin in normal conditions, but when you've only kicked 5 and you've got to kick 3 to get even, and then probably kick another 2 to win it. It's a 5-goal last term that Adelaide need, I think, to win this game of footy, and they've only kicked 5 in 3 quarters. So, I mean, a lot's going to have to go right for them.
Lockie now just 19, but he's been effective. He's had 11 contested. He's had 8 ground balls and 9 clearances. Esaligo, he's kept his numbers down, but I don't think he's impacted his impact as much.
You can hear from the music right here, right now. What have you got, the Crows? At home against the Premiers as we start the last quarter with Brisbane 17 points up, and from the initial tap down, it's another stoppage.
I'd love to see the beard inside the goals, inside the centre square.
O'Brien winning it down. Neil tried to barge through, couldn't do so successfully. Ball spits out off the ground for the Crows by Laird. Back into congestion. Levi Ashcroft somehow gets a kick away as he was tackled, and diving back with the flight, Laird marks. So the Crows to go forward. Laird with a handball to Dawson on his trusty left foot towards half forward. Clears Fogarty. Here's Thilthorpe. He's on the boundary. It's a vacant square. Keeps it low. Keeps it straight. Oh, that's brilliant from Thilthorpe. It gives the Crows some hope. After just 36 seconds on the clock, Adelaide get within 11. Brisbane 8-7-55. Adelaide 6-8-44.
Well, they would counter by saying that's why we keep him forward, because he has got this magical capacity to kick goals. He's got high-level skills. But we haven't seen it until this point in time. And it was just a really good body position by him. Poor defence by Jack Payne. He hasn't done too much wrong, but that was wrongly positioned.
Elite finish. Terrific. Adelaide have made their sub, so Butts is the one that's been subbed out. Brody Smith onto the ground. Gallup past his HIA, and they are still yet to pull the trigger on their sub.
So back in the middle, big clearance here. They become more and more important the more the seconds tick down. 19 minutes left in the last quarter. 55-44. Final term on AFL Nation. Miller goes down low. They come at him. Ball spills. Came out towards Will Ashcroft. Got it off to Dunkley somehow. He squeezed the kick to half forward. Bouncing ball. Logan Morris caught, crunched, dispossessed. Ball hits the carpet. Curtin went down and got it. Gave it to Worrell. Wobbles it back towards the wing. Big Mark Dawson. Huge grab. Plays on quickly, floats it over the top. He's got Rochelle, 70 from goal, turns, goes, hits Keys, lace out with a bullet. And Keys can line up from 40 directly out.
Yeah, good turnaround this time by the Crows. Big push out wasn't paid, but they got away with it. Harris Andrews just got shoved out of the contest, but Dawson makes a good grab, and they just got forward and set up a pretty good shot at goal.
Keys wipes the ball, takes some time, gets his heart rate down from directly out to make it a one-kick game. Couple of skip steps, heads toward goal. It looks pretty good. It is perfect. Scoreboard for Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts in this final term. Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer, keeping you safe on the roads. tyrepower.com.au. 50 plays 55. Lions by 5. Our experts for MEGT, your apprenticeship experts, Kane Corns and Jared Healy.
Well, I think Jordan Dawson's been important to start this term. He's had 2 touches, 1 contested mark, and 2 of those touches, the only 2 have led to goals. So just look at the ability of Keys opportunities to get forward and then the stop tick lead at the right time. Just that's experience on Fletcher. I mean, hard to stop that when it's an unpressured kick going inside forward 50, but that is elite forward craft. See me at the bottom there, and the tick lead with the point. Great delivery from Michelle, and an even better finish from Keys, who's not usually an accurate set shot for goal.
Got back within 4 points in the latter stages of the third quarter. It's now 5 points from the restart. Dunkley on the bottom of the pack. Dawson with the tackle. Spits out Brisbane's way to Jared Berry. Knocked off the ball. Sam Berry. Handballs to Cumming. Cummings' handball was a bit too hot there for Laird, who was forced to tackle Archie. He gets a stoppage front part of the square for the Crows.
And all of a sudden, just a little hint of a little fumble or two here from the Brisbane players in the stoppage.
Ball thrown up. O'Brien bashes it straight to Levi Ashcroft. Handball to Jared Berry. Swings the kick wide towards the outer wing. Worrell got there first on the bounce. Will Ashcroft with the tackle. Ball will be thrown up.
They played draw last time these two teams met here.
Last year at Adelaide Oval.
So could well have another one, which is ridiculous. So ball knocked down to Levi Ashcroft. Kick smothered. Hits the deck. McCluggage tries to kick it off the deck. He kicked it straight towards Will Ashcroft again. That'll pile middle.
He just pushed his head into his body.
He did. Archie pleads his case.
But that's what happened.
Archie's saying exactly what Jared's saying. Yeah, he drove his... Yeah, Archie was stationary.
Yep.
He drove his head into him. O'Brien gave it up. Neil Bullen floats it. Phil Thorpe, can he get there? Can't. Hits the deck. Payne wrapped up by Cumming. Got a hand all the way just in time to Lester, to Berry of the Lions. He floats it wide towards the wing. Bouncing ball. Ugly bounce. Smith's now on the sub for Adelaide. He can't beat Rayner. He can beat Rayner. He got him locked up in a tackle. Got it to Rankin. Got it to Michael Annie. Crows to go forward.
Michael Annie running the boundary. Then kicking into the 50. Oh, up goes Dawson and takes a spectacular mark.
That is a brilliant mark. That's why you can stick him forward. That's why he's got all enormous match-winning capacity, because you can take your tag forward. And that is going to be probably the mark of the round.
Climbing into the back of Phil Thorpe, propelling into the air and coming down with the Sharon.
Phil Thorpe extracted the knee from his back. He looked around and said, I hope it's one of my blokes, and it was.
The captain could give Adelaide the lead. From half forward, 45 out. Of course he does it. That's why he's the captain. The captain leading from the front. And the Crows lead by a point. 5 minutes into the final term here at Adelaide Oval.
Well, it's just elite from a captain who's had 3 touches that have led to goals in the first 4 minutes of this final term. And that's as good as you're going to see now. I don't want to get on my hobby horse, but all this has happened with Taylor Walker on the bench. They just look a better forward line when they're not as tall. So he spent the first 4 minutes of this quarter on the bench. They've kicked 3 goals when they'd previously had 5 for the match, and it is a forward line that is functioning when it is smaller and it is dynamic.
Saw the Birdman in the crowd as well. Camera flashed to him. That wasn't quite Birdman-esque, but it was close enough.
It's also going in there. They've gone in 4 times.
But it's going in there to one-on-ones. Yeah, well, you're going to get the one-on-one with Keys, the one-on-one with Phil Thorpe.
So Crows in front from, this is the first time tonight the Crows lead by a point early.
So you're just feeling the pressure. Jared Berry slammed it on his boot a couple of times when normally he would have handled it.
Ball knocked on by McCluggage, got it to half forward. A little tumbler. Logan Morris kept his feet, not to do his advantage. He's 80 from goal. He chips it to the leading player. Eric got one too high. Hit with free.
It's a good decision, but Logan Morris is a super smart player.
Not sure he's got the touch that Jordan Dawson has from this position. Tough spot to kick it from if you're a left footer here for Eric Hipwood. It's going to take his absolute best.
It would be a Bendix breaks big moment. Put your foot down with confidence. Bendix breaks if they get the lead back within 2 minutes of the Crows taking it with a Jordan Dawson screamer and follow-up goal. So can he match what the Crows captain did at the other end? Tough kick, worse than 45 degrees, and from 48 metres out in his struts. It opens up, it's markable, it's on the goal line, they float in, and Keane takes a good solid grab. Did he get the first purchase on it? Umpire almost caught him to play on, and he's turned it over, maybe. He goes wide, and a good grab to Fletcher, 80 from goal.
So the Lions can go forward again. Adelaide by a point. Early stages of the last term. We're at the 8-minute mark. Inside 50 they go. Keane with the spoil. Bailey with the crumbs. Knocked off the ball. Curtin there. Quick handball to Dawson. Quick to Michael Annie. Got tackled. Lost it. Rayner through the traffic. Handballs to Archie. Out of the pack. He's missed.
Brilliant handball.
Flying shot.
Brilliant handballs. Brilliant.
It's a behind. It's locked up the scores at 56 apiece on the Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert scoreboard.
Yeah, that was just magic from Rayner.
We heard a story in local footy in Victoria where a local team has drawn the last 3 times they've played each other, which is crazy stuff. This could be a draw again. This one, O'Brien can't get there to mark it. Neil Crumbs that go to McCluggage. They could take the lead here, the Lions. Kick inside 50, knocked away by Smith. Back into the centre corridor. Pete Lynn got there. Neil got there. McCluggage got there. And the umpire says, give it to me when I get here. 56 apiece, 14 minutes left on the New Tech clock, final turn, New Tech automation for manufacturing.
Fort winning it down, but straight to Saligo. Standing start kick on his left, back towards the wing. Up goes Walker. Can't hold on. Wilmot under it. He's not knocking it out. Pedler with the tackle. No free kick. Throw up.
Thank you. Must clear a path.
56 apiece. Adelaide Oval. O'Brien winning it down. McCluggage had a fumble. Came back to Fort. Rushes a kick on his left inside 50. Bounces over Hipwood's head. Worrell in trouble. Bailey knocks it away from him. Morris deep in the pocket for the Lions. Centering ball. He's excellent. Although Rayner dropped it. Should have marked it. In the end, Hipwood forcing a tackle on Keys. It's a stoppage in the corridor. 30 out from goal.
Again, just brilliant for this young kid.
Yeah.
He's a ripper.
First mistake Rayner's made all night, really.
So ball up. 30 out from the Lions goal. Any score and they lead. Bailey driven, but not driven to the point that he gets a free. Any score in the Lions lead. They're 20 from goal. Another ball up. A central ball up.
And the Lions have had someone charge through this stoppage almost every time. Let's see who releases now.
Ball palm down into the congestion. McCluggage got the handball away. Almost taking the behind I am right now. Berry hammers it. You don't get it all the way there. And Worrell takes the mark. I would have loved it behind him on the line. But the Adelaide Crows get a chance to take the lead now.
Worrell like taking a fair catch in the NFL. Then he clears it out wide towards Michael Annie. Kicking to congestion. Off the pack Rankin. Handballs to Walker. Walker tackled by Wilmot. Gone.
That's the worst, don't argue, he's done in his career.
Wilmot with the footy on the AFL logo members side of Adelaide Oval. Score still level. Wilmot swings a high kick into the 50. Hipwood is there. Morris is there. Rayner with the crumb. Open goal. This will be special. It's not. It misses to the left. It gives Brisbane the lead. That would have been good, Jared.
Could be a handy point.
It could be a handy point.
I'm always taking the point there. I'm happy with the point.
Oh, it's still 13 minutes to play.
Yeah, brilliant.
Kicking.
So down the spine. First time they've used the corridor all night. Adelaide, and it might work. Phil Thorpe came up with it. Floats it high. Getting back is Fletcher. He won't mess this up, or he might mess this up. He goes in low. Keys hands it up. Rochelle. A goal and they lead. A goal and they lead. And it's Rochelle again. 57 plays 62. Adelaide Crows 9-8 to 8-9. Tyre Power scoreboard. Your trusted tyre experts, Tyre Power. And the clock, more importantly, for New Tech automation for manufacturing. Still got 12 minutes left.
Sometimes little things can win you big games.
Yeah.
A little knock on here by Riley Thilthorpe, I think it was. He just put it into their space. A little fumble. But why don't we see this more often? Just opening up space and taking a lot of ground down the middle. I mean, this is the most aggressive kick in for the night.
It is. It's amazing when you need to go and win the game. Like how conservative Adelaide have played with their ball movement at 3 quarters. You go, we're down by 3 goals at 3-quarter time. We've got to go and win it. And the whole of the attitude changes.
Yeah. Well, as Tex, as you said, he knocked it down.
Thilthorpe was, he was excellent in the middle.
You can't play in front of Thilthorpe. You got to play behind.
Fort winning it down from the restart. Will Ashcroft's tackled by Thilthorpe, but he thrown up. So Adelaide kicked 5 goals to 3-quarter time. They've kicked a further 4 in 12 minutes.
And Dwayne said 9 would win it. They're on 9.
Thilthorpe winning it down. Will Ashcroft, handballs to Levi Ashcroft, to Bailey threading through traffic, handballs to Answorth, high kick almost to half forward. Dawson couldn't quite hold on. Someone's lost the boot. It's Hinged now with a footy for the Crows. He's kicked it out on the full,
so
shanking it.
Their sub Gallup has been subbed out, probably 10 minutes too late for me. Robertson is onto the ground.
So another midfielder for a forward. Levi Ashcroft.
Not paid.
The boot remains at half forward, whoever's it is. Ashcroft up towards Gloman. He couldn't mark it, but it's been paid to Dunkley. I'm not sure how that works. Dunkley to full forward. Cameron in front of Michael Annie. Michael Annie spells it over the line for a throw-in.
Really good battle. Yeah, really good battle.
Was that a mark to Dunkley or?
I think Gloman took his hands off the ball strategically late.
The coach said, listen, if you got two blokes in the same team marking it, make sure one gives it up.
Would have been another ball up. They need a goal to take the lead here, the Lions. Forward pocket for the Lions, kicked off the deck, it's dangerous. Fletcher got a scramble, kick back towards the forward pocket, and Michael Annie content to take it out. So another ball in with 11:34 left on the clock. Rainus Crum from the last stoppage, or a few stoppages ago, was exceptional. He's being watched this time. Smith watching him. Ball in, Fort. Thilthorpe. Cameron tried to kick it off the deck. Curtin got it. Hammers it back out, and Payne took a good low-down mark on Tex.
Those are one, Payne.
80 from goal.
Sliding in, just marking it above the turf. Nearly at right half forward. The kick to the hot spot. Rayner flies in. Can't mark at ground level. Neil just gouges out a handball. Levi Ashcroft slapping it back towards the score line. Led. He's kicked it out on the full from the goal square. It was a check side.
Well, it just had to go over the points. They just had to rush that. There was three of them. And
they lead by 5. So what's the difference between leading by 5 and leading by 4?
Nothing. And Rory there looked like he did that deliberately. He looked like he check-sided it deliberately out of the full. Just, lost his composure. Big kick for the sub.
Yeah, Devon Robertson, he's been on the field literally moments. Opens the angle with the snap, kicks it straight into the man on the mark. Ricochets into a dangerous spot in the corridor. Will Ashcroft absorbs the tackle, then can't get a handball away effectively. Holding the ball, Rory Laird makes up for his mess.
That's a great smother. Neil Bullen. He did not give up on that. Laird to make amends. Sends it out wide. Fogarty comes hard. Leicester comes hard with him. Neil Bullen kicked it out of hands almost and got it towards Dawson. Playing some sort of game. The captain now turns and goes. Heads to half forward. Will Shelley get there? No. Payne got there well ahead of time, and Shelley allows him to mark it and holds his spot on the mark.
Left half back. He goes back inside defensive 50 with the kick and makes it a problem for Andrews. He might go back to Payne here. No, he won't. He's going to go back to the defensive. Goal square had to be good. Answorth makes it good, takes the mark, then chips it on. So they've transferred play now to the outer side. Away go the Lions through Leicester at defensive 50. Kicking towards the wing, backing back. Worrell marks for Adelaide.
No need for Lohman to look back. It was a bad kick, we know. Because you don't have to put it on your mate.
So Berry for the Crows, plays on. Opens up the angle. Kicks toward goal, and he missed everything.
Why did he bounce that? Put himself under all sorts of pressure by taking an unnecessary bounce.
And there's another point that would have been handy. It's a 5-point margin, could have been an even goal, but it's now a free kick. Lions back pocket, 9:39 left.
Neil having his last break on the bench. Answorth for the Lions, out towards half-back. Thilthorpe up there, couldn't hold on. Fort somehow gets a handball away to McCluggage. Swings it over his shoulder straight to Hinge at halfway for the Crows.
That kicks aren't working for them at the moment. The pressure from the Crows much better.
Hinge's kick is precise to Curtin. Left half forward, about 80 metres from home. Just chips it up. Oh, chance for Fogarty here. Late spoil came from Dunkley. Levi Ashcroft gets under a tackle. Handballs to Rankin. Standing start. Back to the goal square. Fought against Thilthorpe. Ball hits the deck. Oh, great pick up there from Andrews.
Is that LeBron James?
Like he was picking up a loaf of bread just off the ground. It's amazing.
He likes Cooter. That's what it was.
Yep, it's going to be a throw-up inside 50 for the Crows at the Riverbank stand end.
You'll see that replay 30 times over the next 3 days.
What's Rankin here?
So, ball knocked down through his legs. Keys has kicked an amazing goal. The tunnel ball between the legs was just as good. Fogarty knew he had a player behind him. He rolled it through his own legs to Keys to goal, and a 10th goal might be enough. for Adelaide. 10-8-68 to 8-9-57. Tell us more about it. Kane Corns, our expert for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship expert.
Just from a defensive 50 stoppage point of view, the Lions have been deplorable tonight. So that's another goal that they've conceded from that area. That's 3 for the game. And in a low-scoring affair, you shouldn't be giving away more than 1 per game. They've given away 3 out of Adelaide's 10 goals. Yeah, brilliance from Fogarty, but how Keys once again found that much space inside forward 50 with no one in the goal square is a mystery.
3 for the night for Keys, 23 for the season. Talk about a big moment for Bendix Brakes. Put your foot down with confidence, Bendix Brakes. It's 5 in a row for Adelaide, and we've still got half the quarter to go.
Wow.
And they're 11 points in front. Back in the middle, O'Brien winning the tap down, fought with the crumbs. Although he slapped it, it was a little bit risky, but it works. Zorko flicks out a handball to Fletcher. Fletcher took it on the second bounce. Kicking towards half forward, it goes over Cameron and Miller. There mopping up there was Laird. Handballs to Smith and back to Laird. The veterans linking up. Now O'Brien with a quick handball. Neil Bullen confronted by Fletcher, out of play for a throw-in.
Geez, they're really breaking down going inside forward 50. They just can't find an easy target.
68 to 57, Adelaide in front. It was the Lions by 17 points at the start of the last quarter. Ball thrown in. O'Brien down to Neil Bullen, tackled by 2 Lions. Now it's Levi Ashcroft flicking out a handball towards Zorko. Broke a tackle. Handballs to Dunkley from a standing start. It's a long kick to the 50. Hinge spoils the contest. Morris front and centre for the Lions. Gets away from Worrell. Runs to the 50. Centering ball. Not quite working. Oh, right. Robertson got a good bounce. Snaps towards goal. Is it far enough? No, it's not. On the line. Tap through for a rush behind.
Sadly, that's the thing that's held him back his whole career. He's just not a great kick. He's an okay kick, but had to be a goal. It was a brilliant move.
Keane saves the day again for Adelaide, like he's done so many times in the last 6 weeks. Yeah. It's the Crows by 10 points, 8 to play.
So the Crows bring on a sub who's played, 260-something games, and it's a metres gain gun, Smith, and again he launches metres gained. Robertson's had 2 moments he'd love back. O'Brien should have marked it, should have been paid it. Dawson crumbs it, runs into a gang tackle. He got a high free, Dawson. High free number 1.
9 for the game for Adelaide.
So Dawson backpedals. Rayner's caught on the bench, by the way. He's the only guy who might be able to steal this back for the Lions. Long kick. Rochelle couldn't get there, and good mark taken by Fletcher in defence. But they're running out of time now. They need 2 goals, and they've got 7.5 minutes left. The Lions. That's on the Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert scoreboard.
Chipping ball into Andrews, who plays on. And kicks to the wing. It's not a great kick. Low down, Hinge couldn't mark. So Rayner just coming from the bench. Handballs to Bailey. Darts away. Handballs to Fort. Long sweeping ball by hand towards Lohman. Takes it on the bounce. Lohman from 45. Kicks to a vacant square. They come back late. And it's Laird saving the day, slapping it into the goalpost. Another behind.
Yeah, they had their chances. Rayner, Robertson a couple of times, and Lohman. I mean, you don't get many better chances than that. And it was an issue for Brisbane early last year, their inability to finish with the options that they had and opportunities. So once again tonight, 8 goals, 11, it's a difference.
So Miller trusted with a kick in this time, goes to the congested side, and Harris Andrews outmarks Tex. Oh, Tex almost gave away 50 there. Moved. He jumped there, Tex, and the umpire frightening. So Zorko plays on quickly, a spear. Lohman can't mark it. A caught fingertips on the way through. Turned his body into the traffic. It's dragged under him, and the umpire says, I'll have it. 51 metres from the Lions goal, and they trail by 11.
Bounced off the chest or even the face of Lohman as it went inside 50. O'Brien tapping it down. Neil Bullen gouges it clear with a quick kick into the centre square. Wilmot for the Lions. Wide handball to Fletcher. Had a bit of a fumble with the pressure. Then got a handball out to Levi Ashcroft. Handballs it on. Zorko at the 50s. Kicking straight to Worrell. Another wasted opportunity for the Lions.
Isn't that his best night?
No.
The magician.
Yeah, he shouldn't have talked to us pre-game.
Yeah. He's made himself disappear.
So wide ball, high ball, and great mark to Fletcher.
Gee, this guy's been good again. This last quarter's been huge for him.
So Fletcher about to send it back inside 50. No, he doesn't. He goes with a central ball.
Taken 3 intercept marks in the 3rd term for Fletcher.
Harris Andrews is on the wing. He took the mark. 6 minutes to play with the Lions. They need 2 goals in 6 minutes. They trail by 11 points on the Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert scoreboard. Ainsworth sits it up for the Leapers. Who goes up? Miller it did. Lohman stayed down and he almost knocked that out himself, Lohman. Insufficient intent. Free kick Adelaide. Yeah. Don't get that paid very often, but it was there in the Lions forward line.
So the kick into the 50, into the goal square. They've spiked it through again. The Crows coming, doing the job this time. It's 8 points the Adelaide Crows lead with 5.5 to play in the final term on the Tyre Power scoreboard.
Oh, yeah, it was Smith that knocked it out, not Lohman, so that's why the free kick was the Lions.
See where this kick goes.
Brody Smith up at the old scoreboard end.
I think you play it safe now with the lead.
Runs out of the goal square, goes to the member side with a kick through Thilthorpe's hands. Wilmot has it. It'll go back inside 50 for the Lions. It'll go in deep. Charlie Cameron caught behind. Worrell defensive mark for the Crows.
He's taken 4 intercept marks in the last term.
Oh, the kick though straight off the side of the boot makes it difficult. It's in the corridor. Wilmot for the Lions mops up. Long sweeping handball to Zorko. Gets onto his right. Flat kick into the pocket. Rayner in front got hands to it. Couldn't hold on the second bite. Hinge goes in there. Bailey did something off the ball. Could I just see in the corner of my eye. Might like to see that again. Instead, it's going to be thrown up.
Long bombs isn't working into the forward line for the Lions. Got about 8 goes.
Ball not down past Bailey. He was on the run. He gets it anyway now. Plays for the high and got it. Oh, wow.
And how's that not...
That's descent. Yeah, that's descent 5 times. Yeah. So the umpire just lets us know that descent was a thing that went out with the dodo, and that's a shot they've got now to make it a 2-point game.
It's been paid all night. We've told you Adelaide have had 9 of them. They've paid that to Miller earlier on in the night, so clearly he's put his head over and been hit high if you're going to adjudicate it like you have all night.
So Bailey, I said 9-16 to win it. This to make it 9-12 and a 2-point game, and he sprayed it across the face and he hasn't even scored.
Wow.
That is hard to believe.
Surprised he went with a drop punt. 99% of players from there go around the corner.
And especially him.
They've kicked 0 goals 5, 1 out in the full and 1 smothered, so essentially 0-7 in the last term.
Miller clears for the Crows out to the outer side of the ground. Payne couldn't quite mark. Fort bashes it back to the 50 for the Lions. Lohman fell over, scooping it up. Neil back into the 50 again. The Lions, Morris had it, then lost it. Robertson, he gets tackled by Hinge, the ball to be thrown up.
We only get so many chances before Adelaide will grit a clearance, go down, kick a goal, be all over.
16-8 inside 50s. Crows have kicked 5 straight. Brisbane 0-5, 1 out in the full and 1 smothered.
Adelaide by 8 points, 3 3/4 minutes to play. From the throw up, Neil handballs it out to Fort. Defensive handball back to the 50 to Fletcher. Now Levi Ashcroft. It goes to the hot spot. Archie there, got a hand to it. Back to McCluggage. McCluggage tackled. Saligo has a fumble. Archie collects. Archie kicks. Archie, he's got it. He has. We think got it.
They're going to check it.
We're going upstairs.
What's the soft call here? What's the soft call?
Behind. You won't be able to overturn this.
So the crowd behind the goals all went up.
Yeah, they did.
If there was 100 goal umpires, they all thought it was a goal.
It's a square up for the Swans go.
The ball's not even in the camera frame. It goes out of the camera frame. So how are you going to tell? Ridiculous. You can't overturn this.
Admittedly, the goal umpire was under the post.
Yeah. He's got the best view in the house. You can't see the ball. What are we doing?
Wow.
This is a huge moment in the game, but it can't be overruled.
You can't see the ball.
You can't trust the goal umpire, though.
It does look like a goal, though.
Looking at these angles, there is insufficient evidence.
It's going to be behind.
You can't see the ball.
It's going to be behind. And it's going to mean that the Crows lead by 7 points with 3.5 to play. The Lions thought it was a goal. The fans behind the goal thought it was a goal. But the goal umpire, I can't say he didn't think it was a goal. He wasn't sure.
I don't reckon Archie thought it was a goal. I don't think he thought that.
Usually body language wasn't there.
That's the best judge.
So 3 minutes left and O'Brien takes the mark and he allows Michael Lanny to be paid it because he was the man in front. Both had it. So now when 2 players mark it, it is a mark to the bloke in front.
The Bailey miss is big, isn't it? Just a point there would have been interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael Lanny thumps it long. So the fists come. Leicester scrambles it back towards half forward. Can they get a mark? They can. McCluggey's got it. 7-point margin in favour of the Adelaide Crows with 3 minutes left. Berry for the Lions. Sends it long. Was Charlie held. He played for the free. Robertson, who owes him one. Won't get near it. Archie gets another go at it. Gave it out to Bailey. Can he kick this one? And he's missed another. Even a point there would have made it a 1-goal game and the draw would have been on, and he's missed a lot.
Wow. So what's that? That's 0 goals 6, 2 out in the full and 1 smothered.
They're coming hard, the Lions, but they cannot find the goals. Smith for the Crows, clears out to the outer side. Curtin couldn't mark. Fletcher for the Lions, gets tackled by Curtin to the ground, and the umpire says, hold your ball.
Gee, he had no pride.
What's he supposed to do there?
Did he have any pride? And it's 50 now, is it?
No.
He put it on the ground?
Thought about it.
He did put it on the ground, and the umpire blew the whistle, but he didn't give away 50.
Swanee, can we just make sure that the bloke winning the ball gets some respect in the game?
Down the line he goes. Forward of the wing. Oh, Zorko, terrific mark coming from the side of the contest with the one hand.
Quick inside to Will Ashcroft. He looks up. He's on the wing. He needs a mark target. He wobbles it long. They've got the numbers for Crows and straight to Laird.
Really good defence there by Adelaide.
Laird to Miller up. And he takes the mark. Zorko holds him up. Zorko didn't think it was the required 15. But the umpire did. So the new tech clock, automation for manufacturing, 1:40 left, 7-point game, Crows lead, up they fly, Zorko crumbs it, he's on the wing, looks inside, not a lot of targets to go to, he looks to Robertson, who's muffed a couple of chances already, gets back to mop this one up, goes all the way back to Leicester, we're down to 120, Leicester down the spine, he needs a mark option, good dive taken by Berry and he hands it off to Robertson, about to go inside 50, the Lions.
Robertson into the 50, he goes, Loman up, got hands to it, couldn't quite hold on, comes back to Loman, kick smothered, ricochets to Neil, set sail for goal and misses from 25 metres.
The draw's on though.
Yeah, the draw's on.
Adelaide by 6 points on the Tyre Power scoreboard with 1 minute to play.
0-7 they've kicked in the last term, would you believe? 2 out in the fulls.
So Miller goes wide, massive players around it, about 15 out there, off hands, thump clear, Robertson's got it, he gets manhandled, Zorko can't handle it, Rankin just kicks it for grass, and it's on purpose, you would think, insufficient intent. So the Lions, a chance to steal it with 30 seconds left, they have possession on the wing, they trail by 6 points.
McCluggage with 45 seconds to go into the corridor, Berry couldn't mark, crumbs though to the Lions, a long sweeping handball on the bounce, Fletcher, front part of the square, into the 50 and onto the chest of Bailey.
He's going to have a shot, isn't he?
48 metres out from goal, right half forward. It'd take his absolute best. He goes for it. It's going to fall short in the square. O'Brien slaps it through for a rush behind. And Adelaide, with the ball, lead by 5 points.
That was a wrong kick. I mean, he never had that distance. He had to go for it. Had to wait, had to manufacture something that was 40 metres out.
One good kick. One stoppage might be enough for the Crows. Brodie Smith with the ball in the goal square. He goes as long as he can out to the member side of the ground. It clears everybody and it gets out of bounds for a throw-in, and that might be enough for the Crows. 5 points. Adelaide's lead, 9 seconds on the clock.
20 inside 50s to 8 in the last term.
Yeah, well, Adelaide have won it as much as the Crows have.
Ball thrown in. It comes out to Roberts. It goes through his legs. They get a stoppage. They get the siren. Have we got a challenger? Have we got a contender? The Adelaide Crows come from 17 points down at three-quarter time to knock off the Premiers. Kicked 5 goals in the last quarter. Brisbane don't kick a goal. And in the final score, Adelaide 10-8-68 to defeat Brisbane 8-15-63. The goal kickers for the Crows, 3 to Keys and 3 to Rochelle, and then singles to Thilthorpe, to Pedler, to Dawson and to Walker. And for the Lions, it was 2 to Cameron, 2 to Rayner, and singles to Lohman, Archie, McCluggage and Bailey. At quarter time, it was Brisbane by 9. At half time, it was Brisbane by 8. At three-quarter time, it was Brisbane by 17. But at the end, it was the Crows by 5. On AFL Nation for 4 and 20 Pies and for Elders for Australian Agriculture, the thoughts from Kane Corns and Jared Healy.
Well, I mean, well done to Adelaide. It's a big scalp. They needed a big scalp, and they got a big scalp. So if your glass half full, that's what you're going with. Their last quarter, particularly the first 10 minutes of that last quarter, was as good as any side's played this year, led by Jordan Dawson, who just put this team on his back, was involved in the first 3 goals, kicked one himself, big hanger, inside forward 50. Ben Keys was Adelaide's best player in the end, had a huge influence, negated Zorko, and also offensively 20 and 3 goals, 8 score involvements. The story's probably going to be Brisbane. I mean, you can't...
I'm not sure what the story is, though. They've had about 12 shots in the last 15 minutes, and they've butchered all of them. So they've lost it as much as Adelaide have won it, but I guess we just live the dream with Adelaide because that's the good story.
Probably, yeah, probably. I think so. And then no one's going to be panicking about the Lions. I don't think they'll play that game 10 times over with those numbers, and they don't lose that. So the inside 50s in the end for the match were just very lopsided. So plus 13 in entries, plus 20 in clearance. Smacked them up from contested possessions, ground ball gets. Just didn't kick accurately.
No, they actually panicked a bit, I think, in that last quarter. That last shot from, who was it? Bailey. I mean, he knows he's not going to kick that. Not with that heavy ball and late in the game. Had to look for something, but he went for the miracle kick. It dropped short as it was always going to do, and they basically gave away the last chance that they had. But they had so many opportunities, Kane. It was actually almost comical in the finish. It just goes to show if you hang in there in a low-scoring game, it only has to swing for 10 minutes. He kicked, what was it, 5 goals in the last quarter, but they kicked 5 in a row.
5 straight from 8 entries.
Yeah.
But what they did also is they got them quickly.
Yeah.
So they got goals at the 1-minute mark, the 3-minute mark, the 6-minute mark, the 12-minute mark, and then the 18-minute mark.
Yeah.
And then held on.
I've seen this happen so often at football park for a long time, and now Adelaide Oval. You just got to let the crowd get involved, and it's worth a few goals. And they took a while to get going, and then they just couldn't kick one. So I enjoyed the game. It was a ripper game. Laird continued to rack him up. He had some good moments in the last quarter. I thought Ben Keys was almost their best player. He just runs and runs and runs and creates and kicked an amazing couple of goals. Dawson was poor early, but really good late.
So I've got a question for you, Kane. For Adelaide to do what they did in the last quarter, what changed? Was it as simple as them going through the corridor and taking risk and opening the game up, or did Brisbane not do something they were doing for 3 quarters to allow that to happen?
Definitely changed their style of play. I mean, they were way too conservative in the first 3 quarters. We spoke about that. They played so wide for the whole game. Yeah. They played so wide, and there was a real reluctance to take the ball through the middle. And then they went smaller in their forward line, so they started Walker on the bench in that last term. I still think that's a big decision for them ongoing, because I don't think we're seeing the best of either Fogarty or Walker, so the flow and effect of both is an issue, and they're probably going to have to choose between one of the two. That's the way I see it anyway, but we'll see if Matthew Nicks sees it that way as well. So smaller, and then clearly played more aggressive. We saw that from the kicking goal from Brodie Smith, who just went straight up the middle of the ground. And you rely on your star players. You rely on Thilthorpe to win a big contest in the middle of the ground. You rely on Dawson to do what he did, and Rochelle's individual brilliance, and a bit of Ben Keys.
Final score, if you're just jumping in the car, having gone out for dinner. Adelaide 10-8-68 defeating Brisbane 8-15-63. So as a result of that, Adelaide to third on the AFL ladder with 36 premiership points and a percentage of 137.2. Brisbane staying second 38 premiership points and a percentage which is kind of irrelevant with that draw against North Melbourne of 112.6.
The percentage is pretty impressive. They lost that game to the the Suns by only a couple of points up there in a controversial circumstance. So a couple of their losses haven't been anything other than a kick, but they're on the way. I still think they're down a polished mid. Nowhere near as deep through that midfield as Brisbane Lions, but they got strengths in other areas, as we saw tonight.
So as the celebrations continue out on the ground for the Adelaide Crows, Tobin Brothers Funeral is celebrating lives every day of the year. We'll be in the Adelaide rooms after the game and we'll go through all the categories as we wrap things up here on AFL Nation, with the Crows winning a thriller on a Friday night. And the Lions, we're seeing pictures, Kane, of them in the rooms, and I'm not sure they can quite believe what's happened for a game that they controlled for such a long period of it.
Yeah, it's been a bit of the story of their season, really.
Yeah, that's right.
So another big game for Adelaide next week. They've got Hawthorn in Tassie, then the bye. Gets a bit easier after that with Richmond and Melbourne at Adelaide Oval. They'll start favourites for those two games. So great opportunity to finish inside the top four, get yourself 2 home finals and see you on grand final day. A lot of work to be done, but with that percentage and with that record so far through halfway the season, they're in a great spot.
And just in the last month, the Lions have given up the lead against Melbourne. They gave up the lead against Essendon and won it back late, but they were 6 goals in front and nearly lost that one. They're just having these games at the moment.
And then there's just butchering a lead.
Yeah, well, that's right. It's almost like you couldn't call it a choke because they're the premiers, but it almost was a choke.
Yeah, they just weren't thinking strongly enough in that last quarter. But Crows defended really well as well, so a lot of the kicks were under pressure. But there were a couple of set shots that Bailey's set shot should have gone around the corner. He didn't. And they're enjoying the celebrations, and they're on the way up.
They are indeed. They're up and about in the city of churches, the Adelaide Crows, Kane.
Yeah, they'll be happy. They'll be everywhere. Don't you worry. They will come from... They'll be crawling out of the gutters in Adelaide. They'll be everywhere.
I wish you all the best over the next little while.
I'll stay in Melbourne for the next little bit.
Bunker down.
It's good. I think it's a good exercise in how to build a list patiently, and they're in a good spot.
No question about that. They've got to get one more mid or even a half-back flanker to add to the mix.
Wonder where they might get one of those from, Jerry.
They might get one from the Saints,
That's
maybe.
right.
Because he could probably play in the middle of the ground, but they're going to be very happy, going to sing the song. Just going past the Fox Footy commentators there, bypass Channel 7, Saints mob.
They're starting to ring up now to sing the song. The Adelaide Crows defeating the Premiers on a Friday night at Adelaide Oval. 10:8:68 to 8:15:63.
Ready, set, go.
Ten 8:68 Adelaide, Brisbane 8:15:63. Adelaide by 5 points to go with Hawthorn's win over the Western Bulldogs on Thursday night footy. So it was dubbed, Gerard, as sort of 2 big blockbusters to start the round. We saw a bit of an upset, based on form and based on odds and all that sort of thing, with the Hawks defeating the Bulldogs and the way they beat the Bulldogs. And then tonight, the fast-finishing Crows to come from 17 points down.
No, it wasn't an upset. People would have tipped the Crows to win at home. It was a great goal to start the affair with Riley Thilthorpe in that first minute of the last quarter. And then they went bang, bang, bang with Jordan Dawson being involved. Nice push out there from
Fogarty.
One of the few things he did for the night. He wasn't at his best. But Shelley knows when to go forward. And he knows when to turn around, and that kick to Keys, I think, was actually readable. It was one of Fletcher's very few mistakes for the night. He's a very impressive young player. And as quickly as they kicked the 5 goals, they shut down shop.
Yeah.
And they didn't actually attack again inside forward 50, essentially for the rest of the night. And all they did was defend. But
it was like it reminded me, Jared, a little bit of a soccer team who, when they're the opposition are desperately trying to find the back of the net and they just can't. They're hitting the crossbar, the goalkeeper's making good saves, they've fluffed their lines a few times. There was a number of different things going on from a Brisbane point of view where they just couldn't find the uprights. And the one that stands out, probably the Zach Bailey set shot kick where he didn't even score from about 35 metres, but even Lockie Neal late running into an open goal and missing from 20 metres. Some of their star players not being able to get the job done for the Brisbane Lions.
Yeah, they also had 7 rush behinds to 2 rush behinds. So they had a lot of balls drop, a metre away on the goal line. And they rushed through the Crows with good defence, but probably one of the great goals was the tunnel ball goal to Ben Keys. He got on the end of it. It was a really clever play. So they deserved their win, albeit wasn't emphatic by any fashion, but at this stage of the year, all you're trying to do is get a start on the finals grid, and they've put themselves in a position to snag a top 4 spot, which I reckon the way they were travelling in pre-season was always a potential, but it was a dream until you do it. And it's not done yet, but it's they've got themselves nicely set up.
Right, so what we might do before we go through our categories, Jared, take a break and come back with Finey. We might go, courtesy of Channel 7, to the captain, Jordan Dawson, who spoke to Channel 7 out on the field.
Well, Jordan, captain of the footy club, how proud are you of the group to get that job done tonight?
It's an awesome win. I think we knew what they were going to bring. They're a fierce team, and around the contest they're unbelievable. So they definitely got the better of us for the first half and a bit, I reckon, and there's a huge fight back in that last quarter. I think we knew we just needed to get a bit of momentum, get the ball going our way, just keep bringing the ball to ground, and opportunities would come, and we're really glad to get over the line.
And obviously there's leaders out on the ground across all 3 lines. They're coming at you with everything that they've got. What is your role in those moments to keep everyone calm and make sure that you weather the storm and try and get the job done?
It's pretty hard when there's 45,000 and you can't really hear each other, but we've got some real leaders down back and in the forward line and in the mids, obviously, and it's up to all of us to take charge, and we know how we want to execute that kind of red time the last few minutes of the game, and to their credit, they kept coming at us and creating opportunities. Fortunately for us, they weren't able to capitalise, but our backs, I think Laurel and Lairdy and those guys held up really well in that last few minutes and all game really, and it's a huge result for us.
And a win like this in front of a huge crowd on a Friday night, how does that, instill the belief in you guys as a system now that you can get it done against one of the best teams in the competition?
Yeah, we obviously played the grand finalists the last 2 weeks from last year, and it was obviously slippery early, and we know what they bring in their system and their contest, and something that we pride ourselves on, and we definitely weren't at our best tonight, but credit to them, they were unbelievable, and obviously we capitalised in the last quarter, but it gives us a lot of belief. We had a lot of belief coming into the last few rounds, but it just really instills that belief in the group that we're doing the right things and we play footy the right way.
Well, congratulations and enjoy the victory.
So that was Jordan Dawson there, the Adelaide captain, on Channel 7 immediately after the game. Before we go through our categories, one of the other talking points, Jared Healy, is going to be the Archie snap-it goal.
Oh, yeah.
That was very high and was very close to the goalpost, but actually went above the goalpost. I called it, you call what you see instinctively, and you tend to, as a commentator, go with the crowd reaction from behind the goals. They were all up cheering. The goal umpire wasn't sure. He went upstairs, and it was insufficient evidence to overturn what the goal umpire's gut feel was a behind, and it stayed a behind. So when it's a 5-point deficit at the end, I'm sure it'll be spoken about again tomorrow.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're never going to know.
It's at the Bermuda Triangle down there, Jared.
It is indeed.
Same end that we've had a lot of issues.
For Mark Rasciuto's sake that they didn't call it a goal and they lost, because it would have been the end of him. But I didn't think Archie's reaction suggested he thought it was a goal, but he may have had his view blocked because he came out of congestion. But it was just one of about 8 attempts by the Crows, by Brisbane to get it. It was almost comical at times, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But to have that many shots, that many entries, that much dominance, and yet the Premiers, who couldn't miss anything in the grand final last year, couldn't nail one goal in the last quarter.
That's what made it so unusual.
Yeah.
It was the Premiers that were feeling the pressure, it felt like, in being able to execute.
Well, they're working their way through a lot of congestion because they haven't got. They weren't taking any contested marks down there. There was a couple of shots from free kicks and a couple of shots from chest marks, etc. But they weren't in any way right in front. They didn't have any genuinely easy shots. There was that one around the corner from Bailey who missed everything. But what they kick in the last quarter, they kicked 8 points. 8 points. And a couple out in the full.
Unbelievable.
So it was, then they all missed them. I mean, everybody lined up to have their turn.
They did, that's right.
They all had a go at it.
That's exactly right. All right.
And they also had that one smothered from, who came on as a sub?
Devin Robertson. Yeah, that was the other one. Again, that was... Yeah, there was so many.
Yeah, and he had another one around the corner that you got to be able to kick, but he hasn't got a great technique, unfortunately, for him, which has held him back, and that one held him back and cost him a goal.
All right, I'll help you with these categories. Toughest of the day for Truckline, for your truck and trailer parts, visit truckline.com.au.
Who'd you like?
I tell you who I like tonight, who played undersized a lot of the night, was Rory Laird with some of the things that he did tonight.
Good. Yep,
we think of him as being an accumulator, but some of the things that he was doing in defence tonight were pretty tough.
Everybody who gets 30 possessions is an accumulator.
Yeah, but I reckon he's sort of gold medal sort of accumulator, isn't he, when he plays in the midfield?
Yeah, anyway, I think he's a darn good player.
Yeah, I agree.
I think accumulating is almost a bit of a disparaging comment, but if you want to go that way, that's fine.
Okay. Tackler of the game for Bar Crusher Boats, Australia's ultimate fishing weapon.
I better get on to the entire match. I'm just on the last quarter there. The tackler of the match, well, I can see Saligo's at 13. That's a big number.
Dawson had 11 as well.
And, they dominated. We'll give it to Saligo.
Okay, well done, Saligo. You've got that.
Tackles. Good go.
The game-sealing moment for Loctite. Loctite, fast, strong and reliable adhesives that go beyond the bond.
Well, there's two ways of going with this. There's the tunnel ball Ben Keys
that was good.
under the legs. Or there's the shot at goal from Bailey when he was 40 metres out, which was probably their last opportunity and he failed.
Yep. We'll just give it to both of them.
Okay.
Loctite's good, so, we'll
Loctite, yep, always use it on the
adhesives that go beyond the bond.
Yep.
Beyond the bond, beyond the bond. Power play rankings for Red Energy for 100% Australian electricity and gas.
Darcy Ford. Rankings always favour Ruckman, but Darcy Ford was pretty good warrior tonight. He did a darn good job. 137, it's a big day. Saligo got 125 and Dunkley got 121.
Okay. Forever Young Player of the Day for Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives every day of the year.
I'm going to give it to one of my favourite young players. He's the tall forward for the Lions, and his name is Logan Morris.
Okay. It's meant to go for an old player, but we'll give it to Logan Morris. Well, it's Forever Young Player of the Day. Logan Morris did do some excellent things.
No, okay.
Let's make Logan Morris the breakout player tonight for Australian Outdoor Living, bringing backyard dreams to life.
And we'll give the other one to Ben Keys.
Yep, that's a good one. He can be the Forever Young Player of the Day for Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives every day of the year. Another 3 goals to Ben, 2 in the last quarter. He's got 23 goals, 6 for the year.
Good effort, isn't it?
I think that's very impressive. Who ran the most kilometres tonight?
No idea.
I'll tell you that quickly. It's usually Alex Neil-Bullen, and it is Alex Neil-Bullen again. 15.6 kilometres Alex ran, Ben Keys 15.4, Jake Saligo 15.1. They are the 3 that all were over 15 kilometres. I know you like this one, expected score. You're an expected score.
Yeah, I'm an expected score. They would have won by about 4 goals.
Expected score, Adelaide 68, Brisbane 60. There you go.
Brisbane 60.
Yep.
How many behinds did Adelaide 68?
Is that right? No, that's wrong. I'm reading the graphic wrong.
Yeah.
I thought it says 68 to 60.
Well, they got 68
sorry.
points, Adelaide.
Adelaide 59.4, Brisbane 87.8.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Yeah, I read it incorrectly. It didn't sound right, but Benny Lyons helped me out there. So
it's a 5-goal.
Should be a 5-goal win to Brisbane.
That's right. So, as I've said to Kane, who hates expected scores, you don't get 4 points for expected scores, but it tells you you're doing a lot right.
We should get the smartest man in football, Daniel Hoyne, who had, I think, 34 or 35 stable points in the win today.
Oh, gee, that's good. What's he off?
Do a ladder.
An expected score ladder. Yeah, it's always handy to have a look at midway through a season.
All right, we'll take a break and come back and do the votes. We'll chat to Finey and we'll wrap things up here from Adelaide Oval, where the Adelaide Crows, this isn't expected score, this is actual score, 68, defeating Brisbane 63. Back with more on AFL Nation after this.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer, keeping you safe on the roads. tyrepower.com.au.
It's here, OMF's massive end of financial year sale with some of our best offers and $10 million of stock to clear. Grab the award-winning Revivify Support for under $800 or the new Mornington Flex for under $1,300. Take up to 20% off bedroom furniture and up to 60% off full stock while it lasts. Plus, buy any mattress over $1,000 and get a bonus microfiber mattress protector free. Hurry, stock is limited. Ends soon at OMF, the home of mattress, bedroom, bedding and furniture.
Ozito brushless power tools, tested by Grit and built to work. When it comes to doing tough jobs, do it yourself. Ozito, home and garden brushless power tools. Do you. Only at Bunnings Warehouse.
McCafe's delicious new blend comes with a lid, so you don't waste a drop. But eventually you take the lid off to get that last sip. McCafe's new blend. I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
If you're in the market to make a move, my mates at Brighton have put together something special to make your dream build that much better. The Brighton Answer deal is here with a discount of up to 30 grand off your new home. That's right, folks, a massive 30 grand back in your pocket. But you better be quick. Drop into your nearest display home today and bring your dream home to life with Brighton, Queensland's #1 builder.
If I asked you to go outside now, grab a shovel and hack through your internet or water connection, would you do it? Of course not. It'd cost you a fortune to fix, plus being without internet or water for hours or days would drive you mad. Yet digging without searching before you dig online first is a gamble. Or worse, if you strike a gas or electricity main. Before every job, search before you dig online every time. And never dig blind.
It pays to plan ahead with Nutrient Ag Solutions Prepay Plus. Earn a 5% per annum reward on your prepaid amount to support next year's purchases. Have a chat with your local branch today and start paying on your terms. Product offered by Nutrient Ag Solutions Limited. Customers should obtain independent advice on the suitability of this product for their circumstances. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, contact your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch.
An important message from when insuring one of your biggest assets, you can ask, can I choose my repairer? Well, it might cost a few bucks more. There's a reason your insurance company doesn't want you to. Choice of repairer means exactly that. You can choose a repairer. Conveniently close and not miles away, genuine parts, an accident replacement vehicle, and a lifetime guarantee. Your choice of repairer, not your insurance companies. Choose Visit sheenbrook.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Trying to choose new flooring, window furnishings or rugs for your home? Choices Flooring's Room View makes it easy to find the look you've been searching for. Whatever the space or your flooring needs, simply take a photo of the area in your home and select your flooring styles, window furnishings or rugs from the thousands of colours, styles and texture options. Using Choices Flooring's Room View, you can see your selections right in your own home. Then send your favourites to your local Choices Flooring store to book a free measure and quote.
Mate,
If I say the word laser, what do you think of?
Laser tag? Pew pew.
No, you clown.
Laser cutting?
Close.
Laser welding?
Correct. Roofing and Sheet Metal Centre can laser weld stainless steel in gauges down to 1.2 mil. Stainless steel roofing and rainwater products have a longer lifespan, are more resistant to corrosion, plus they look great. And with a lighter gauge stainless steel, you can get these benefits for less. Visit rscentre.com.au/stainless steel.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Elders. Open an Elders Rural Products prepayment account to win. And 4 and 20. Try Domino's Meat Pie Crust with 4 and 20 pies. The Beaumont Tiles Goal of the Day. Beaumont's massive range of tiles, all on sale.
So the Crows to go forward. Laird with a handball to Dawson. On his trusty left foot towards half forward. Clears Fogarty. Here's Thilthorpe. He's on the boundary. It's a vacant square. Keeps it low. Keeps it straight. Oh, that's brilliant from Thilthorpe. Got a bit excited there, Jared, but it was a good goal.
Oh, it was a great goal.
It was a good goal. It has this.
It was a brilliant goal from the boundary line. He has had a good game, but that goal actually opened them up and gave them some belief. You'd love two of him.
At quarter time, Adelaide had 6 behinds on the board, Brisbane 2-3, but at the end of the game, Adelaide finished 10-8 and Brisbane 8-15, courtesy of 8 behinds in the last quarter and no goals. And Adelaide 5 straight. 5-goal win to Brisbane. Yep, 5-goal win to Brisbane. Before we give you votes, Finey's jumped in to the studio. What's the flavouring tonight, do you think, Finey, from our talkback callers?
Well, I'm sure the Brisbane callers are going to be ruining the one that they would say got away, but football is played not only on the scoreboard but in the mind, and their mind was shot in that last quarter, so they've only got themselves to blame. I mean, imagine Zach Bailey. By the end, you were wishing he was kicking points because they needed the points.
Yeah.
What about a handy point, the one that missed him? I'm surprised he didn't kick it around the corner. I mean, everyone kicks around the corner these days, and yet under the pump, he decided to go the drop punt.
Yeah, I mean, I play golf terribly, but if I ever get a par or a birdie, I don't draw the picture, I just write the score.
Yep.
Adelaide just need to write the score because they hadn't had a win over a top 4 team. They now claim a proper scalp. And
so do you think they are a contender as a result of tonight?
Not as a result of tonight. Of course, the 4 points helps them, but really they're milling behind Collingwood. I had Bulldogs as my most likely contender up till last night. So who's the best team behind Collingwood? Adelaide has to be one of them, and you need 2 teams for a grand final. It takes 2 to dance, so why not?
Yeah, there's dead set a chance because I think Thilthorpe he was quiet tonight. He's got a lot. I don't think a lot of the Adelaide Crows players played particularly well. I think Jordan Dawson was a classic example. He well beaten for 3 quarters, and his last quarter, without him in that first 10 minutes, they don't win the game. So he's elevated himself. Big mark, big goal, couple of goal assists. But overall, he had a pretty ordinary night, well held by Dunkley.
The final quarter, Adelaide 8 inside 50s for 5 goals. Brisbane 20 inside 50s for no goals.
Yep. Yeah, it says the tail, doesn't it? One thing I'll be throwing up tonight will be, and I find myself on the same page as Kane regularly and sometimes not vehemently, but his take on Taylor Walker is one that I agree with. Not that Taylor Walker's not a good footballer, but they've got the big marking forward in Thilthorpe. They've got another power forward in Darcy Fogarty, and it sometimes does look heavy-handed up there with Taylor Walker as well. He's a big figure. So I'll be asking Adelaide supporters, what's your best looking forward line? And I'll be really interested for the answer.
Absolutely. Finey, we'll see you in about, 10 minutes?
I'm looking forward to it.
What's the number again?
1300 736 736. And I even know the text is 0433 98 11 16.
That's the one.
Very good. Thank you, Finey. Finey to join you all very, very shortly. And before we go here with the Adelaide Crows winning by 5 points, we need the votes for the AFL Nation Footballer of the Year. And you've got to go 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I'm going 1 for Josh Dunkley. This may be controversial. 1 for Josh Dunkley, 2 for Will Ashcroft, and 3 for Ben Keys.
Ben Keys, the 3 votes for his 3 goals, 2 of those coming in the last quarter.
Well, Ben Keys torched the Magician, I thought he was magnificent for 4 quarters, and he was magnificent in the last quarter. He had 8 score involvements. His kicking was at 80% efficient. He had 8 contested. He had 3 goals. I thought he was magnificent.
I agree with you.
Good to finish on a positive note.
Absolutely. Thank you for being part of the coverage tonight.
As always,
thank
pleasure.
you to Eddie and also to Ben Lyon, who have been doing all the hard work behind the scenes.
What's Eddie a rating out of?
No, he's very good.
Solid.
Yeah.
Except when he plunged off and started on TikTok.
That was just a slight blemish.
Okay, Ben Lyon, you give him a run?
Oh, he's always good. Very much in control.
Yeah,
always in control. Never panics. Never panics.
What's he got tonight? He's on Instagram now.
Oh, no. Dearie me. I don't even know what that is. We've got to go. I hope you've enjoyed the coverage. AFL Nation, more footy throughout the course of not only Saturday and Sunday, but Monday as well. And don't forget, crunch time from 11 o'clock tomorrow Eastern. And don't forget, Finey, he's next.
In the words of Scotty Palmer, keep crunching.
Keep crunching, exactly right. Here are some of the highlights from a big win by the Adelaide Crows, knocking off the Premiers. Enjoy the rest of your night. Stand end of Adelaide Oval, on the approach, sweetly timed, straight through the middle.
O'Brien takes out of the ruck, gave it off, and around the body, Rochelle. That is an absolute ripper. He's kicked 2 huge goals for the Crows tonight.
Oh, Charlie Cameron from the stoppage, on the fly, on the left, goal! Got the handball to Curtin, rushes a kick. This is coming towards 50. Rankin there with Fletcher. Rankin spoils at the Pedler. Pedler off to the races, taking a bounce into the square, running it home.
So the Lions get the clearance right out of the middle. 3.5 minutes left. Picked up by Archie, gave it off to Rayner, open goal, danced past a couple, gave it to Charlie, bang.
So the Crows to go forward, Laird with a handball to Dawson, on his trusty left foot towards half forward, clears Fogarty, here's Thilthorpe, he's on the boundary, it's a vacant square, keeps it low, keeps it straight! Oh, that's brilliant from Thilthorpe! Michael Annie running the boundary, then kicking into the 50, oh, up goes Dawson, and takes a spectacular mark! From half forward, 45 out, of course he does it. 5 points. Adelaide's lead, 9 seconds on the clock.
20 inside 50s to 8 in the last term.
Yeah, well, Adelaide have won it as much as the Crows have.
Ball thrown in. It comes out to Roberts. It goes through his legs. They get a stoppage. They get the siren. Have we got a challenger? Have we got a contender? The Adelaide Crows come from 17 points down at 3/4 time to knock off the Premiers.